So I walk in, I have to kick Brittany out of the studio. I said, go home and work, damn it.
I know.
She wouldn't listen to me, though.
Your face when you saw me walk in was the face of every man in my life. What are you doing here?
What the hell are you doing? Get away from me, damn it. No, you got a baby at home. I would not come in ever if I were you. Well, I didn't. As soon as we had babies, I worked from home from then on.
Yeah, I
love
hear
it.
you. I mean, I have daycare today.
Love daycare.
So I was like,
That's why
I
you
don't
should
know.
be at home hitting the out there sun tanning when it's 49.
All right, I'll stay in the next 2 days. How about that? That's on my.
Seriously, I honest to God, your attitude on the show is totally different from home. You're very relaxed because you're right by your. I don't even know if you know this. You're close to your baby, and that makes everybody different.
But here's the thing: on Wednesdays and Thursdays, I won't be because she'll be at daycare.
Oh, I thought your daycare came to your house.
No. Most people they drop their kid off at daycare. You know,
No.
There's a nanny.
Nope.
We do not have a nanny.
So you could two options. You either work from home or you just bring Go-Go into the studio every day. And then
Yeah, we got dog pillows over there. She can lay on one of those.
She'd
there's
be
a tent in
going.
the other room.
She would be so nuts because like lately she's just desperate about bananas.
Oh,
She goes,
yeah.
No. Like just like the most desperate little baby zombie for bananas. No.
Isn't that wonderful?
She's the best.
Having little children, and I still don't understand people who don't like children. How the hell do you not like children?
I don't know.
They're the sweetest, wonderful, loving. I don't know.
She'd be nosy though. We were at a restaurant.
Who's she related to again, Tevin?
We were at a restaurant and these two people behind us, we were in a booth. We're having a very serious conversation. And so she was leaning over on the booth, just staring at him. I was like, ma'am, get your life together. And she's just staring. They're talking about a divorce that this one guy had. I was literally like, go, like trying to turn. And she's like, no, mama, this is getting good. Just staring. Just a 1-year-old staring at them. And I'm like, oh my God.
Like the type of people that they go out and argue in public just so they can stay calm and not cause a scene. You just see a baby over somebody's shoulder.
I know.
Yeah, this really ruins the mood for our argument.
Totally.
You know, Catherine and I never argue. It just never gets that far. When I walk in the house, I can tell by looking at her face if she's pissed off at me or not. So there's nothing to argue about.
Yeah, it's already figured out.
It's already figured out. Exactly. I know how it's going to go. So we just go forward. Good to see you. That's great. That's terrific. I don't see any really horrible news this morning, but I suppose I could dig some up if you want. This is not horrible news, but it's also not great news either. The weather. Cloudy, a few breaks of sun, but also patchy drizzle possible with a high of 58. Tonight, mild with showers and possible thunderstorms, a low of 54. On Thursday, warm with occasional rain, a high of 63. And then it was going to be Saturday. Now it hits on Friday. Friday, 46. Saturday, 36. Sunday, 35. Monday, 36. And Tuesday, 37. So once we hit Friday, yeah. Well,
you know.
What do you think of that?
I think I'm ready.
You ready for winter? Well, I mean, it is November 1st in just 6 days. So, it's Andy's birthday today. No, it's tomorrow. Sorry, I thought it said the 26th. It's the 25th. Somebody's birthday is October 25th, though. I can't remember who it is. Doesn't matter. So in any case, right now it's cloudy. It's 49 degrees as we speak, 58 later on. It's going to be a very cold weekend coming up, and it doesn't look like it's heating up anytime soon. Although it does not call for in just 6 more days 3 feet of snow like it did in 1991.
Yeah, we don't need that.
3 feet of snow on Halloween and the next day. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, we don't need that. That's no. I'm ready. Like I've accepted our fate. Started going to the gym more, not running outside. Like I've accepted we're setting up the unfinished basement as like a play zone for Go-Go. Like I've accepted our fate. But like be reasonable, people. Like, I'm not ready for like a foot of snow. That's insane.
Yeah.
It's true, but we are going to get some drizzle this week. Or not drizzle, but flurries.
My friend's getting
weekend.
One of my best friends is getting married on Saturday, and she goes, does anyone have umbrellas for the food trucks if it starts snowing? I was like,
people, especially when it comes to weddings, they're very sad. Like I've always had this dream of being outside, and then when I got an email for a wedding I'm doing on Saturday, and they're like, we're just moving everything inside. I was like, thank you so much, because nobody wants to be outside for your wedding when it's cold.
But it's also like, this is just for the food truck. Like I'll stand in line in snow for a taco, so like it's fine.
We're talking tacos again, man. Now we're talking.
I know brides definitely think that they have to cover every base. And it's like, we're also humans that know that if it snows and we have to be in snow for a half second, we'll be fine.
Right.
That's kind of interesting. I was never a skier or a skater or any of that stuff. I just didn't care for outdoor sports in the winter.
Me neither.
Maybe it's because I sucked at them. That might have something to do with it. You think?
Yeah.
Your daughter gives me a hard time because I literally, like, I won't change my amount of how active I am, but I just quit going outside completely. Like either that or I start wearing snow pants as soon as it gets cold. And no matter what, I wear snow pants. Because, like, why wouldn't your lower half want a jacket too?
I agree.
Thank you.
Well, I'll tell you, honest God, way, way back in the day, I mean, many, many years ago, I considered I was going to buy a condominium downtown just so in the winter I could walk through the Skyway.
That's not a bad idea.
That's what I was going to do. I never did it, but I was going to do that.
With everything that's happening in Minneapolis, I feel like their real estate prices really hasn't changed that much, which is kind of wild.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
It feels like they're not aware of how to get people to move back downtown. Guys, like, everybody moved out. What should we do? Raise the prices, I guess. Like, maybe you lower them, you get a few more people that want to live there.
Seriously, when I was a little boy, I wanted to live downtown. When I grew up, I was going to buy a place downtown and I was going to live downtown right in the middle of it. It was going to be wonderful. And I just never happened.
Yeah. I had dreams of that too. I loved women that would walk around downtown and go to lunch and all that stuff. And it's never going to happen for me.
Not anymore, because it's a danger zone now, for Christ's sake. And I still, that's all on the same people that ran their mouth about the police and ran their mouth about hatred and ran their mouth about, you are the ones who caused this. So thank you very much. That's great of you.
Yeah. Also, it's really nice having a yard when you have a dog.
That's true. Very, very true. For some reason, speaking of dogs, and maybe you guys would know this, but for some reason, Jude last night sat in a chair and stared at me for about an hour. I'm like, what are you doing?
Did you say something offensive?
No, I went over and petted him. He wanted lots of pets for some reason. Now, Alex's 2 dogs stayed with us the whole weekend. Is he blaming me for that?
Probably.
But
that's what it is.
I thought he loves Birch and.
Oh, except when they go to Catherine and me for pets, or they get fed or something. He does not like that when we feed him and pet him.
And May is a very, I need to be on your lap kind of dog.
Yeah, she's calming down a little bit, though. That was great.
She's a great dog.
Yeah, she's much calmer than she used to be. But yeah, he was just sat there and he was like, why are you staring at me? What the hell is that all about? But he is Jude, so you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And I still love the fact when we're down in Florida on vacation, we holler his name. Everybody in the neighborhood turns around and looks.
Right.
How offensive.
I think it's just hilarious.
Awesome. Do you think boy dogs are more needy than girl dogs?
I mean, my dog is the neediest dog in the world. And he starts doing these things now where if I'm sitting on the couch and I have my hand like just sitting on the couch next to me, he'll stand over my hand where he wants me to pet him, and then I'll start scratching his stomach, and he'll like move himself to adjust so he gets the right area of his stomach scratched. I'm like, you are the most high maintenance thing I've ever
You're
seen.
missing the point, Buster.
Yeah, right there.
Yep.
Yeah, it's wild. Because I have a boy cat now and a boy dog, and they follow me everywhere. And Robot, she's like, I'm good. You're on your own. You're a roommate. I got things to do. But I have these 2 boys that just obsessed, constantly following me.
I love pulling a trick, though. Because we go downstairs to watch television, and Jude sits in the chair next to me, and just like he always does.
Yeah.
And Catherine will give me a call and tell me, I'll be home in 5 minutes. So I look at the clock, and about 15 seconds before 5 minutes, I go, Mom! And he just runs up the stairs.
That's so funny you do that. Because you and I, there's something really mentally unwell about it.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Because I like to go, hey, and get all the animals up as if somebody's coming in the house.
Well, she does come in, though.
Yeah. Okay. Well, at least yours is real.
Right. Mom! Oh!
Oh.
Jesus. Why don't you calm down Well, I do the same thing. Judd!
Yeah.
And I'm so excited by that.
I got to ask you a question, sir.
Yeah.
I was very busy last night. Didn't get to watch the baseball game. And I go to the Star Tribune this morning. I can't find a story on where is it? I'm about 15 stories in, and I still don't see the score of the game last night.
I highly doubt you can find it because my guess is the deadline came before the game came to a conclusion. And with the press times
really?
now on the printed papers, you don't get a lot of stuff. So I will tell you this. I don't remember the last time I was this unexcited for a World Series when you're
agree.
going to have Arizona and Texas. What are the ratings going to be for this thing?
I'm not going to watch it. I can guarantee you that. I don't care.
I
Right?
mean, yeah, but so if you're outside of, if you're not a Ranger or Diamondbacks fan, like I think what you just said is going to represent what a lot of people think. There was, if it's Philadelphia, I think there's more of I'm not saying they're super popular, but there's way more of a curiosity there and a market size there in Philadelphia. Yeah, this is, boy, for what I thought the World Series was going to be, it's sure not. And this has me probably not prioritizing trying to watch too many games.
I understand that. And I'll tell you what, it makes me feel and this is just being a lifelong Twins fan since I was 9 years old. I do not like the fact that the team that beat us is not going to be in the World Series. So now we drop from like being in third place to being in fifth place. It's like, damn it. I hate that.
And it looked for sure like, it looked, we talked about this last week. It looked like it was going to be the Astros and Phillies for sure.
Absolutely.
You know what's funny is relatively late in the season, the Rangers and Diamondbacks both came to Target Field for series. And Tom, I'm telling you, I thought these teams are dead. They're not making the playoffs. They looked awful. The Rangers bullpen was a mess. The closer that Arizona got, I think they got him in a trade near the deadline. He gave up a mammoth home run to Matt Wallner. And I remember thinking these teams aren't even going to make it.
Right. So what happened? I just don't look. I did know the Twins were not a very strong team. They were a fun team to watch. I love my Minnesota Twins. Don't get me wrong, but I knew they were not strong enough. Although when I told people back in '87 the Twins were going to win the World Series, I went, "You're out of your mind. They lost almost half their games." And I said, "Well, I'm just telling you, man." The beginning of the season, and Herbeck always asked me that. Gary Gaetti asked me, "Why did you know in spring training that year?" I said, I've been watching you guys since I was 9 years old, and they got along so well. The number one reason I thought they're going to win a World Series is everybody on that team got along with everybody else. It was amazing.
Well, yeah, and that team, so that team didn't have much pitching at the time, but my God, the chemistry was great. The talent, I mean, you Puckett, Herbeck, Gaetti, Gagne. And what's funny is if you go back now, the guy that came through some big hits in the World Series was Lombardozzi. He had a big hit in Game 6, and they couldn't wait to get rid of him and go to Tommy Bleep and her the next season. But that team,
well.
oh my God. Not only did Tommy her hate it here, not last here, not want to be here, but he ruined Gaetti too.
Yeah, he did.
He's the guy that told Gary the world's going to end. You better convert. You better, you better get with the plan. And the next thing you know, G-Man, instead of drinking beers with Herbeck, was going to church. And oh man, yeah, that was disappointing.
Nice Italian boy. What are you going to do?
Yeah,
there's the problem right there.
Yep.
No, I hate to say this because I'm a huge baseball fan, but I really don't have any interest in this World Series at all. None.
I think you're representative of a lot of people, including me. Yeah, the Diamondbacks have, they're just, I don't know. There's nothing there that I'm like, oh man, this, the Rangers, I guess I'm sort of curious about, but Arizona, if you were to ask me at the beginning of the playoffs, which team would you not want from the National League? Which team would you not want to be in the World Series? Rank them. My top one's probably the Diamondbacks because I just don't give a damn.
I would have to agree with you on that whole deal. I just we'll see. I think I'm hoping it's a really good indicator of next year for the Twins because they did get better and better at the beginning of the season. We're not very good. This shows you. I think the one thing that it shows you is, especially with this current playoff format, if you make the playoffs, you do have a chance, like a decent, like a real chance. I don't know if this Twins team did or not, because
because we were just so pleased that they were able to bring it into their 18-game playoff losing streak. But, I don't think anybody, when Arizona started the playoffs against Milwaukee and then played the Dodgers and then played the Phillies, Tom, I don't think anybody at any point in time said, who's going to go to the World Series? The Arizona Diamondbacks.
I couldn't agree more. I'm still shocked that they went, but yeah, God bless them. Good. You fought hard and you won. So you get to go to the World Series. I didn't see that coming at all.
So are you excited? The NBA, the Timberwolves start tonight.
Couldn't care less.
I think it's, what is it, 6:30 or 7:30 tip?
6:30 Toronto. It's in Toronto, that basketball mecca of Toronto.
I think I would be interested in the NBA again if they raise the basket to like 13 feet. It's just too easy for these guys.
I like that.
I mean, it's just they go like, oh, okay, score. They don't even have to jump anymore.
Especially are you familiar with Victor Wembanyama?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. He is he's like 7. What is he, Judd? Like 7'2", something like that?
Yes.
He can stand there. Like if you watch his highlights, he'll stand in the middle of the paint, and no matter where the ball is thrown out on the 3-point line, he takes like 2 steps and can either block it or at least affect the shot enough where they're going to miss.
They're just gotten so big and so talented. They got to make the court bigger. They got to put the baskets higher. These guys are too good to play on those short rims on a short course.
I don't think so. I think the league likes it, and they are not. And they are now the second most popular league sport to football.
They passed up baseball, yeah.
Yeah, they definitely passed up baseball.
Yep, it's true. I don't know. I used to be a big Celtics fan back in the day. Larry Bird and everybody. I loved watching the Celtics and all the rest of it. I wasn't around for I guess I was alive, but I did not even know about the Minneapolis Lakers before that. I remember reading the story in the newspaper when they left, and I went, I don't even know who that is. So that didn't really affect me. But yeah, it just, I don't know. We'll see.
Well, the Timberwolves are supposed to be, and Tevin can back me up on this. The Timberwolves are supposed to be extremely competitive now, and hopefully not a play-in team. But because of their history, I personally will believe it when I see it.
100%. I think their over/under for wins this season is around 44 wins. But yeah, I think that they should have a very successful season if they stay healthy. Ant, Cat, Jaden McDaniels should be a good year.
I will tell you one thing that I have a couple of good friends who played in the NBA. I love them. They're great guys and all the rest of it. But the rest of them, the NBA players are the most arrogant pains in the ass ever born. My God, NBA players are arrogant, including one from Hibbing, Minnesota, if you know what I mean. Holy Christ.
What happened to him?
I don't know. Kevin McHale.
Oh.
You ever met Kevin?
No, I have not.
Not a friendly fella, I'll tell you that. Jesus.
I wonder
going back, Tom?
Yes, sir.
No, has he, when you were a Celtics fan, and I'm sure met him at the time, what was he like then?
When I first met him, he was very, very pleasant. But the first time I criticized something he or his team did, that was the end. That was it. One criticism.
So it wasn't maybe necessarily that he was an unpleasant person overall.
Oh, no, everybody I know thinks he's an unpleasant person. Let me put it that way. No, I don't hate Kevin McHale or anything. I loved him as a player. I thought he's a brilliant player, great talent. That whole team, that Celtics team was unbelievable.
Yeah.
They were amazing. So it's not that. It's just, calm down. You're wealthy. You had a great career. You were a superstar. Lighten up a little bit. You take a little criticism. I've never taken any criticism, have I? No, I got all pissed off and settle down for Christ.
Well, with Kevin McHale, and I'm sure it's similar with Scottie Pippen, because it seems like every time he goes on TV and talks, he's always trying to defend how good of a basketball player he was, because in the NBA, everybody will point to the top of the pile of the greatest of the greats and praise them and then kind of tear everybody else down. So some of those guys, they live their whole lives being the best player on the team, and then they get to the NBA and they're looking around like, why are you guys now saying I'm trash when Kevin McHale is the fourth best player probably on that Celtics team with Larry Bird? And all
Yeah.
those
Oh,
guys?
yeah.
So, yeah, it's probably
Robert
a little
Parrish.
culture shock.
That's
adjustment.
you're probably right about that. But and again, I don't mean to sit here and go because I was a huge fan of Kevin McHale. I think he was a magnificent player. And you want me to tell you what he got pissed off at?
Yes.
Remember how when he played, he used to stick his chest way out?
Yeah.
Remember that? He would always stick his chest way out.
Mhm.
So I meet him and get to know him. I figured, well, now he can take a joke. You know, he's met me. So I started referring to him as Tits McHale.
Oh, Jesus.
And he did not like that at all. But he did. He used to stick his chest way out when he played.
I'd
It's like,
be honored.
Kevin, it's a good nickname. It's a
Yeah.
great nickname.
It's so good.
You'd be honored, Tits Arneson.
Yeah. I'm never known for that.
Oh, and that would go over great. HR wouldn't have one problem with that, right, Tevin?
Yeah. Tits Arneson's with us today. Yeah, that'd go over you.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and schedule that termination meeting for what time do you get done? 1 minute after you get done.
I'll lead the way. I'll start referring to myself as Tits Arneson so you feel more comfortable.
You might get yourself fired with that one.
Like it's, well, yeah.
That's
Tits
true.
Arneson. Tits Arneson.
We could close with this from the movie.
Oh.
God, I can't remember the name of the movie. I can't remember anything about it, but there was a guy in it. It was about bowling or something. I don't know what the hell it was about. But
Kingpin.
Kingpin. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
so
Look at AJ.
Who was it that had the bad hand, the fake hand?
Woody Harrelson.
Yeah.
It was Woody Harrelson. You're right. They're sitting there, and the server comes over. A very pretty young woman comes over. He goes, "So, can I help you, handsome?" And she's looking at the guy here, and Woody Harrelson's over here with his one hand.
Yeah.
She goes, "Can I help you, handsome?" And Woody Harrelson goes, "Well, I'd like." She goes, "I said handsome, not handless."
Oh,
That's so good.
Isn't that a great?
that's a great movie.
It is a really good movie, and I've been holding on to that line my whole life. So someday, maybe I'll do it to Chris Egert. Yeah, whatever you say, legless. What do you think?
It doesn't work.
It doesn't. It's not handsome and handless is
No.
where it works. You're right.
We got to start making legsome like a slang.
Exactly.
Step one. His joke is like 7
Yeah.
years in the making.
It starts now. It ends in 2032.
Yes, there you go.
It's got to be workshopped.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. All right, Pally. So another big day coming up. What are you doing today?
I'm going to watch the Wolves tonight. Besides that, not much. We're fairly slow now until the Vikings play the Packers on Sunday, which of course
All right.
we talked about yesterday becomes an absolutely key game because if the Vikings can beat the Packers, they're back to 500. And then I think
Yeah.
there will be legitimate excitement. If they don't, people will be very pissed off that they bothered to beat the 49ers because that will have cost them a draft, a potential draft position. So
Is that all beer over your left shoulder?
That's bobbleheads.
bobbleheads.
Oh, those are all bobbleheads, right? I forgot
you,
you had all those bobbleheads. I gotta
Oh,
find mine. They're somewhere in the in the attic or something. I gotta go find all.
Oh,
mine.
you put them away? I didn't know you put yours away.
I didn't put them away. Somebody with red hair and
Oh, yeah. Mine have been threatened before. She's threatened to sell them. And I say, I only have one room in this house, really. I'd really like to keep what I have in here.
I understand exactly what you're saying. Go off to your little den there, Tom.
Yeah.
You go down there.
Why don't you go to your room or better yet, get in the car and leave the house?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, look at Brittany. She's like, I've told my husband that
Me?
before.
It'd be a dream scenario. It'd
Justin
be-
gets one corner, and that's it.
Stabbed right in the back.
I mean,
That's
he
all
gets
there
his whole car. Like,
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
You're a
true.
monster.
And he probably has a closet. So
Yeah.
come on.
But not the whole closet
Yeah,
because
yeah.
Brittany's got her shoes in the other.
He's got like a
half.
nice decorative calendar in there that he hides.
so he's got like his closet, but like also my formal clothes are in there.
Oh my God. If Brittany has as many shoes as Dawn, then Justin is probably trying to step around shoes constantly.
Okay. Full disclosure.
Uh-oh.
I just got yelled at for this. She goes, Tom, would you pack up some of your shoes? And I said, why? What are you talking about? She goes, I know you got all your shoes downstairs and you love your dog, but you got to give someone to the Goodwill or something. I said, why? She goes, because there's like 51 pairs of shoes down there. I had no idea I had that many pairs of shoes because I don't wear the same shoes all the time.
Yeah.
So they last forever. So I see a new shoe and go, "Ooh, I like
Oh.
that shoe." I have 51 pairs of shoes.
Oh my God, Tom. I would never peg you for having 51 pairs of shoes.
I just don't get rid of anything, I guess. I don't maybe just holding on to it.
I could see that with you.
I don't know, isn't that, stop looking at me like that, Judd. You look at me like, "Oh, this loser."
Go downstairs and throw them. Goodwill won't take them. They don't take like shoes ordinarily unless they're like almost new. Go downstairs today and purge the shoes. It's the only thing. I keep everything. I don't keep shoes. I just
Full
throw them away.
disclosure. Okay, you want the full disclosure?
Yeah,
Some of them
yes.
have never been taken out of the box. So
No.
there.
I could see that with you.
Then Goodwill will take them. I stand
They'll
corrected.
take 'em. So I'll be giving. Oh, by the way, I did this yesterday. The Marine Corps is raising money for Toys for Tots, and I donated some money yesterday. Please do that because there are tons of children in this economy who are not going to get a toy unless we help. That's just a fact. No, if they're not Catholic, piss on them. But just kidding.
Hey.
Man, this show is between that and Brittany's new nickname, and I have seen in a very short time the HR violations just piling up.
Yeah, piss on them. That's all I have to say. All right, Pally, we'll talk to you
All
tomorrow.
right. See y'all later. Bye.
I don't know if he wants to come back
No.
anymore after that episode, but such is life. Why am I in such a good mood? I should be in a horrible mood.
Because I'm here.
That's why I should be in a horrible mood. That's what I'm saying. All right, we do have to take a break here, ladies and gentlemen. And it's going to be interesting because I'm going to be like popping out because unfortunately the bathroom's about a city block from here, and we got very long periods where I'm going to just disappear because I'm not going to give up on Schweel and this.
New labeling, I see.
It is. It's new labeling.
Oh, you went with cherry. Have you always been
Always
the cherry?
Always
cherry.
been cherries.
What
Always
the-
cherry. Yep.
Always cherry.
Yes. Jingo.
Not bad, Brittany.
All right, we'll take a break. Be right back. Chris Egert will join us right after this. Let's take a second to talk about my bank, North American Banking Company. You've heard me talking about them for a long time now. When they opened in 1998, they made a promise to deliver a better banking experience for their customers where you know your banker and they know you. While a lot has changed since 1998, this commitment to being a true community bank in the Twin Cities has not. So if you're looking for a better banking experience, why not bank with my bankers at North American Banking Company? Go to nabankco.com or stop by any one of their 6 Twin Cities locations. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This is Bob Sansevier, and I want to tell you about Dave Bialki from Bialki Law. Dave represented my wife, Mary, when she had a significant workplace injury. She was very happy with the job Dave did. If you have a work-related injury and have Dave represent you, I'm betting you'll be happy too. Dave is a down-to-earth guy. He grew up in northern Minnesota, rides a Harley, and worked various jobs doing concrete, electrical, plumbing, roofing, and carpentry work. Dave works for people with work-related injuries. If you work construction, or anywhere for that matter, and you're hurt or even just hurting, you should talk to Dave. Let's face it, our bodies wear out. If your body is worn out from work, if your knees or back or shoulders hurt from things you do at work, do what Mary did. Call Dave and talk to him about it at Bialki Law to set up a free initial consultation. The number to call is 763-571-2410. That's 763-571-2410. Or visit bialkilaw.com. That's BIALKE law.com.
Hey, could you turn Bob's mic up next time? Because I could barely hear up. Let me tell you about Bialki. It's like, settle down, Sandy. Again, you have to forgive him. He's Italian. Right?
Yes.
Absolutely. Guys, if you want to reignite your intimacy once and for all, listen, just give the Twin Cities Premier Health a call for a discreet and confidential in-office evaluation by their highly trained staff of medical professionals. Acoustic wave therapy sessions are 25 to 30-minute treatments with no pain, no downtime afterward. And I'm here to tell you I've had 12 of them, so I know what the hell I'm talking about. And right now, Twin Cities Premier Health is offering a free treatment and a free consultation when you book today. Receive this $800, yes, I said $800 value when you use code word TOM at TwinCitiesPremierHealth.com. You may know that age-related erectile dysfunction is most commonly caused by a buildup of plaque in the arteries that supply blood to the erectile tissue. Acoustic wave therapy can rescue your relationship and has been clinically proven to break up plaque and improve blood flow to the penis, The wiener. I said wiener. Definitely take advantage of this limited time special offer. Receive a free treatment and a free consultation when you book today. This is a savings of $800 when you use code word Tom at TwinCitiesPremierHealth.com. Be sure to use code word Tom so we get credit for. They should put the word Tom in there more often, don't you think? This is a savings of $800 when you use code word Tom at TwinCitiesPremierHealth.com. Be sure to use code word Tom so we get credit for sending you. I wouldn't recommend a service like this unless I knew they could help you. What are you looking up at?
Color's weird in the shot today.
Oh, it is. It's yellow.
Yeah, very warm.
Yeah.
Oh, he's getting up to fix it. Oh, while he's fixing that, I'm going to run down the hall.
Okay.
Carry this.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
So, Chris Egert's.
Can we
There you
talk
go.
There, now he's back.
Can we
I
talk
like
about
it.
Tom's schlong now that he's out of the room?
Obviously, that's what I talk about. Am I right? I like that. The warmness was kind of nice. Now it feels a little bit sterile, like you could do surgery in there.
Doctor's office vibes.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
How the heck are you?
Never been better, Brittany. How about you?
Really? I'm all right. I had accidentally been gone for 2 days, so I've been kind of living that life. Like went into work today, and traffic was crazy today.
I heard that. Yeah.
Saw the deer that caused it. It was a big one.
Did you hit it? Like, did you see it up close and personal?
No, it was just like right there on my left side.
Okay.
It was a big deer that slowed down 212 quite a bit.
You got a lot of sex crazed male deer out there right now. 'Tis the season. So that's why you're seeing all these accidents and all the old deer versus car stuff.
It does feel like hunting season snuck up on us. My husband yesterday after dinner was like, so this weekend. And I was like, what? He's like, this weekend is like, I think we could make it work with me going up north. And I was like, oh my God, it's hunting season. Like, it feels like, I don't know why, maybe because we've had like not that cold of weather, but it feels like it really just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's here, and it's really going to feel like it this weekend, though. Yeah, back to cold stuff this weekend.
Are you a hunter?
I hunt pheasants. I don't hunt deer.
Pheasant hunting, I heard, is really fun. You don't have a dog. Do you have a friend with a dog, or do you
Yeah,
not
2 dogs, but I don't take them hunting. They're not hunting dogs. They're city dogs.
Yeah, I actually knew you had dogs. They're just always, when you're at your house, surprisingly quiet. But yeah, you told us that they're terrible at healing and have taken you out before.
Yeah, they are city dogs in the sense of they're both pit bull mix. So when I say they're city dogs, they're city.
Oh, I
dogs.
see.
Right.
Can you hunt pheasant without dogs? I don't know.
Yeah.
You can?
Yeah, you can. Although most like hardcore will have a dog just because you can sweep them up a lot easier. They can run ahead. And because a lot of the times where you find the best pheasant hunting is where the grass or the corn or whatever, the crop is so dense that even you walking through it won't get the birds up, but a dog can often accomplish that.
So I had my stepdad's retired hunting dog. I had Izzy for forever. She had to retire when she was like 7, and she lasted until she was 16 with me. Anyways, I was at this guy's house. We were at a friend of a friend's house, and it was like out in the country. And I was like, yeah, she's a retired hunting dog. She loves hunting. He goes, really? He pulls out a giant shotgun and like does the, ch-ch. And she got so excited. And I was like, this is the weird, because I was like, oh yeah, that was fun. But also felt like a weird move at a party.
Yeah. Oh, your dog likes to hunt. Let me grab my gun real quick.
I know.
Jesus. Ladies and gentlemen, news brought to you by Mr. Money Talk Josh Arnold. Call Josh for your free 48-minute financial evaluation, bringing you Chris Egert. So you got to some really important news there. That's good.
Yeah. We're talking about hunting and deer hunting, Tom. So it was important.
I have never been deer hunting in my life. Is that fun?
You're too busy buying shoes, Imelda Marcos.
That's a good shot right there.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't even know until we moved, though, because we lived in Golden Valley for like 15 years, something like that.
Yeah.
I had no idea that there were that many pairs of shoes of mine. Some of them I've never even taken out of the box. What the hell is that?
It's a solid, I'm going to say it's a dad move.
Yeah.
And I fall into the same category. Like, I find one pair of shoes that fit the right way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I will never wear a different pair of shoes the rest of my life. Like, buy 10. I mean, I feel you on that.
It is all true. Were you surprised Tom Emmer dropped out of the race? Is anybody going to ever come close for these pukes? And do they understand, and the Democratic Party and the Republican Party both, you could have done this by now. Not one of you will cross over, which pisses me off. And the fact that you're listening to Matt Gaetz, you must be out of your mind. That man is nuts.
Well, I didn't think he had a very good chance because he was considered anti-Donald Trump, and that seems to be the part that's the dividing line between why none of these people who've been nominated have been able to get it. Although Jim Jordan couldn't get it either, even though he's a Trump supporter. But so he was divisive in the different way. So yeah, I guess I'm not surprised. And then the former president referred to Emmer as a rhino or something to the effect. Republican in name only on Truth Social. So no, I don't know. It didn't surprise me, but
I've known Tom for a long time. Like I say, went golfing with him, hung out with him a little bit. Yeah. I don't know him really well, but he seemed like a very nice guy, very even keel. I was very excited when he was running because I thought finally, somebody who was approaching a centrist winning. Hey, how would that? But of course it didn't happen because these two extreme sides make me want to puke.
Did you see the old the Dean Phillips presidential run appears to be taking some serious shape?
See, we got to get Dean in studio because we've had him in studio before he was named to office. He came in studio and asked me if I would endorse him, and I did. And that's not why he almost lost because of it, I'm sure. But now, so what's going on with Dean today?
Well, Jason DeRusha, who used to be at CCO and TV and is now on the radio end over there, he tweeted yesterday a picture that somebody sent him of the Dean Phillips for President bus.
Bus?
Yeah, he's got the whole thing. It's rolling down the road. So it may not be official, but it's official enough that he's got his name on the side of a bus.
Well, the family's
that's usually a pretty good indicator if one gets a bus with one's name on the side of it.
It must be wonderful in life growing up a billionaire's son because you're just like, I'll do whatever the hell I want. Think about that.
Yeah, I do think about it a lot. Because my alarm has been going off at 2 or 3 in the morning for the last 20 years.
Oh.
And I got some bad news for you. 37 years of getting up at 3:15 in the morning. I still wake up every morning at 3:15. Sometimes I get back to sleep, sometimes I don't. But every day, because I did it for so long, I still wake up.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, you're not looking too happy that I told you that.
Nah, it's all right. I know. What was I going to tell you guys? I had a story this morning that, we had that Kmart fire on Friday. Brittany, I think. No, yeah, Brittany was here. You were here.
Yeah.
Minneapolis fire came out yesterday with kind of a non-update. They don't know what happened.
Oh, of course they don't.
That was the update. Nobody died there though, and they are going to speed up the demolition process now for what it's worth. So that wasn't set to happen until the spring, but it sounds like they're going to get started on it right now. So perhaps that whole scene will start to take a little more shape.
Can I ask you a question about that? I want to ask you a question about that store. Who was the imbecile that said, "Yeah, let's block Nicollet Avenue"?
Well, I brought that up the other day. The history is the city of Minneapolis was really highly invested in that site, and they were going to build some big grand indoor shopping center / entertainment complex / it was going to be like the next big thing. Mm-hmm. And the intention was never to close Nicollet, but apparently Kmart ended up, if you consider them the anchor of whatever was supposed to be built there, and Kmart said they absolutely needed that space, and they apparently demanded that the road be closed.
God, why would we agree to that?
So I don't know. I mean, there's some that have referred to that as one of the bigger boondoggles in the city of Minneapolis history, which there's a couple of boondoggles on that list. So for that to be
there are a couple.
And I wanted to say boondoggle.
There's nothing wrong with the word boondoggle. The other part I love about Minneapolis, St. Paul, is there's a stretch of 35W. You have to slow down to 35 or 40 miles an hour. The part going into downtown St. Paul? Yep. Do you know why you have to slow down to 35 miles an hour there? Apparently, a member of the city council was living on that street at the time, and he didn't want people speeding past his house.
Dang.
Hey,
What a joke!
I'm not mad at him. Listen, if I could get people to stop speeding down in front of my house, I would do it.
But I suppose, I guess you better run for city council.
No.
I guess so.
With like city planning boondoggles, as Chris would say. I
And-
feel like the biggest one is not having the Twin Cities built like closer to and on the river, like Chicago, where like,
Yeah,
it runs
yeah.
through the city. Like we missed a real opportunity to like have a cooler joint city setup.
No, I understand what you're saying. Because kind of like where the river running through downtown Minneapolis, that's absolutely gorgeous. When it gets over by St. Paul, it's nice. But yeah, I understand kind of a meeting in the middle.
Yeah,
Do you think it's because Minneapolis, St. Paul people didn't want to meet in the middle?
probably.
That's what I'm thinking.
That would make sense
Yep.
because geographically where the downtowns are at, it definitely, and that would be cool, Tevin. I never really thought about it that way. If you had like the downtowns on either side of the river, and
Yeah, I mean, I'm not Tevin for 2028 city council, mayor, governorship. We're gonna bring everybody together.
Print the
You're gonna-
shirts.
Yeah,
you're gonna move downtown.
Yeah, let's get the shirts out there.
City council, student
Ish.
government.
student council, city council, one of the councils.
So your platform is to combine Minneapolis and St. Paul into one city.
Yes, one true Twin City.
Chris loves that idea.
I'm sure the people will go for that because I know there's no animosity between the two communities.
The conjoined Twin Cities.
Yes, there we go.
You know what I love so much about that? Since I was a little boy, I have loved both cities because they're so different.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that about the Twin Cities.
Yeah.
Very different people, no question.
I agree, but it doesn't sound like if you're a St. Paul resident or if you're a Minneapolis resident, you can't be on the other side.
No, Bloods and Crips.
You know what's funny about that is most of that comes from where, and this is a fact, and they can deny it all they want, but it is a fact. Most of it came from the Catholic Church. It's like-
Oh, I suppose because that makes sense.
It did. Most of it did. We don't get along because you're not a Catholic. It's like, is there anything I can be that you wouldn't like right now? I still cannot believe, and I'm not going to drag you into this, Chris, but when I tune in and watch young people, 18, 20 years old, pissing all over Jews, I'm like, what are you doing? I don't get it. And like I said, you don't even have to comment on that, but I'm like, what? Now, I understand it's a neighborhood I grew up in, and I've always been. I've liked every Jew I've met except for Gelfand.
Yeah.
There's
There's that.
But doesn't that kind of, in a way, doesn't that shock you guys to hear that on national television?
Yeah, it's insane.
What?
It's so funny because like in my life, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if it's the people I'm around, but a lot of times I don't even find out their religion after like knowing them for 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, okay. Like, and it's not going to change.
Right.
So you still want to keep playing tennis in the middle of the day? Cool. Like, all right. So it's like, it just weirds me out that would be your first concern when usually it's like,
Yeah.
you're a what? Oh, cool. Can you pass the pizza over here? You know, like it just doesn't.
Right. It doesn't change your opinion on somebody based off of whatever their religion is.
You know what I love about that? We celebrate on Saturdays. Oh, no, it's on Sunday. Oh, I'm going to kill you. Who cares when you celebrate your religion?
I don't care. It's,
Good God, settle down.
in our neighborhood, about like 3 years ago, a family moved in and they're lovely. And I play tennis with their teenage girl and she's lovely. And one time the mom, it was like after they'd been there for like 6 months, was like, yeah, we're Mormon. And she's like, I know what you think. I go, oh, everything I've learned about Mormonism's from the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. So I don't think you have
I don't
any
think
idea.
anything. Yeah.
You don't know. Like, I assume you're going to throw a drink at me right now. If
Sure.
anything, like, she's like, oh, that's never usually what people, I go, that's all so I just assume you're going to have Louis Vuitton bags at some point. Like,
Responsibility, depends on how it all works out. No, I just, again, I'm not going to go on and on about it, but if you're a Palestinian, if you're a Jew, whatever, I got no problem with any of this stuff. I wish you guys could get along. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
That'd be terrific.
I do think there is a tendency to because of the way that Hamas puts out information slash misinformation, I do think that they do an effective job at turning the angle off of the terror attack that they plotted and planned out over a number of years that started this, and turn the focus then to the civilian casualties that are happening in Gaza. And that's all public relations right there. And I do think that has something to do with the perception from the public about taking a side on this. But that's just outside looking in.
And basically, you could predict, because we are regressing as a society. Nobody knows how to read. Nobody knows how to do math anymore. Nobody's nice to one another. If we continue in this direction, we're going to end up with our own situation. I guarantee you that if we keep going in this direction, Democrats and Republicans are going to start killing each other in the streets. I guarantee you.
That needs to,
It needs to stop.
I
There's
know.
no getting around that, right?
Nope, you're right about that.
So why don't we calm down? I'm good by you. I'm good by you. I got no problems with it. I was trying to think of a group that I hate, other than radio and TV people.
Fair.
What do you think of that? No, I
Speaking of which, I got to roll. I'm late.
no, you're not. Oh my God. I thought it was 43. I'm sorry, sir.
That's
All
okay.
right, we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
Bye. I got to get a bigger clock. Well, it's a good thing I made that very clear.
Made what clear? That you need a bigger clock?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because if you left the L out, that'd be a whole
See what I'm
different-
saying?
yeah.
Oh, I didn't
mean,
even
it
think. I was like so
Does
confused
Twin
by the
Cities
joke.
Premier Health, do they offer that service?
That acoustic wave therapy does wonders.
That's amazing. There's no question about it. No, I honestly, I was thinking about that at home the other day, because you turn on the TV and it's just hatred, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't hate anyone.
I do.
I've been. Do you?
Yeah, people that
Me?
merge onto the highway at 30 miles per hour.
Well, there is that.
I hate those people.
Oh, yeah.
I despise them.
I'm with you, AJ. I'm more likely to hate somebody based off of some petty thing they did where I'll never see them again, more than I am off of like something going on.
That's the thing. I want to see them again. I want. No,
It's telling the truth.
if I'm within a mile of my exit, I'm not getting out of the right lane. I need to exit. But if you're going to get on the highway at 25 miles per hour and make me go from 60 down to 30 in a matter of like less than a football, I hate you and I want to fight you.
I couldn't agree more.
Do you ever like zoom up to them and then you see they're like just terrified? Like they're just driving, like you could just tell absolutely scared.
Yeah.
Get out of the way.
Take a back road.
To him and, yeah.
Save the main roads for us that know how to drive.
Got no
Sorry.
problem with that.
Sorry,
Got no problem with that. News brought to you by Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Call Josh for your free 48-minute financial evaluation. I'm going to have to get a new pair of glasses because I thought that said 843 and it said 848. And I'm like, ooh, sorry about that.
Can you trade some of those shoes for new glasses?
Yeah, 51 pairs of shoes for new
What's
glasses.
the exchange
Barnard.
range?
Love to hang that big red clock that's up in the other room. Hang it up in here.
Leave the L off of that one, too. See how that works.
Big old slanging.
We
Fuck.
shall be right back right after this, ladies and gentlemen. It's Tom Barnard here for Flagship Ford in Baldwin, Wisconsin. I'm happy to say I purchased an EV Mustang from Flagship and have friends and coworkers who bought new vehicles and used ones from this family-run dealership. That's just 20 minutes east of the metro in Baldwin, Wisconsin. Whether you want to compare their used car specials, claim Ford financing options, or simply book an oil change or tire rotation, they have you covered at Flagship Ford. New vehicles like the Ford Escape, the Edge, or F-150 pickups with special engine options, Flagship Ford can answer all your questions on your next new vehicle. The month of October is Tire Month at Flagship Ford. Fit your tires for your specific vehicle, any model car, truck, or SUV, and get your tires before the snow flies, just $5 over cost. That's a purchase of 4 new tires with a $70 rebate gift card on top of the $5 over cost on most brands of tires. Flagship Ford, east of the metro in Baldwin, Wisconsin, online at flagshipford.com. That's flagshipford.com.
In a world that's racing a mile a minute, a split-second distraction can change everything. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw and Bryant. Every day we see too many people, heads buried in their phones, unaware of the dangers they're in. Texting and driving isn't just reckless, it's playing Russian roulette with your life and the lives of others. In just 4 seconds of distraction, you've driven the length of a football field. Is there any text message that's worth your life, that's worth the lives of others? I've been fighting for the rights of the injured for over 30 years, but I'd rather you never meet me in a courtroom. So hear me now. Stop texting and driving. Pay attention. Value your lives and the lives around you. And if you won't, know this. At Bradshaw and Bryant, we're relentless. We won't back down. We bring justice to those that need it.
Find Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
With Mike Bryant on your side, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
Recently, Jim Paul of Valley Buick GMC was contacted by a company that does on-site sales. Jim was confused.
Wait, they don't know anything about us, our staff, our reputation, most importantly, our customers.
Hey, pal, no problem. We do them all over the country. You know, get the manager off the roof sale, inflatable gorilla sale, and our favorite, the 13-hour sale with a giant clock that goes to 13. Urgency, baby. We bring our crew because, well, your people are, let's just say, a little laid back.
And the pricing?
Nothing special, sport.
But Jim thought, we price competitively every day. Our prices are special. We definitely don't need these guys. But sale does convey some urgency, so we made a bold decision for his fine dealerships.
Announcing the Valley Buick GMC 365-day sale. And we can even extend it a couple years or so.
I got the air dancer guy, scratch-offs, plastic keys, bubble machine.
Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley or Hastings, or valleycardealers.com. Hurry.
You all have helped support MyPillow and their employees in these tough economic times. Mike Lindell knows this, continues to give back to listeners with deals on his most popular products. You heard me recently speak about the My Slippers, the Giza Sheets, MyPillow 2.0, and more. Great news, the MyPillow six-pack bath towel sets are back in stock. The proprietary technology, I said proprietary technology, makes them extremely absorbent, which we like, yet still provides that soft feel you look for in a towel, which we also like. The set comes with 2 bath towels, 2 hand towels, and 2 washcloths. Regular price is $79.98, and for a limited time, you can get this 6-pack towel set for only $39.99 with promo code TOM. That's TOM. That's a 50% savings. Go to MyPillow.com. Use promo code TOM to save 50% on the MyPillow 6-pack towel sets. That is just $39.99 for a set. This deal will not last long. Enter promo code TOM for this special and many more. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Brittany in studio today.
Yeah, baby.
Really?
Sorry, I'll go home.
I'm going to head back to the house. Is that the tickets? Is that how it's all going to go?
Yeah, it took me forever to get here, too, because 2:12 was...
The traffic was horrible this morning.
Thank you. I almost texted you guys that I'm going to be late, and then I realized they don't even know I'm coming in, so it'll be a happy surprise.
Well, it wasn't a happy surprise. It was a surprise. I don't know about happy, but no, it was so packed. It was unbelievable. And a lot of what, AJ, what you were talking about, people coming on the freeway at either 90 or 30.
I love the people that go on at 90.
Well, unless they're, of course, right on your ass when they're doing it.
Yeah,
frankly, if you're merging at that speed, I'll get out of your way happily.
Oh, listen to you. God. No, there was a ton of traffic this morning.
I know. I did see, we were mentioned this, there was a giant dead deer on the side of the road, and then a cop had pulled over the 2 cars that obviously had been affected by that. So I think that was the problem.
What are you going to do?
And we talked about Kevin McHale earlier. Listener chimed in with a story about when he met Mr. McHale. So he was on a flight to Phoenix. This is where Cletus, it looks like. Anyway, he was on a flight going to Phoenix, and he said people were going by giving Kevin McHale high fives and saying hello and things like that. I goes, we were getting off, and I say to him, "Hey, aren't you the guy from Cheers?" McHale's wife laughs, but McHale wasn't happy about it, and so he asked him to make a video of his friend's dad's because it was his birthday, say hi. He's a huge fan, and he said he did not make the video, and he did not want, or he did it, but he did not want to do it. So he said he got a little pushback from McHale.
Why is he like that?
I don't know. If you're known for being like one of the greatest basketball players of all time, and somebody goes up, it goes,
no doubt about
"Aren't you that guy from Cheers?"
Oh, come on. It's funny.
Probably a little annoyed.
I agree with Tevin on this. It was a weird tactic to then ask for a video after you jokingly insult somebody.
Look, I cannot tell you how many times they come up, "Hey, aren't you Tony Bernard?" Yeah, laugh it up, pal. It's my brother.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Or Todd Bernard or Troy Bernard or who. Yeah, that's hilarious. Leave me alone.
What if somebody was like, "Hey, Dave Ryan, what's up? We make a video for my mom."
And I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, you do.
I do.
Dave Ryan from
The KDWB.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
no, I don't know him.
All right. Or somebody was like, "Oh, you look like the guy from Up." Can you take
Which one is that now?
Which guy are you talking about?
The old cartoon man. You look like the guy from Up. Everybody, the listeners will agree. Anyway,
What are you talking about?
Yeah, what are
I
you
think
talking about?
Dave Bialke's on the phone. We can get to
You know
him.
what we should do was we should get Tevin the starring role in the Sammy Davis Jr. story. Because
Guys,
you look so much
First
like
of all, that's Brittany wants to laugh so bad.
I
but
don't
she
even know what
does-
the hell you're talking
Okay, so
about.
he's talking about an animated film called Up, but he didn't
yes.
even mention that was an animated film. So I was like, Tom,
Oh, the guy in he's in a wheelchair or something?
yeah, and he's with the balloons.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
So I just knew that I could cue up Tom's memory, but I refused to because I thought it'd be really funny to watch you guys struggle. Also, you had to say that you look like an old man character, which I knew was going to be a rough experience. So that was my enjoyment just now.
I've said worse, and I've made it through. So we're doing all right.
The only
Well,
thing
we'll
this,
see how it goes in the future, but
this is true.
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't think you look like the guy from Up at all.
A little bit.
No,
a little bit. If I'm
the guy
remembering
has
correctly.
the big glasses and the scrunchy face. Tom doesn't have any of that.
Yeah.
Don't try to leave me out on this island.
No.
Okay, it's not a great reference, but
See, show him the photo.
No, because I look like I'm wrong. I'm wrong now, but I'm gonna stand by it just off.
Well, as a matter of fact, you've pushed it to the point now. I've now hired an attorney
Mm.
on the phone, joining us live now, Dave Bialke. Dave, can I sue Tevin?
It's not my area of practice. You know, I got to gently push away from that one.
Yes,
you got a work comp injury, and then you got a workers' comp injury. I'm happy to represent you. That's what I do.
What's
the
happening?
rest of it, you're on your own.
We are talking to a man, ladies and gentlemen, who, like me, has a wife that's far too good for him. So we do have that in common, Dave.
Absolutely, yeah. And then we have the same trials and tribulations from that. People think it's great, but it's not always that way.
No, never mind. I don't even go down that. There's some people don't like it. They don't like it. It's like, well, how did you get in that club? It's like, shut up, leave me alone.
That's what they say. They think it's great, but you and I have talked about this before. Every time there's an argument between us two and one of my family members is around, they always take her side. Doesn't matter. It could be as obvious as whatever, but they always take her side because it's who she is.
It is understandable. So how's biz for you these days, Dave? Things, I see you can't say to a lawyer, a personal injury lawyer, or any lawyer, "Oh, how's it going today? Is it a great day? You're making some dough?" So you just can't even reference that, can you?
Exactly. It's like an orthopedic surgeon. Oh, how was today? Any broken bones come in?
Exactly.
I make my living on other people's unfortunate injuries at work, but that's what they need, someone to help them out. That's what I do. So, business is steady as usual.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. Now, for people who are listening who might have a problem, how do they get a hold of you? What's it all about? Is it a long, drawn-out See, that's the one thing I'm asking personally. When somebody signs up, to the rule makers, do they try to make it as long and drawn-out process as they can to figure you're just going to give up eventually? Do they still do that kind of thing?
Oh, they do it frequently. And the insurance companies, they try to make it as long and painful as possible so people just walk away. And that I had many claims over the years that I've had either clients that said, I'm sick of this. I just can I just walk away? I said, well, of course you can, but you really don't want to. But insurance companies also do it before they ever see an attorney. People get injured at work. You don't just go to an attorney right away because the insurance company starts paying weekly benefits and medical benefits and so forth. But then down the road, they drag it out and they want the people just to say, I'm done with this. And they just walk away. And then they've won out.
Yeah, that is very true. Has personal injury gotten better? Has it gotten, by better, I mean lessened? Has it gotten bigger? There are more people, obviously, doing different things. Are we a safer society than we used to be as far as the workplace is concerned? How have things changed in like the last 20, 30 years?
Well, I've been doing this for 31 years. So I have seen changes in my career. And I will say that, yes, workplaces are safer these days. I mean, injuries do occur. They occur regularly. But if you turn the clock back to the years in the past, yes, we are a safer society. There's a lot of injuries that there's really no way to get around them, like repetitive injuries to knees and shoulders and so forth. They will happen, but other traumatic injuries, certainly are fewer now than they were years ago. I've seen it, and I'm sure even before I did this, there was much more significant injuries out there on a regular basis.
So can I sue if the people on the show hurt my feelings?
Oh.
Oh, you'd be suing every day from what I see.
Oh, Dave.
Every day, baby.
And the thing is, I think that you're probably a little bit softer out there, but they take you as you are. So if you're the eggshell type, that one little thing puts you over the edge, they take you as you are, and
oh, that's a good thing.
So, that being said, emotional distress, it is a work injury. Sometimes can be very difficult to prove because we're bombarded everywhere in life with various things that hit us, and then we have to deal with them. But theoretically, is it out there? Yes. As a practical matter, emotional distress without something really significant is a pretty much an uphill climb.
Dave, do some people not like to claim, well, I know I got hurt at work, I broke my ankle or whatever, but I don't know if I want to go. Are some people reluctant to kind of, and I'm talking about protect themselves? They're kind of like, well, I want to stay out. Even though I'm the one that got hurt, I don't want to cause trouble. Minnesotans can kind of be like that, can't they?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I have discussions with my clients all the time. I say, it's your claim. You do what you want to do, whether it's go forward with it or not. But your employer has insurance for a reason because it's required by the law, and you're injured. You have to take care of yourself. Now, workers' comp is a no-fault system, meaning it doesn't matter how the injury occurred, whether it was 100% the employer's fault or the 100% the employees or somewhere in between. The benefits are the same, and it can be very difficult to convince people that hey. It is what it is. You got injured. You can either walk away from it and then later likely regret that you walked away, or you did something about it. You maximize whatever benefits the system has. A lot of benefits the system doesn't have, but at the same time, it's the best we got. So we have to deal with it.
And you're kind of touching on this, the idea of walking away. So is there anything available for people if, like, let's say I have an accident at work, and I think it's like, oh, I'm fine. And like a year down the line, I'm not. Can people retroactively do anything about that? Or is it just once that's shut, that's shut?
They can, but then you can be dealing with notice issues. You can be dealing with statute of limitations issues that, if you don't give notice and you don't file your claim, and then, months down the road, oh, by the way, I got injured back in February. Well, you never gave notice. Yeah. Well, I thought it was, I just didn't want to. Well, that's the worst answer is I didn't want to. Yeah. There are a couple ways around it. If it's insignificant injury, we have, especially if you work in a construction, a trade or something, they have, aches and pains all the time. So it wasn't anything significant. And hey, this little, twinge I had in my back, I just didn't think anything of it until later on it became more significant. Well, then we can get around it that way. But generally, if you're hurt at work, you got to tell someone. That's the best rule from the start.
Okay.
That makes total sense. I bet you there's still people out there that think, oh, I don't want to do this. I know I got hurt at work and it wasn't my fault and I should file a claim, but I don't want to stir the pot because they'll fire me. You can't get fired over filing a claim. I got to believe you're better protected than that.
You are. Now,
Good.
You can be fired for other reasons, but
you talk about me personally?
you and anyone else. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah, if you file a claim, you cannot be fired because you filed a claim. Now, employers can, if they're unhappy, then they'll start, bringing up other reasons why we were thinking of firing them a year ago or a month ago or whatever. And they can come up with the reason, so it might be difficult. But under the law, you cannot be fired just for filing a claim.
See, I think some people are afraid of that. It's like, well, they're going to end up hating my guts, and then they're going to all turn on me, and then I'm never going to have another peaceful day at work. They can't do that to people, can they?
Theoretically they can't, but employers do that. The real world is things like that happen. It's very unfortunate, but I do understand why people are reluctant to make claims for those reasons, and I school them as to what I'm thinking, and they make their own decision because, it's their claim, it's their life. But, I'm here for a reason when I'm representing them.
Well, and I'll say this: I've known you for quite some time now, and it's one of those situations where you're a very even keel guy. I've never seen you get way over the top, angry, way over the top. You're a very even keel guy. So if somebody's going to come and see Dave Bialke, they're going to get an even keel guy who knows what the hell he's doing. You're going to help them out. Some people are still afraid of lawyers, I guess.
Well, they are. We can be intimidating at times, whether sometimes not, even if we don't mean to be intimidating, we can be intimidating to them. The problem with lawyers, well, there's many, but one that I'm going to touch on is typically you're dealing with a lawyer at a tough time in your life. Okay, whether it be, family law or criminal law or, other areas. In my area is workers' compensation, which is you're injured at work, whether it be a specific injury, you fell off a ladder, or something that your shoulder's killing you from, working as a carpenter for 35 years. So these type of things, it's not a pleasant time. And so you're dealing with now you have a lawyer in your life, which you didn't. It's not like you just went out one day, hey, I want to have a lawyer in my life. No, it happens because it happens. And so, it can be a tough time.
Well, Dave, I want to check in with you once in a while and see, how things are going with everybody. Are there periods in the year that tend to be not really dangerous are there more injuries any particular time of the year? I suppose the busier the business gets, the more likely someone might run into something. But is there a particular time of the year where it's like, oh God, I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to say is there one period where it just happens to go on that people get injured more often?
Winter tends to be the people that are working tend to get injured more because of ice and other conditions. Summer, there's more people working, especially in the trades. So they kind of balance each other off. There's reasons for more in the summer and the winter, so they kind of balance themselves off. I get calls from people right around this time into November when people are laid off.
Oh, sure.
They had an injury from before, and the employer was accommodating. They had a 30-pound lifting restriction or 20-pound overhead restriction or something like that. Then the employer was accommodating them, but now they're laid off, and they're like, what do I do now? Just go on unemployment? Well, I encourage them to call me because workers' comp benefits can continue if you're laid off, and that can be actually a pretty significant benefit. So I get a lot of calls this time of year for that, and I encourage people to do that, to call me.
I think it's a wonderful deal. I know we only got about 1 minute left, but I tell you, AJ and Tevin and I would all like to have you answer a question. The three of us would like to file a suit against Brittany for making us feel bad. Can we do that?
Oh, absolutely. It's,
I would like to countersue Bialke, and I've already
too bad. We already got the best in the biz with Dave Bialke. So
I'm retaining you right now. So
okay.
Well, we will countersue your countersue.
Oh no, Bialke, get ready for some paperwork.
Well, hey, as long as I come out in the end, it's all good.
Exactly. Dave, how do people get a hold of you?
Call me at 763-571-2410 or look me up online, bialkelaw.com. That's BIALKE law.com. I got a website. You can click on there and get a hold of me.
Magnificent. Come back soon, Dave. Thank you.
I'll look forward to it. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Dave Bialke, ladies and gentlemen. Brought to you by Bialke Law Firm. Heard at work. Dave Bialke goes to work for you, taking care of your workers' comp injury claims and denials. Go to BIALKElaw.com. Tell them Tommy sent you. Yeah, that's an interesting business, I bet. First of all, a lot of people are kind of afraid of attorneys, don't you think?
Yeah, especially here in Minnesota, it's kind of looked at like, I don't want to, like you were mentioning, I think that stigma is very apparent here in the Midwest of like, first off, I'm fine. Don't make a big deal about it.
Right.
And then secondly, like we don't need to get a lawyer involved kind of feel.
That's a Minnesota deal, isn't it?
Totally.
I wonder why that is. Well, we don't want. Look, you got hurt at work. You got to protect your family.
I know.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, the retaliation is definitely a real thing because obviously they can't fire you because you sued them. But I worked for a guy once that there was an employee that he wanted to fire but didn't have reason, and he was like, "Well, I'm just going to make this job as uncomfortable as possible for that employee until they decide to quit." And so you get people that are like that, which is unfortunate.
It really is. But I've known Dave for a long time. He's a hell of a good lawyer, and that's why we had him on, because I've had people mention it to me lately. That's why I asked him, because this time of the year is when personal injuries, for some reason, escalate.
Yeah.
I don't know why the hell that. I suppose it is because of the ice and the snow that's coming and all the rest of it. That's probably true. But yeah, I've had a few people. I said, hey, you got to call Dave about it because he's really good at that whole situation. Just protect yourself. That's it. Right.
1,000%. And he said, at least report the injury right away. And if you need to go back to it, you have it on record. It's so important.
Well, like, you just hurt my feelings and I'm going to sue.
I actually have a log going of every time you guys hurt my feelings. So don't worry.
Is it loaded for bear?
It's loaded for bear.
It is. It's just jam packed.
I'm literally, every time I leave here, I have a diary input that says, they hurt my feelings.
You know what else happened? Exactly it right there.
I do want to go back to Tevin calling you an old man character. Let's kind of revisit that.
I love how she just can we back the bus up over Tevin and deflect from
well, we probably should.
It was a masterclass.
We did have one listener that said they agreed with me and one that said they agreed with Brittany. So it is open for interpretation.
And
it's not a bad thing. Everybody loves the guy from Up.
I'm going to show you a picture just so you can get irate. It looks nothing like you at all.
It could be an AI.
It just has a guy has white hair.
Why don't you kiss my ass? I didn't know that's who you were talking about. That looks just like me. Yeah,
literally couldn't look less like him. He's got a scrunch face and glasses.
In my defense, I don't have a lot of characters like that on the tip of my tongue. So it was just the first one that came to mind. I was under pressure. I needed to throw something out there. It didn't work. Not everything sticks, guys.
Tom's eyebrows also don't take up half of his face.
Well, that's the other
yes,
part.
Yes. Let's revisit.
Yes,
just to make you more irate. Look at those eyebrows.
Yes, those are definitely who's the Levy?
Eugene Levy.
Eugene Levy. Those are definitely him. But
goddamn caterpillars right there, sir.
Those are caterpillars.
Okay, I will go back and we'll workshop it. We'll come back with a better comparison.
Okay, rerun. Anyway.
He's a great character, though. You would personally.
No. You don't get to now talk nice about the Up character after you just destroyed him.
First off, the movie Up will make you bawl within the first.
That is
5
a great
minutes.
movie.
It's a great movie.
So it was a compliment.
I thought you were talking about the Edward Asner character.
That's his Ed Asner.
Oh, it is Ed Asner?
Yeah.
I thought he looked different than that.
I thought
at least he looked like a human, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
He's
the he vocalizes Carl Fredricksen.
Vocalizes.
Have you heard the news about? Because you're a big Shaft fan from back in the day.
Who's a private dick that's a sex machine to all the chicks?
Shaft.
Damn right.
Well, did you hear Richard Roundtree passed away?
No. I loved Richard Roundtree. I told you my great experience my first day in Jacksonville, Florida. I went to see Shaft.
Mm-hmm.
It was the second one. I think it was the second Shaft. I went down to the Jacksonville Theater downtown, which is an island. Downtown Jacksonville is an island. And I went to see Shaft in Africa or Shaft, or there were about 3 or 4 of them, something like that. So I go in there and the movie had already started. So I just sit down and all the rest of it. The movie ends. I get up. I am the only honky in the entire movie theater. And I just got to come over. Man, you must be new to town. And I was. It was true. I think the implication was, don't come down here to watch movies.
Yep. Not a lot of white people probably visited that theater. It looks like he was
loved it.
81 years old and was battling pancreatic cancer.
Oh, Jesus. I'm sorry to hear it. He was a hell of a talent. Why did he stop working all those years ago? Was he just locked in on that Shaft character?
I have no idea. There's a lot of actors that are like that. Where they
get
locked into a certain role and it's hard to shake.
He has a certain character. That's very true. We have to take a break, but we'll be right back. More talk about Shaft. Damn right. I love that. I sincerely do love that, by the way. I love those movies.
A bad mother, shut your mouth.
Shut your mouth. When I'm talking about Shaft, then we can dig it.
So good.
What a great song. All right, we'll be right back right after this. I'm so happy to welcome back our longtime friend, Sabre Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, to the show. I've known Steve, the owner, for many years, and I completely trust Sabre to keep my house comfortable. Why? Sabre does everything the right way, and they always put the customer first. I love the team at Sabre, and I'm not just making that up. I've known them for a long time. Because their service experts are experienced NATE certified technicians, are not salespeople. Their pricing is completely upfront, and they fix only what needs to be fixed, nothing more. Sabre is dedicated to giving customers what they need, when they need it, and at the fair price. Keeping your family safe and comfortable without breaking the bank. Give Sabre Heating and Air Conditioning a try. I know they'll take care of you just like they've taken care of me and my family. Whether you need a new Bryant furnace or air conditioner replaced, or just simply need a service call to get you going again, go to saberheating.com. That is SABRE heating.com. Sabre and Bryant, whatever it takes.
In a world that's racing a mile a minute, a split-second distraction can change everything. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw and Bryant. Every day we see too many people, heads buried in their phones, unaware of the dangers they're in. Texting and driving isn't just reckless, it's playing Russian roulette with your life and the lives of others. In just 4 seconds of distraction, you've driven the length of a football field. Is there any text message that's worth your life, that's worth the lives of others? I've been fighting for the rights of the injured for over 30 years, but I'd rather you never meet me in a courtroom. So hear me now. Stop texting and driving. Pay attention. Value your lives and the lives around you. And if you won't, know this. At Bradshaw and Bryant, we're relentless. We won't back down. We bring justice to those that need it.
Find Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
With Mike Bryant on your side, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
We're here, ladies and gentlemen, trying to make money for a rerun and Brittany. And you got to look up the picture of rerun. What do you mean he like? We had a listener call say, you look nothing like rerun. You look exactly like rerun.
He is a large black man, and not large as muscular, large as important.
Tell me you don't look like rerun. I'm going to pull up his dance.
You probably think all black people look alike, don't you?
Oh, there it is. There it is, right there. Yeah, baby. All right, I got to read a spot, and then we'll come back and insult everyone. Tom here. I just read a success story from MN Fat Loss client Elizabeth, who just completed the program. Elizabeth writes, I am a 54-year-old woman who has struggled with losing weight. I had almost constant heartburn, trouble sleeping, and brain fog. I tried counting calories, eating bars and shakes, and several other programs in which I would lose 5 to 10 pounds. After months of struggling, I wanted to gain it right back. After 60 days of the MN Fat Loss program, I was down 25 pounds. MN Fat Loss had really empowered me to believe that I can control my eating and my weight without having to sacrifice foods that I like. Let me assure you that the short 60 days is totally worth it. If you're thinking about finally committing to improving your health, this is the time to start. You won't regret your investment in yourself. Well, great job, Elizabeth. I'm so happy to hear about your success. And I'm being sincere there. I like whenever anybody has success, I like that. Are you ready to lose weight and feel better? Go to mnfatloss.com and schedule a free phone consultation. It is so easy to see if MN Fat Loss is a good fit for you. They offer a free phone consultation, learn about the program. You don't have to take time off of work or get a babysitter for the kids. It's as easy as getting on a quick call with the expert staff. You can share your goals, learn about the program, and see if it's a good fit to help you lose weight and feel better. They also have virtual options to help you if you live far away. To schedule that free phone consultation, go to mnfatloss.com. The only thing you have to lose is that unwanted weight. That's www.mnfatloss.com. I cannot wait to hear about your success story. Let them know that Tom sent you. We're back to hammer each other, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I will respond to your emails and messages. Yes, we should put up a picture of Ed Asner and Rerun and say it's Tevin and Tommy.
Yes, that's going to be our Halloween costumes this year.
Exactly.
We just watched the Rerun dance. Just Google Rerun dance. It's on What's Happening. It is amazing. And like, even though we can make fun of whatever, I
can't dance like that.
I could
absolutely
never.
Not.
He literally falls to the ground and shoots back up, and then has these kicks that would blow your mind. And the cardio alone on that.
Yeah.
And he weighs like what, 350?
He's not small.
He's not a small guy, man.
I remember him looking bigger though. I feel like the outfit doesn't help. He's not as big as I remember him.
No, not in that picture. You're right.
And like maybe that's also just like how big America's gotten, like where we are used to bigger people. But like back then I thought he was huge.
I have a question for you. Have they ever done a study on, and I'm not singling anybody out here, but I just noted a big difference. Does birth control cause women to gain weight?
I think there is the hormonal aspect.
Yeah, it seems like it.
But I don't know if that's the big contributor. of.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but again, men have gotten bigger as well. But when I was a kid, women were nowhere near as big as they are now.
Yeah.
And something's causing it's not all of a sudden, oh, well, we're going to eat more. That's not what it is. It's something else.
Yeah. Well, and it kind of like shifts because way back in the day, people were, if you were bigger, it was like a sign of wealth because you had money for food. And then it was, oh, well, now everybody needs to be smaller to fit a certain type of narrative. And then now even in today's world where Lizzo kind of made it cool again for bigger plus sized women to, flaunt what they got.
The biggest thing that, at least this is what I've looked into with like weight stuff, is that cheap food is made with things that fill you up. And it's so it's easier to grab. It's whatever. It's like those fillers that we talked about this back in the day. Eating corn syrup or corn was a novelty. That's why they made candy corn. Like it was like a joke. It was the only thing they said they sold to pigs, or they fed to pigs to make them fatter. And so it was like, oh, funny, we're eating this pig food. And now it's used so often in things, and it's the easiest grab. And it just is a lot of stuff that's meant to fatten people up.
But I don't understand. And it's men and women. I'm just not singling out women in particular, but they're a lot bigger than they used to be.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. There's something else going on here. And I'm just wondering if it's some kind of medication. I mean, look what we just went through with all these big, pharmacy companies.
Yeah.
They've been screwing people over for years
with
their phony crap and whatever. I'm just wondering, there's got to be a couple things out there that, and it's not just because people are a little heavier. They're like twice as big as they used to be.
And also you have to keep in mind the activities now that we do are all sedentary. Like almost all the streaming, all the computer stuff, all the
That's a
sitting
big part of it, probably.
is, it's not as like forcing you to be active. I mean, I pay a lot of money to be active, which is so silly. I know that. Like, I know that, but I like don't have the kind of mindset to say I'm going to go play outside. And that's like on me. I like don't have the like, my husband grew up north. He loves walking around our yard and like picking things up and like doing little projects. I need a straight up lady to yell at me on a treadmill, like to get that go. I mean,
double time.
You piece of crap. And I'll say, I know.
Was that Alex going with you?
Yep.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's just really funny. Like even the way we grew up was so different. Like he loves at the after dinner, he loves to go walk around our yard and like slowly pick up dog poop and like do activities. And I'm always like, I'm gonna not do that.
Yeah, well, there you go. Look, let me be very clear. I am not criticizing the people themselves. I'm criticizing what might be happening to them.
Yeah.
That's the part I don't like. I don't take drugs. I do THC, that's the one that I do to sleep, but I don't take any other drugs. I just don't trust drug companies anymore.
Yeah.
Look at what Pfizer's up to right now. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's scary. The birth control thing is really alarming because there's just a lot there, right? Like I don't know where to fall. I've been off birth control for a long time. When I found out how infertile I was annoyed at how long I've been taking birth control.
I suppose, yeah.
I could have been having so much more unprotected sex.
No doubt about it.
Thanks.
Yeah, but you didn't do it. You didn't make the move because you thought it was a wise decision.
Yeah. I mean, I still made a little bit of the moves. But like, it's just funny where you go, I've been off for so long, I forget how that feels. It'd be interesting to have people call in. It takes a long time for your body to get back to normal. I used to never have, like, this is probably TMI,
really?
but like normal periods. And now I've been off my birth control. It's like way more normal. And for me, and like, I feel like, but it's been so long since I haven't been on hormones for having kids. So I don't really know. I don't really know what's normal in women anymore.
Well, anything about you is not normal anyway.
That's also probably a
I'm just here
little
to tell
accurate.
you. It's just the way it is. What the hell were you laughing about in there?
I was laughing at the listeners emailing in because it was incredible. Just like back to back to back, people piling on and be like, you know what? Yeah, Tevin does kind of look like rerun.
What the hell is wrong with people?
Touchdown!
This is unbelievable.
Touchdown!
Okay, guys.
Yeah,
Black people do not all look alike.
Brandon wrote something really nice.
Oh, perfect. Let me hear that. I need some positivity.
Tevin looks like a ripped rerun.
Yes, I'll take that.
That's not
I'll
bad.
Take that.
And that was immediately followed up by Darren saying, okay, Tevin, Tom is right. You do look like a rerun. Sorry, bro.
Sorry, bro.
Okay. So because
I love our
everybody, and it's
listeners.
not just black people, but like white people, everybody has those moments where you're like, oh, like Brittany, you look like so and so and so and so. But like, I get so many drastic ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Like they'll be like, you look like Drake. You look like Denzel Washington. I'm like, those two don't look anything alike.
Nothing alike.
Okay, there are attributes you just grab onto, and one was you grabbed onto Tom just being older,
Correct.
like with
And way to
white
go.
hair.
It's low hanging fruit.
I always get I always get anybody with eyebrows. Anybody who's got like eyebrows that you can see, I get. I've gotten this like last week. I got Julia Fox. Somebody said you look just like Julia Fox, which I do not.
I don't know who that is.
She dated Kanye for a little bit. She just wrote a book.
Uncut Gems.
Uncut Gems.
What?
Gems.
Uncut Gems.
I was
the Adam
amused.
Sandler movie.
I was
Uncut
amused by
Gems,
Uncut
yeah.
Gems. And then I get Lake Bell all the time, this actress, because of her eyebrows. It's only because of her eyebrows. Look her up, Lake Bell.
You know who I thought when I first met you? Alexandra Daddario.
Is that the Schitt's Creek lady?
No, that is Percy Jackson / True Detective /
Oh, the one from she was just on the HBO White Lotus.
Yeah, I didn't watch that, but yeah.
Yes, I've gotten her before, like the White Lotus, because just again, it's the eyebrows. Like anything with brown hair and eyebrows. And I bet you, AJ, you get a lot of people because of your hair. Do you get a lot of like celebrity lookalikes? Oh no.
I get like Fat Jesus a lot.
I'm
Fat.
Or like
I wanted
Jack
to
Black.
say it, but I was like, that might be a sensitive subject.
I've been told Jack Black a couple times.
Okay.
Just because the longer hair.
Yeah,
That's
I think
literally
it's
all it is.
only the longer hair because like you don't, but yeah, I think it's funny. We all grab onto an attribute. It's like we have to make it work.
I don't look like anybody. Seriously, I don't look like any like movie stars or any of that stuff.
It's so hard for me to because I've known you for so long at such like a young age that you were a celebrity in my mind. So I don't know.
Yeah.
There's somebody you have to look like.
We'll have to talk to Jerry because Jerry is the king of doppelgangers. I swear.
Oh, you mean the Jerry from Walzer?
Yeah, like
He's
I
a
don't know.
great guy.
I don't know how he's still like how he manages to do his job there because all he does is he'll take pictures or show pictures of people like this person looks just like this person. Like Jerry, you're 100% right, but also let's get back to work.
Where the hell are the ribs, Jerry?
Get Jerry.
More importantly, the truffle cookies.
Yeah. Both of those I would
That boy can cook.
Yeah, he needs to start his own food truck or catering company or something.
No doubt about it. Are there any more?
No.
Damn
not
it!
yet.
I
Not
was
yet.
hoping there'd be several.
Yeah, hit us with your best doppelganger. Winner gets some prize. We'll get a pen from the studio or something.
I don't look anything like this guy, but some people. What the hell's the guy's name? He's on all. He's on Deadwood. He looks kind of Italian. Some people think I look like him, but I don't think I look anything like him, and I can't remember his name
There
anymore.
was a celebrity we'd once talked about. Oh, the guy with the insane mustache. Maybe it's the blue eyes.
It's not. I hope it's not Leon Rippey.
No,
It's not Leon Rip. He looks very Italian. Actually, he's got brown eyes.
Ian McShane.
Yes, that's exactly.
No.
who it is.
Yeah.
There's no,
No
shot.
way.
People say
I
look
know.
like Ian McShane.
They do.
You guys, real talk. He kind of does look like Ian McShane.
Oh,
Look
do
at
I?
this picture. That looks like a young Tom with that eyebrow.
No.
Why does it have to be
Absolutely
young Tom?
Okay, do I have to state it that this man is
Yeah, Brittany,
obviously
why is
younger
he
than
young
you?
Tom?
Because I have eyes and a heart. Like
I don't know if you have a heart. but
we're still
it's a different argument.
still up for debate.
I suppose it's true, but yeah, I don't know. I don't have a lot of people that I look like. Most of it. So who did they say you look like? They look like who?
I've been told Drake. One lady at a Perkins restaurant when I was in high school told me I looked like Denzel Washington.
A
Has she
young
ever seen
Denzel.
That's the first black person I've ever
Right.
seen.
I remember, and at the time, I want to say I had an afro.
Oh God,
And
you!
I
and an
remember
afro.
looking at this lady being like, am I the only black person you've seen? Have you seen two? It's me and Denzel. Like, is that why you think this?
I like that call.
Oh, yeah. Will Smith's son is another one that I've gotten before. Yeah, it's weird.
Oh, you Jaden?
No, the non-famous one that was a football player.
Oh,
Who?
somebody wrote Bill Parcell. You look like Bill Parcell.
Yeah, I've heard that
Okay.
before. That I do
Yep.
look like Bill
only in this
Parcells.
photo, like a little bit right there, like without the nose.
Got a bigger nose.
He does.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, I've heard that before. Bill Parcells. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to content.
That was fun. That was fun.
Oh, I love it when people text in, call in, whatever. I love it when our audience responds to things like that. Makes me happy.
Yeah, we got a lot of good stories in Tom's news stories. If you need any,
don't try to become pushing me in a certain direction.
Don't tell me how to do it.
Don't tell me how to do it.
Sickens me.
It does sicken me. You want me to go Tom's news stories?
Yeah, AJ and I put in a bunch of good stories.
Why do you leave me out?
Did you put in some?
I put at least 4 in.
Oh, I'm sorry.
While you guys are pulling that up, Officer Dave wrote in. He said he gets either a cartoon character or Brock Lesnar a whole lot.
Oh yeah, Brock Lesnar.
Gosh,
definitely.
Brock Lesnar's spot on.
It is true.
Although Brock would have to probably put on a few pounds of muscle to honestly look like Officer Dave.
It's probably true. Can you imagine him pulling you over?
No, I'd be like, you're right, officer. Just come to the window with the ticket so I could leave.
I had a police officer who weighed 100 pounds, maybe soaking wet. And he was definitely 10 years my junior. And I still acted like he could take me in like I'm terrified of any police. I mean, like I want to show my hands. Yes, sir. No, sir. And it felt very odd telling a 25-year-old, yes, sir. No, sir. But you gotta with a police officer.
Oh, I know, Scott. We're talking about a guy that's on the show. He's on every Friday with Josh Arnold on the Family Podcast. Officer Dave is 6'4", probably weighs about 320, and it ain't fat.
No.
Yeah,
let me put it that way.
It's the most in shape 320 I've ever seen.
You got that right. I don't think I'd want to piss him off.
No, in the world's strongest man competitions, the people that bend like the frying pans,
yes.
That's what Officer Dave looks like.
Yeah, that's right. Very good. You ever tried to bend a frying pan?
Probably as a kid, because they make it look so easy. It must be
exactly.
I might would have been pissed if I did it. So
you ruined everything. All right. Would you be angry if someone wore the same costume as you to a Halloween party? No. Why would I give a rat's ass about that?
Sounds like a Brittany story.
It is a Brittany story.
That is not, but I wouldn't be worried because I know I'd look better.
Well, so there you go. See you right there. Gen Z takes Halloween parties more seriously than millennials, according to new research. A survey of 1,000 Gen Z and 1,000 millennials who celebrate Halloween revealed that between the scares and the snacks, 42% of Gen Zers take these parties very seriously. You don't take a Halloween party seriously, do you?
The only Gen Zer here is AJ.
Debatable. It depends on the day, but
it said millennials too.
Yeah.
Oh, I did.
And I don't know. I don't really care about Halloween. I haven't been able to go to a Halloween party in years because I usually work on Halloween nights. So
that makes sense. Overall, the 3 top elements for a great Halloween party include the costume, 63%, the food, 61%, and the decorations, 50%. See, to me, I'd reverse that. The decoration is the most important part to me. I give a rat's ass what you're dressed as, right?
Yeah.
When selecting a costume, respondents weigh in if it needs to coordinate with group costumes, 52%, if others will understand it, 51%, and whether or not the food will mess up their makeup or face paint. Why does anyone care about any of this? You need to understand my group costume is part of your group costume, and I'm very upset. Who cares if others understand your costume?
Tom, when's the last time you dressed up as anything for Halloween?
Probably about 25 years ago.
And what was it?
It was Dan Blocker who played Haas on Bonanza. Had a big old giant cowboy hat. It was huge.
And who put you up to that?
That would be Turtle Dove.
Yeah, I thought so.
There's no doubt about it. Of course, she went as Lucy.
Of course.
So she looked absolutely stunningly beautiful.
Yeah.
Thanks. And then here I come. Hey, Dad, I'm coming home from the old ranch area.
I bet people were dying laughing.
I guess. I don't know what the hell I'm... Go ahead, laugh at me all you want. Yeah, we used to throw Halloween parties every year.
Really? At the Golden Valley house or the other?
No, it was when we lived out in Dayton.
That's super fun.
At L.A. Nick's current residence. What?
I was going to ask, what was your favorite costume member of the kids?
Favorite? I like them all.
Yeah.
I do not have a favorite. I like, Andy dressed up as a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
Oh, I bet he was so excited.
He was 5 years old, so
Yeah.
that was good. It was 1991. That's when it snowed 3 feet.
Yeah.
So he's running as a turtle and Alex was being carried around because she had just turned 2.
Yeah.
And she was dressed up as a witch.
Oh, little witch and turtle.
Little witch and a little turtle. But No, that kind of stuff, I just love it.
I know.
The one thing I will tell you, though, one of my favorite Halloween stories is we would take the kids out trick-or-treating, right? So what we would do is take a bowl and fill it full of candy and just put it at the end of the driveway, so on a little table, so people could still come by. Lasted about one person.
Of course.
They stole the bowl and all the candy.
The bowl, too?
Oh, they stole the bowl, yeah.
I'd be most mad about the bowl.
It's like, Jesus.
We use a giant bowl that I love for our
yep.
Halloween candy. Like,
Yep.
it's massive, and I love that bowl. I would be irate. I'd be like, I will put out more candy if you just leave the bowl.
That sounds good.
Go-Go this year is, I got a golden retriever costume because her favorite thing in the world is Murphy, our golden retriever. So she's going to be a fuzzy golden retriever. It'll be cute.
Nothing wrong with fuzzy golden retrievers. I do miss that kind of stuff, dressing up for Halloween parties and all that. I've always loved Halloween.
Do you know what Fawn and Sage and Ethan are going to be at all?
I guarantee you that Fawn will be wearing a wig.
Yeah, she does.
She loves to wear wigs on Halloween. I don't know what the hell that's all about.
Who doesn't?
She loves those wigs. I was like, look at this, Bob.
I could see her
Okay,
getting
look.
into the fake fingernails too.
Oh, yes.
I could see her doing that.
No question about it. Didn't you love Halloween? Remember they were talking about canceling Halloween there for a while. And many, many years ago when we moved out to the Dayton area, we put the kids in school. We found out the school wouldn't celebrate Halloween because it was an offensive holiday.
Yeah.
That was the last day they went to school there.
Really?
Like, goodbye. I mean, Halloween, you're offended by Halloween.
It literally couldn't be less associated with anything.
I couldn't agree more.
Like, you can go as anything you want. You walk around and ask for candy. It's like literally nobody, you've no idea where anyone falls on anything.
Right.
At our daycare, they were like on actual Halloween. I think Halloween falls on a Tuesday this year.
Yes,
Correct.
it does.
They were like, hey, make sure you bring their costumes. Don't worry. We'll put them in that. And that, to me, is going to be the most exciting day ever.
Absolutely.
Like, seeing pictures of her as a golden retriever and like whatever clown or this and that, all these little things. I'm like, I'm going to die of happiness.
You are not going to believe how much fun you're going to have.
I'm so excited. And she's at that age too. She has no idea what's going on. But when she gets
Like
the
her
feet,
mother.
yeah, exactly. Once she gets that like first knock on the door and someone gives her candy kind of vibe, like I feel like she's gonna be doing that for the next 6 months of her life.
Where'd she go? She's across the street asking for candy again.
It's like February 3rd. Trick or treat.
Like, payments here. I'm gonna have to like give the neighbors all sorts of like healthy treats.
It's like a mob mentality. It's just like I'm
I want
shaking
what's
you down for
mine.
candy.
No, a shame if somebody didn't shovel your walk.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know about you guys, but I had 2 very negative experiences at Halloween. I love Halloween. I love trick-or-treating.
You got held up.
I got robbed when I was
what?
in first grade. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. I remember
Mike and I were walking along with our bag full of treats. We were almost home. Guy in full costume jumps out, pulls a knife on 2 first graders.
That's excessive.
Like,
Okay.
yeah, it's a little over the top.
Have you ever
I would
done
say,
like
yes.
held a first grader's head back with your hand? That
Oh,
works
God, yeah.
too.
Yeah,
That's
it does.
actually very effective.
Yep.
But yeah, we got robbed, that one. And then, God, what was the other one? It was just probably I turned 11 years old 7 days because my birthday's on November 7th.
Yeah.
So I turned 11 years old. So I was still 10 with 1 week to go. And this may have happened to you, Tevin, but I grew up to about 6 feet tall when I was like 10, 11 years old.
Yep.
And then my voice dropped toward the end of that year. So I'm knocking on people's doors. There's a 6-foot guy sitting there going, trick or treat.
Yeah.
I was told to F off by more people than you could ever, because they thought I was like 20.
I hate that.
I'm in a costume, so they don't know.
Yeah, I hate that though. Like I don't care how tall you are, how old you are. You're knocking on my door, you're getting candy. Like,
So it should be.
because you're 10. You still are holding on to like the one last time you get to go trick-or-treating.
And that was the last time I ever went.
And you have to just give people, so like a lot of times when you're in that 10, 11-year-old age, you're like, I'm not going to trick-or-treat this year. You have that whole game plan of not trick-or-treating because you're too old. Then last minute, you see everybody having fun. You go, I gotta go. I gotta go. And so like, that's why the mentality of just give them candy. I don't care if you're wearing your like literal sweatshirt and you roll up on my house, you want to come knock on my door and ask for it? You got it.
Love it. I love Halloween.
Me too.
Are there arguments against Halloween now because it's devil worship or any of that bullshit?
I mean, there's always those arguments. I'm not a huge Halloween fan just because it's a lot of work for one day. And I'm like, it just doesn't do anything for me.
You big baby.
Yeah, you're a real baby. Also, you go so hard for so many weird things. Like you love a good onesie and Christmas.
Right.
You have like elaborate things in place, and you can't buy one. You can buy one costume. You can wear it every year.
No, that's not fun. Like I'll participate if.
So you don't like it, but you'd also. I'm
just
not
not
at a loss.
So I can be passionate about Christmas, but not necessarily be a huge fan of Halloween. Like it just doesn't do anything for me.
Could you do me a favor?
I'm sorry, Brittany. I didn't mean to offend you today.
Can you go out one more time trick-or-treating?
Sure.
Just once more.
Sure.
I want it as a personal favor.
Yep. And I'm going to dress like Rerun.
180 degrees. I want you to go trick-or-treating in whiteface. What do you think?
Go as the white chicks characters.
That was hilarious.
You know what? I
think
I'm back on board.
I'm back on board.
We could both be the white chick characters.
That would be phenomenal. Yeah, White Chicks was funny.
It was very
one of like
it
the
was
greatest
very
movies
funny.
ever.
What were their names again?
The Wayans
brothers.
Yeah, but it was Marlon and I forget what the other.
I did too. I forgot his name. Marlon and the others. What are you pointing to that for?
We have a call at 9:50, so I thought we'd go break.
Why don't we go to break when I want to go to break?
Right.
Of course.
First day she's back, she's pushing me around.
Right.
I know, at the end of the day.
The sheet says
9:45 right on the sheet.
I was just giving you a heads up. At the end of the day, you could do whatever. I was
Disaster.
just reminding you of the time.
Disaster.
Sean is the other brother, by the way.
Sean. Yeah.
Oh, Sean.
Yeah,
Okay.
I believe there's like 4 of them. 3 of them.
All right. Well, just because old wino over there.
Wine? Like I drink wine now?
No, WHIN.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes more sense.
Wine. We gotta go to break.
Yeah, I really
Pipe
care.
down. All right, we will be right back. Desmond Child will join us right after this.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Listen live on the Tom Barnard Show app or at tombernardshow.com.
You need to know a guy for your auto repairs, legal issues, banking, and more. The same goes for investment advice. You need a guy to help you be successful, someone you can trust who gets results. Well, I got a guy for you, Josh Arnold. Josh gives you straight talk, not sugar-coated advice about your financial situation. Josh has seen it all when it comes to economic and market conditions, and Josh can make sure that your retirement objectives match your investments. Do yourself a favor and call Josh now for a no-obligation 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll get a different point of view for your investments. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That is 952-925-5608. You'll be glad that you did. And tell him his guy, Tom, sent you.
Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC, a security investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. Tom Barnard is a paid endorser.
Tom here, and I just read a success story from MN Fat Loss client Elizabeth, who just completed the program. Elizabeth writes, I'm a 54-year-old woman who has struggled with losing weight. I had almost constant heartburn, trouble sleeping, brain fog. I tried counting calories, eating bars and shakes, and several other programs in which I would lose 5 to 10 pounds after months of struggling. After 60 days of the MN Fat Loss program, I was down 25 pounds. MN Fat Loss had really empowered me to believe that I can control my eating and my weight without having to sacrifice foods that I like. If you're thinking about finally committing to improving your health, this is the time to start. You won't regret your investment in yourself. It's so easy to see if MN Fat Loss is a good fit for you. They offer a free phone consultation to learn about the program. They also have virtual options to help you if you live far away, which I think is a brilliant idea. To schedule that free phone consultation, go to mnfatloss.com. The only thing you have to lose is that unwanted weight. That's www.mnfatloss.com. I cannot wait to hear about your success story. And please let them know that Tom sent you.
Hello, I'm Brad Huckle, President and Chief Lending Officer at North American Banking Company.
And I'm Michael Bilski, CEO at North American Banking Company.
As a locally owned and operated community bank, we work with many multi-generational businesses.
Take Personal Care Dentistry of Roseville, for example. Dr. Walter Hunt, also known as Painless to me, has been a longtime customer of the bank since we opened the bank in 1998.
When his son Kyle was ready to join the practice, they wanted to expand quickly.
With their additional space and equipment, they now are able to see more patients each day while providing the same level of care and service.
Okay, guys, I'll take it from here. If you run a family business or any kind of business for that matter, you should be banking with Brad and Mike over at North American Banking Company. Every time I deal with them or their team, I know I'm working with experienced professional bankers. So why not bank with my banker? North American Banking Company, a better banking experience, member FDIC, equal housing lender. This is Tommy B for Killebrew Root Beer and Cream Soda. So the boys of summer are officially done, and it's time for root beer floats with kids after football or fall soccer practice. So to celebrate the Minnesota Twins' first time in a long time success in the playoffs, it might be time for some adult sweet beverages to toast our hometown team's try again till you win effort with an adult beverage made with delicious gluten-free Killebrew Root Beer. Might I recommend you consider this recipe for your Killebrew Root Beer Rum Creams? You just need 3 ingredients. It starts with black spiced rum, then add frothy cold Killebrew Root Beer next, a drop of Bailey's. Oh my gosh, you found October heaven in a glass. If you'd like to take in the fall colors, try the root beer and cream soda my family absolutely loves. Killebrew, of course. Head to KillebrewRootBeer.com for your nearest store and pick up a 6-pack or a case. Remember, Killebrew Root Beer Rum Creams. Herbie, you're up.
Killebrew Old Fashioned Root Beer and Cream Soda. Pick up a 6-pack or case at your neighborhood Lunds and Byerly's grocery store. Tell them Herbie sent you. Killebrew. It's how memories are created and legends are made.
The new Tom Barnard Morning Show is proud to have partners like Bradshaw and Bryant, MyPillow, and North American Banking Company founder, chairman, and president, Mike Bilski.
I've advertised on Tom's show for years, and the reason is simple. My business is recognized because of the ads, and that recognition has created growth. What business doesn't want to grow? I highly recommend the Tom Barnard Morning Show for your advertising.
Grow results for your business by partnering with the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Visit TomBarnardShow.com, keyword partner.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Just let me know when Desmond Child's ready to go, and we'll get after it. It'll be magnificent. What were you just talking about? I forgot.
Oh my God.
So much. We were talking about like lookalikes and stuff like that.
Lookalikes.
Oh, and the gluten thing you talking about him during the break?
Oh, no. We were talking about Halloween and how much we loved Halloween costumes.
We were talking about that
and
too.
Kiddos costumes.
I'm glad that you brought Halloween up because Eric messaged in. He says he fills a wash tub with candy.
I love it.
Unless people take. Where do you live, Eric? Because I will dress up to come to your house.
Exactly.
Grab some candy.
Eric and I have the same mind frame about Halloween where we're just excited to interact with the community and give candy away.
Love Halloween.
He said that you can come and take handfuls, little kids, big kids, adults, costumes or not. He doesn't care. And we met Eric at the state fair.
Mm-hmm.
He's lovely. He's
lovely.
He is a nice guy. And so him and
lovely.
we agree on this.
I would agree on it too. I think it's magnificent. Desmond's ready to go. Ladies and gentlemen, Desmond Child, the iconic Grammy Award-winning and Emmy-nominated songwriter, producer, who has contributed to some of the biggest global hits that helped ignite the success of music icons Kiss, Bon Jovi, Aerosmith, Alice Cooper, Ricky Martin, Katy Perry, and countless others. Desmond Child, good morning, sir. How are you?
How you doing?
What do you think of that
It's
intro,
so great
Buster?
to be on your show, Minneapolis. This is so great.
Oh, well, it's great to have you on. No question about it. Recently released autobiography, Living on a Prayer, Big Songs, Big Life. It's time to pull back the velvet curtain and meet the man behind the music in the epic autobiography by one of America's greatest hit makers of all time. Boy, this doesn't praise you at all, Desmond. What do you think?
Well, you know, my life really looking back on it, it's pretty extraordinary. You know, I've lived through so many decades of American culture, you know, and I've got the hairdos and platform shoes to prove it.
Yes, you do. Desmond, that's very true. When did you begin all of this? When does this journey begin?
You mean my life or the book?
I'm talking. Well, we'll get to the book, but I want to talk about when did you realize I want to be in the music industry and this is what I'm going to do because I'm going to be really good at it.
Well, my mother was the Cuban songwriter Elena Casals, known as La Musa, and I grew up in show business. My aunt was Olga Guillot. You know, she was like the Judy Garland of Cuba, and you know, there was always a song being written or a poem being said, and it was always related to people's lives. It had something to do with what their mood was or what was going on. So connecting real life with feelings and turning it into art was something that it was second nature to me.
Yeah. Yep.
And so when I was 14, I got asked to go to this birthday party to this kind of wealthy girl, but I didn't have any money to buy a birthday present. So I wrote her a song called Birthday Blues, and that was my first pop song.
God, that's wonderful. Now, where were you born and where'd you grow up, Desmond?
I was born in Gainesville, Florida, and we lived on a dairy farm in Hawthorne, Florida, very nearby. And then when my parents, split up, we went down to Miami, and all the relatives were starting to come in from Cuba.
Sure.
So I grew up in the Cuban exile community. We lived in the projects called Liberty City.
Mm-hmm.
My mom was a single mom. We were poor and Latino. And then, when I was, growing up, when I went through puberty, I realized I was gay too. So there were a lot of glass ceilings that I had to break through to make it.
That's amazing. Have you ever been to Cuba?
Yes, I have. We used to go there when I was a little kid, and I did visit a few times. I haven't been there in 10 years. I had done a documentary with my husband called "Two: The Story of Roman and Nero," and our sons were 10 years old at the time. They narrated the film, so we got to film. There was a screening in Havana at the Havana Film Festival, and I got to say I was very, very moved, because the people are so full of life and so loving and just don't deserve to have the kind of life that they do. Like, they have so little, but it also makes their values different.
Yeah.
It's not about what you have, it's about who you are. And I was depressed for months after coming back, just knowing that that they don't have the kind of freedom and opportunity that we have here.
No question. The reason I asked you that, Desmond, I was just in Cuba about 3 years ago, and the people in Cuba, Cubans couldn't be lovelier people. The people out there in the neighborhoods and in the streets. Now, by the same time, I got to mention what Desmond's talking about. You go to the cities, because we went all around the island pretty much, and you will find buildings that are just ready to fall over because the leaders won't put money back into the communities. But the people, Desmond, are the sweetest, kindest, nicest people maybe I've ever met. They're wonderful people.
Absolutely. And, I grew up in the Cuban exile community. So I grew up, basically Spanish was my first language. And, the food, the music, and all of that, I had to leave Miami to make it. But when I came back, I was able to get into Latin music and worked with Ricky Martin.
Sure.
And, his collaborator, Draco Rosa. And we changed the course of pop music. We really did, with, The Cup of Life First, which Ricky sang in the Grammys, and, kind of everyone just exploded. The Latin music explosion. That was the spark. And, Livin' La Vida Loca, She Bangs, Shake Your Bon Bon.
God.
Oh my God.
All of those songs turned the corner and brought the crossover back. That, with all due respect, was Gloria Estefan had started like 15 years before.
Mm-hmm.
But this was the new wave, and it still goes on to today, to Despacito, to Bad Bunny. All of that could not have happened without Ricky Martin.
Isn't that great? Do you think, Desmond, that people are ever going to wake up and come together and kind of, and I use the word, and people get very angry with me, but I use the word assimilation, and it's not an insult. Assimilating to each other's ideas and cultures is a wonderful thing. And yet some people are very offended by the thought. It's like, I'm not asking you to give up your culture in any way, shape, or form. I want to share mine with you. You share yours with me. I think it's wonderful.
Well, I think maybe the word assimilation kind of means like you just get washed out.
Nah.
I think that celebrating our diversity is what makes life rich. I was just in Europe and Florence, Italy, and my son's one of our twin sons, Roman, is there at NYU doing the semester there. And every weekend he goes to a different country. That's his thing. So he went to Lisbon, Portugal. He went to the Oktoberfest. He went to Croatia. You know, he's like every weekend, you know, he's somewhere different. And, you know, we always go to Greece, and just meeting people that are different than yourself, you start to see that you have a connection of the heart, being a human being. And so, you know, this whole, I mean, they all speak 4 languages. Nothing wrong with that. And yet they're still very proud of their own culture, of their own, you know, food and language and architecture. So you don't wash out by appreciating other people's cultures and art. And so that's the thing. It's like we sometimes get into a thing where you're traveling through America. You can't tell one town from the other because it's the same, you know, fast food joints. The road looks the same. Everything looks the same. You know, that's the kind of washing out that you know, we should try to develop the unique nature of all of our communities.
No question. I was very lucky, Desmond. I grew up very poor and a nice Catholic boy in North Minneapolis. And I love to tell this story because it taught me so much. I went to my friend's house. I was quite young. I don't know, 10, 11, 12, maybe something like that. And I walk in and Tony Bennett is playing on the record player in their house. They're a nice Italian family, my Sicilian family, actually. And I walk in and I looked at the father, who was a very nice man. I looked at him and I said, "Oh, Tony Bennett." He goes, "What?" I said, "You listen to Tony Bennett, sir." And he goes, "It's Antonio de Benedetto when you're in this house." I just love that. It made me so happy that he included. Again, it's inclusion. Maybe I should go from assimilation to inclusion. Let's learn about one another.
But get away from that word.
I love that word though, because it's like
appreciation.
Okay.
And the curiosity, being curious, not wanting to make everything the same. You know?
No, I understand that. Yep.
That's part of being alive. And I didn't know this, but only 10% of the U.S. population has a passport.
What?
That means that 90% of our fellow citizens have never traveled to a foreign country.
Oh, I love it.
That's not right.
No, it's not.
That's not right. And so I'm hoping that we you know, that we live in a better world when we start to appreciate and care for each other.
Are we ever going to get there, Desmond?
Let's talk about my book. I'm selling a book here.
I know you're selling a book, but what I was going to say just now is talking the way you're talking right now, putting out books, putting out great music is a wonderful way to be inclusive. So talking about living on a prayer, big songs, big life. As it says here, it's time to pull back the velvet curtain and meet the man behind the music in the epic autobiography. And it does say, by the way, epic autobiography, Desmond. Epic.
It is pretty epic.
The pressure's on, Buster. So tell me about the book.
Yeah, I just did the audiobook, and it's so hard to say the words. You know, it was easy to read them on a page, but when you have to say them, it's like, I call it my 7-year jailhouse confession. It's a real reckoning of, you know, everything that I've been through. And, you know, I want to make sure that I gave credit to all of my collaborators.
Great.
You know, that made my career.
How does the book start, Desmond?
How does it start?
Mm-hmm.
You mean how do you start writing a book? Or
No, I mean,
how does my book start?
What's the first story you tell in the book?
Well, the book's called Livin' on a Prayer, Big Songs, Big Life. So, of course, the first chapter is the writing of Livin' on a Prayer.
Which is a great song,
and
by
then
the way.
we go right into, like, from the beginning. And so then the rest is chronological.
See, I think that's a wonderful thing. People, because I don't know how many are out there right now going, God, I would love to be a producer, a songwriter, or whatever. How do I get started? What do I do? Did you have to go through a period when you were figuring out where it was you wanted to head, and now you've written a book about what this very successful, great life that you've had? I just think it's a wonderful story.
Well, I didn't have a B plan.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that just, I'm still on the A plan. Because there was no way I wasn't going to succeed. There was just no way, because I grew up so poor and a Latino. I also realized I was more gay than I was bi.
Right.
And so those were all glass ceilings that I had to break through to succeed. And, my story turned out great because I met a wonderful man 33 years ago who's my husband, Curtis, and we have wonderful children. They're 21 in college. And, I've lived an extraordinary life. And I've gone through so many things, and it's all in the book. And I think people really enjoy the roller coaster ride of the ups and downs of my life.
Do you feel any pressure being called one of America's greatest hit makers of all time? Little pressure there.
I'd just like to take out the word one.
Desmond, you're right. When are you coming to town? You got to come in studio, Desmond. There's no doubt about it. You got to do a book tour.
Invite me.
You are always invited. Do you have a book tour set up?
No, because these days, it's the podcast.
Yeah.
Because you can reach so many more people on the radio and podcasts. You go into a town and you go to a bookstore, and then 20 people show up.
Yeah.
It doesn't pay for the plane fare. But we're living in a world where we're all connected, with social media and all of that. And actually, on November 9th at the Grammy Museum, I'm actually doing a book signing. I'm going to be there with my collaborator, David Ritz, and we're going to be interviewed by Panos Panay, who's the president of the Recording Academy. And it's at 7:00. And, people can come. And I'm going to sing a couple songs and talk about the book. And that's like my one and only book signing.
That is wonderful, though. Desmond, do come back on the show. I'd like to talk to you a lot more about what inspired those first songs, how you had the belief in yourself to move forward and go, I can do this. I know I can do this. I think that's a very, very important part of your story.
I think it's important that people that are out there, that they follow their dreams, even if they seem impossible. Because that's what American ingenuity is all about. That's the American dream. And the fact that we have the freedom in this country to be able to pursue those dreams, is something that's precious. And I don't think people really, I think they take freedom for granted. So, my message out there is like, don't lose it. My family lost it in Cuba. Don't do that here.
Books available everywhere, I'm assuming, Desmond? Right?
Yes, it's available wherever you get your books.
There you
and
go.
Pretty soon there'll be the audiobook coming to follow it as well.
Sounds good. But get to town, or at least please do come back on the show, Desmond. Thanks for your time this morning.
Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Desmond Child, the iconic Grammy Award-winning, Emmy-nominated songwriter, producer who has contributed to some of the biggest global hits that helped ignite the success of music icons Kiss, Bon Jovi, Aerosmith, Alice Cooper, Ricky Martin, Katy Perry. Living on a Prayer, Big Songs, Big Life by Desmond Child, a very nice guy. And I love the fact we're going to talk about my book, man.
I know. I'm here for a reason. I don't want to talk about whatever it is you're talking about.
Well, unfortunately for you, I did. So tough titty. No, he was a very, very nice guy. I love, and I wish more people would be more honest about their lives, because I loved when he said, I was straight, I was bi, now I'm gay.
Yeah.
I just love that. He's just very open and honest about the whole deal. Right?
There's a level of confidence he has that I do not have.
You don't have that?
No, I mean, I love it. And you go, this is why you're successful in your field. Like I can appreciate that. And when he said, you're one of America's greatest hit makers of all time, he goes, get rid of one of the.
Yeah, one. Get rid of one.
And you go, you have to have that. The people you're working with, the level that he's on. And, somebody wrote in, he's like, he's kind of a dick. And I was like, yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. Like,
you think he is?
I mean, I
didn't see that at all.
I mean that in like in a great way. That like
you're a dick in a great way.
Like
Okay.
I think sometimes I can be kind of a dick when I know something well.
Sometimes.
But you know what I mean? Like
Disaster.
I don't think it's that bad of a thing to say, yeah, this guy is like, he's got an ego because he has to walk into rooms with like music legends and set and go, I know what I'm talking about here.
Yeah, but I wouldn't go so far as calling him a dick because he's great at what he does and has an ego. Like he he wrote "Living on a Prayer." Like you get to be,
I know.
Like that's the
That's what I'm
pinnacle
saying.
of one of the accomplishments.
I think sometimes, especially here in the Midwest, that translates to dickish. And I don't think it necessarily means dickish, but like, you know, Darren wrote in and was like, yeah, Desmond's kind of a dick sometimes. I'm like, I can understand why that would,
I didn't get that at all.
like that confidence and that like, let's talk about this. Let's get rid of one of. Like, I think I've met people like that who are very talented and know what their worth is.
Mm-hmm.
And I think see how that can be easily translated to that. I didn't find him to be a dick, but I could see how his ego would probably clash with a lot of people.
I will tell you flat out, full disclosure, I know it's going to shock the hell out of you, but some people think I'm arrogant. How the hell did that ever happen?
What a twist.
Ooh. I mean, you just give is all I ever do.
And don't you feel like,
and then I take a shot.
Don't you feel like sometimes you walk in a room and you know how to fix something in the quickest way? And like, it's nice to work with people. Like you could say, do it this way. And I'd say, okay. Like it's sometimes nice to work with people that know you so well that you can be forward with them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to translate of Tom's being a dick. I'm going to say, yeah. Or if I feel like you're being a jerk, I'd say you're being really aggressive right now. You know what I mean? Like it's nice to work with people that can see past like oh, is me or is Tom and I doing like a dick measuring contest? No, like,
but I hope not. I'd finally win.
Yeah, maybe. Depends. You don't know what I'm rocking.
Maybe it depends. You don't know what I'm rocking.
But like,
thank you so much for that.
It is. It's true. It's like sometimes your confidence comes off as arrogance, but like you know what you're doing.
I am a very confident person. I will admit that. I don't think I'm arrogant in the least, but I am a very confident person.
Yeah. And in Minnesota, we're supposed to be like, hey, yeah, you guys, maybe here's the thing with that commercial, do you think it would actually sound if maybe better? Here's the thing.
Right.
So it's like, it's hard sometimes to walk that line. And I think a lot of times people's confidence gets translated into you're a monster.
I've definitely got that Minnesota thing where I could be the best person in the world at something. And if someone's like, wow, you're really good at that, I'll be like, oh, I don't know about that.
Like, no, I'm a piece of shit. I'm
okay, I guess. But that's how I am. And I think that's how a lot of Minnesotans are. It's like, you're not supposed to extol your own virtues, really. You're supposed to be like, yeah, you know, I'm all right.
Even in something I'm really proud of, right? Like someone will say, you're a good mom. And I'll say, yeah, no, you should see. The other day I ignored her and she almost fell down the stairs.
All the like that, yeah. I argue that point. Oh, no, she's not. Stop saying that. She's horrendous. It's terrible.
I called child services yesterday.
I called them.
Here's an example, perfect example of what I'm talking about. We all grew up in much different ways.
Yeah.
You did, Tevin did, Andy did, I did. We all grew up different ways.
Yeah.
Everybody grows up differently. And if I didn't put myself forward as being very confident, I would have had my ass handed to me on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Where I grew up.
Yeah.
You do not want people to think you're weak in any way because that is not going to work for you.
And there is the whole, like it being a woman, if I walked in here and told everyone what to do immediately, people don't like that.
You mean like you do it every day?
Yeah. Well, again, we know each other. Like even me telling you, hey, the time is whatever. You can yell at, like, go, oh, whatever. And you're not serious. We know each other.
No, I'm serious. Shut up. You know,
that's fine. But like, you know what I mean? Like it is a weird, you have to balance this niceties and telling people what you want at work. And it's hard. It's exhausting.
Yeah. Well, and sometimes too, especially if you don't know somebody that well, you're like, I don't know how you're going to respond to what could have come across as criticism. So you want to, hey, like maybe if I were you, I would do this way instead of the way. Are you sure you want to do that? Like you want to not be so abrasive sometimes with people.
Yeah.
Had to be a bitch growing up being one of the, how many black kids were in your city?
It was me, Chelsea, Lincoln, and
you know their names.
Yes.
And he goes, you know their name.
There was Carl, who was my inspiration for my afro.
Yep.
And you told us that. Yep.
Yeah, and then Travell.
So
but he moved later.
5-6 people.
Yeah.
And
in a town of how many people?
how many people live in Osceola? I don't know, probably like 5,000, something like that. I don't know.
What's the
Let's
age
see.
difference? So was there a lot
There was
in your grade?
One in my grade. I think there was one.
Osceola's
2 years.
population 2,600.
2,600.
So
Yeah,
it's pretty small.
And there was a kid a couple years younger than me, but I was the only like black male in my general age range.
So how did that work?
I mean, I don't know. It was normal to me.
So it was
growing
very
up.
nice. They were nice to you then.
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah,
Well,
there were
that's nice
some
to
kids.
hear.
Well, because when I was young, I was probably, I don't know, 8th grade ish range, and people, because you always get the black jokes, and they come up like, "Oh, Tevin, did you hear this black joke that I've got for you?" So I went home one day and Google searched black jokes.
Yeah.
And I memorized every single
love
one
it.
that
So
I
you'd have
could,
the
so I could
answer.
hit them with the punchlines.
Yeah.
And then I thought, well, if black jokes are a thing, white jokes must be a thing as well. Type in white jokes. Not as many websites
Nothing.
for white jokes. You know, you can only tell somebody you like mayonnaise so many times before it gets old.
So there's like, here's a stereotype that, you hear about this, like the angry black man, the angry black woman. Did you ever feel pressure to not show certain emotions, or did you not find that at all?
No, not at all. And I'm not a very emotional person to
Yeah.
begin with, but like I would get things like I remember I wore a flat brimmed hat to school one day, and like some kid, I don't even remember who it was, but made a comment about it, and I was like, well, no, I'm not going to wear flat brim hats anymore because I just want to not have to deal with that.
Yeah,
getting made fun of for that.
Shut up. How about that?
Well, the worst thing, like looking back, if I could have a more like woke experience,
Ooh, woke.
was when I was in middle school. Miss Stiles, I believe is our principal's name. I had a huge afro. It was obnoxiously large, and I would put it in cornrows. I would put it in cornrows every once in a while, and they would make me sit in the back of the classroom because nobody could see around it. Which I was like, that makes sense.
Makes sense.
Like the person at the concert with the big hat. Yeah.
And people, like a lot of my classmates would touch my hair all the time, which is annoying, but it was okay, whatever. It's a cool afro.
They'd want
Makes
to.
sense,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And she said that it was a distraction to the learning process and made me cut my hair.
That's terrible.
And it was already like I was kind of on the fence of wanting to cut it anyway. So
Yeah.
to me, it was like, whatever, I'll put it in cornrows or cut it. And but looking back, I was
these
like,
days you could sue for
I
$5
probably
million.
could have owned this city of Osceola, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
You would now.
For
You
sure.
got that right. No, it's interesting though, because it just to talk to you about where you grew up and where I grew up, that if you flipped the two of us, would it have been much different?
I don't know. Like I did a lot of dumb stuff too, because it was a small
Not
town. So we
you.
knew all of the police officers. So one would drive by, and if I was playing with my friends, I'd just take off running across the field because I thought like, oh, it's hilarious, black kid running from police officers. Like if I did that in the inner city, I'd probably get ran down
Not
and
so
shot.
much,
Like
yeah.
there's definitely cultural differences, but there was no. I would say I would grow up in Osceola again. I think maybe bring a few more black people with me because it was
few more.
Yeah, not the
Because
greatest.
probably
times,
you got annoyed with the constant like silly jokes of like people that like wanted to talk to you anyways. 'Cause I'm sure you were like a cool guy because you have like the whole
He was not.
athletic.
Well, that
Yes,
cool
you did.
guy.
Like, you can tell you had like the cool kid vibe. So I bet you a lot of people who wanted to break into that inner circle would use you as like here's a joke kind of thing. Like
right. And
kinda.
being the only black kid there, like, and being a star athlete made it very easy.
A star athlete.
Tom,
You just call yourself.
I mean,
a star
I'm not the first
athlete.
person to say this about myself. Tom. We just talked about being confident.
Okay, you're right.
But
you're
yeah,
right.
no. So like, because it would always be, and I remember one of my best friends. We're practicing football or warming up, and the team that we're playing gets off the bus, and the very last player to get off the bus is a black guy. And he goes, "Damn it! There goes our advantage, Tevin. Like you're gonna have to work for this victory
Oh,
today."
that's funny.
So yeah, it was all good-hearted stuff like that.
All right, we'll take a break here, but it's interesting though, that, you know how different people live their lives, and we could all learn. That's what I'm saying, no doubt. Tommy B here to invite you to a bucket list event to hang out and meet and party with two of the premier quarterbacks in Minnesota Vikings history, Jim Super Shuffle McMahon and 2-Minute Tommy Kramer. This event is happening this Friday night. Yes, I said this Friday night, just 2 days from now at Route 47 Pub and Grub in Fridley on University Avenue. It's presented by Buddy Becker, RES Realty, and Tailgate Spices, the taste of victory. So here's the deal. Go to TommyKramer9.com, get your tickets starting at just $15, and plan on fun with you and your friends this Friday night at Route 47 in Fridley. The best Tom Petty tribute band, Free Fallin', is providing the musical entertainment. big game champ Jim McMahon, and Vikings legend Tommy Kramer. I just had to do a Sydney there. Let me tell you something, Bernard. I was talking to Tommy Kramer. Will provide all the stories of when the Vikes were actually good. Oh, that's cold. It's a memory of a lifetime to meet and hang out this Friday night at Route 47 in Fridley with the two best number 9 quarterbacks in NFL history. Our thanks to Buddy Becker, RES Realty, and Tailgate Spices for presenting this event. See Jim McMahon and Tommy Kramer live. Just go to TommyKramer9.com and we'll see you there.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Listen live at TomBarnardShow.com or on the Tom Barnard Show app.
Tom here, and I just read a success story from MN Fat Loss client Elizabeth, who just completed the program. Elizabeth writes, I'm a 54-year-old woman who has struggled with losing weight. I had almost constant heartburn, trouble sleeping, brain fog. I tried counting calories, eating bars and shakes, and several other programs in which I would lose 5 to 10 pounds after months of struggling. After 60 days of the MN Fat Loss program, I was down 25 pounds. MN Fat Loss had really empowered me to believe that I can control my eating and my weight without having to sacrifice foods that I like. If you're thinking about finally committing to improving your health, this is the time to start. You won't regret your investment in yourself. It's so easy to see if MN Fat Loss is a good fit for you. They offer a free phone consultation to learn about the program. They also have virtual options to help you if you live far away, which I think is a brilliant idea. To schedule that free phone consultation, go to mnfatloss.com. The only thing you have to lose is that unwanted weight. That's www.mnfatloss.com. I cannot wait to hear about your success story. And please let them know that Tom sent you.
In a world that's racing a mile a minute, a split-second distraction can change everything. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw and Bryant. Every day we see too many people, heads buried in their phones, unaware of the dangers they're in. Texting and driving isn't just reckless, it's playing Russian roulette with your life and the lives of others. In just 4 seconds of distraction, you've driven the length of a football field. Is there any text message that's worth your life, that's worth the lives of others? I've been fighting for the rights of the injured for over 30 years, but I'd rather you never meet me in a courtroom. So hear me now, stop texting and driving. Pay attention. Value your lives and the lives around you. And if you won't, know this, at Bradshaw and Bryant, we're relentless. We won't back down. We bring justice to those that need it.
Find Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury attorneys at MinnesotaPersonalInjury.com.
With Mike Bryant on your side, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
It's Tom Barnard for Flagship Ford in Baldwin, Wisconsin. I'm happy to say I purchased an EV Mustang from Flagship and have friends and coworkers who bought new vehicles and used ones from this family-run dealership that's just 20 minutes west of the Metro in Baldwin. Whether you want to compare their used car specials, claim Ford financing options, or simply book an oil change or tire rotation, they have you covered at Flagship Ford. New vehicles like the Ford Escape, the Edge, or F-150 pickups with special engine options. Flagship Ford can answer all your questions on your next new vehicle. The month of October is Tire Month at Flagship Ford. Fit your tires for your specific vehicle, any model car, truck, or SUV, and get your tires before the snow flies, just $5 over cost. That's a purchase of 4 new tires with a $70 rebate gift card on top of the $5 over cost on most brands of tires. Flagship Ford, east of the Metro in Baldwin, Wisconsin, and online at flagshipford.com. That's flagshipford.com.
The new Tom Barnard Morning Show is proud to have partners like Bradshaw and Bryant, MyPillow, and North American Banking Company founder, chairman, and president, Mike Bilski.
I've advertised on Tom's show for years, and the reason is simple. My business is recognized because of the ads, and that recognition has created growth. What business doesn't want to grow? I highly recommend the Tom Barnard Morning Show for your advertising.
Grow results for your business by partnering with the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Visit TomBarnardShow.com, keyword partner.
I'm searching right now, as a matter of fact. Kristyn Bird is back after, of course, dominating the conversation yesterday with Jim McMahon, your buddy.
Asking Jim McMahon the very crucial questions that the world needed to know.
And what were those again?
Asking about the Super Bowl shuffle and what we remember, what he remembered. And we got some good tea. I want to say that.
We did.
He could not have cared less, though, about Taylor and Travis.
No, I couldn't care less about Taylor and Travis. That's exactly right. I thought he did a hell of an interview. I really did. No question.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of Taylor and Travis, did you see the new viral photo going around?
Uh-oh, here we go.
She kissed him on the cheek.
I didn't see that. Looks like I got some interneting to do.
You do have some sleuthing to do. It's adorable. And he looks so happy. He's got like the big grin on his face and she's giving him a little kiss. It's cute.
I can't wait until I'm old enough that I can unironically say, "Who the hell are you talking about?"
No, it's not you now.
It's going to be about 20 years, I think, until like they're talking about the big names in the entertainment industry, and I'm going to be like, I literally have no idea who that is.
I like that.
I'm
That works
already
for me.
borderline, but
Yeah, you've never been a celebrity kind of guy, though.
I really haven't.
No. Well, it sucks or it's harder today because there's so many people that are considered quote unquote celebrities with TikTok fame and Instagram.
Right.
It's like everybody calm down.
Well, it's like
Doing a red carpet now is crazy because sometimes if the influencers are there, you're like, who is that? And they're like, oh, they have 10 million subscribers on TikTok. And you're like, if it's not in my algorithm, I have no idea who it is.
They can pop up overnight, get 10 million subscribers, and then 6 months later, no one remembers them. It's like, there's always been flash in the pan celebrities, one-hit wonders, that kind of thing. But this is taking it to a whole nother level.
It is indeed. There's no question about it. By the way, your name came up yesterday when I was showing. You remember the Lunds and Byerly stores, right?
I do. I spent a lot of money at Byerly's.
Oh, so you've been there one time?
Yes.
You've only been
No,
there.
I went there regularly because people don't yell at me. I'm going to say something, but I was used to a lot of choices living in California. And then I moved to Minnesota and I felt like I could get a lot of those similar choices at Byerly's that I couldn't get at the regular grocery store. And I hope that doesn't offend anyone. But
No, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Well, your name came up yesterday because I went to the Lunds Byerly's because Lunds bought Byerly's. You know that, right?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I think we've talked about another show.
Yeah, probably. Okay, so I went over to the one on 50th in France, just a block west of France on 50th. One of the one yesterday. There was one of the cashiers there was talking to me about you and the interview with Jim McMahon and all the rest of that stuff. And then I go over, I do a little shop, and I go over to the meat department. The head of the meat department's a huge listener to the show. I'm talking to him about it. It was a very nice event. If you're going to shop for groceries, go to the Lunds on 50th in France, or one block west of 50th in France. Everybody there listens to the show.
So, because I am a very, very big supporter of Lunds and Byerly's. That's
there
my
you
store.
go.
They built one in Apple Valley that is huge.
It's huge. Yeah,
it is so nice. So I live downtown Minneapolis, and I drove all the way to Apple Valley to get groceries one day just so I could check it out.
It is great. We got like 5 of them right by my house. There's one in Southdale. There's one over on 50th in France. There's one over just west of us. I guess it would be Eden Prairie. I mean, they're everywhere. But the people stepping up yesterday were so nice. They're talking about that interview. They loved it. They're talking about this, that, and the other. It was a very pleasant experience.
I used to go to the one in Eden Prairie. That was my.
Oh, see, there you go. We go to that one.
So do I. That's where we go.
Yep.
And the
I loved
Kowalski's
it.
there too. Let's not forget Kowalski's. They
We-
do a nice job.
We give Cub a lot of our money as well, and
Mhm.
Costco. And then when I'm in the cities, I will pick up things at Trader Joe's. So like I literally go to 6
That's what
grocery
Catherine
stores.
does.
Yeah, it's
Same
a lot. Oh.
Okay, you can't shop there unless you know what Cub stands for.
Consumers United Buying.
Very good.
You taught me that.
Oh, I did. Never mind. Then you cheated. You cheated.
I was gonna go with Baby Bear, but
Baby Bear.
Cub. It means a baby bear. Yes, we had a great slogan, and what I loved about working with Cub, because we used to do a lot of spots on the old KQ morning show for Cub, and they loved the line because we just were throwing stuff around, and for I don't know how many months they used, "That's Cub to you, bub."
See, that's great.
It was wonderful.
That's great.
It was a great deal. So after the big day yesterday, you superstarring, interviewing other superstars. What's new in your world?
Just a quick, because it's at the top of everyone's newsfeed today. If you're looking at entertainment, I did attend last night's taping of Dancing with the Stars.
Okay.
And they did the huge tribute to Len Goodman, who passed away earlier this year from bone cancer. And I'm probably not even going to make it through this. There's not a dry eye in the house. They pre-taped this, so they did it ahead of the actual show itself, and we were all like ugly crying. And anyone who watched this segment, you saw the judges, you saw the dancers, everybody was crying. That actually lasted probably 10 to 15 minutes after the dance. It was so moving and it was so beautiful, but I think you just realize like the heart of the show is kind of gone. So
it was very sweet though. They on TV they run a promo of him pointing at them and going, "Yeah, good to see you."
And at the end of the dance, they just left an empty judge's chair with a spotlight. Oh, you couldn't. And I mean, they flew in his wife from the UK and his son. So they were in the audience. They brought the original dancers from the first few seasons. They danced in the number. I'm getting chills just even talking about it. It was one of the most moving pieces I've ever seen, to be honest. And a shout out to the choreographers, Val Schmirkovsky and Jenna Johnson, because that's an Emmy worthy piece. I'm just saying it now.
God, Velka Murkowski, that's my real name.
Val Schmirkovsky.
Val Schmirkovsky.
Val Schmirkovsky, and then his brother is Max Schmirkovsky.
Max Schmirkovsky.
Schmirkovsky.
Bilba.
And anyone, I know a lot of your listeners love the photos. There are a ton on Facebook story, Instagram story, and then I added them to my highlights if you miss them, so they'll always be up on my Instagram page.
You still get a lot of responses on your social media from our listeners?
I do. And
that's what I heard.
They have a lot of requests sometimes. So I'm always like, I'll make sure to mention that or talk about that. Just they do. I know you don't like it, but they do like the reality show talk.
No, I don't mind you talking about it. I just don't watch reality shows. I don't get it.
Sometimes they just want the inside scoop. So I'm like, all right, I'll have to throw it to Britt on that one.
Yeah, no problem. I'm here for that. I don't even want you to start watching reality show because like I don't have much that I bring to the table, but I can bring that to the table.
There are so many good shows now. And I got to ask you a question, Kristyn, because you could answer this. Where did all these shows come from that are now being streamed? Because there was a show with Courtney Cox in it about a haunted house or something. Mm-hmm. It was called Starring Heights or Starring... I never even heard of it.
Yeah, a lot of things come out of the blue. And right now it's hard to keep track of a lot of shows and movies because no one's allowed to promote them unless they have an interim agreement. So even for us, all of a sudden something will pop up and we're like, oh, we didn't know that this was even coming down the pike. And so it's been pretty interesting. But I do think that they're getting serious about settling this actor strike. So fingers crossed, they're back at the table today because it's time. It's really time for the actors to get a fair deal, and it's time for everyone to get back to work.
Shining Veil, by the way.
Shining Veil, that's exactly what it was. Yeah, Shining Veil. It was a Stars show, I believe. Who owns Stars, the channel? I have no idea.
Lionsgate.
Oh, Lionsgate owns it? Okay, so why wouldn't we? I mean, they're part of a streaming service now, but when it was cable, was there a Stars cable channel?
Yeah,
there was, and that was a separate. Yeah, it was a separate fee, of course, just like HBO or Showtime or Cinemax way back in the day.
There's so much content that I've never even heard of now that's on streaming. There's no way I could ever catch up with all the things.
Nobody will ever catch up. And for all of us reporting on the shows, we'll never, ever catch up. And that's why a lot of times now in newsrooms, they just have us specialize in certain shows because it's just impossible to be able to go, you're going to cover every drama and you're going to cover every comedy. And it just doesn't work out that way. So you really have to start assigning people of going, okay, this show is resonating with our readers and viewers. We're going to cover this nonstop. And in other shows, we just don't have the bandwidth to do anymore.
Well, you've never heard of a lot. Bob Odenkirk has a show where he's a college professor. I'd never even heard of it.
I've never heard of this.
We watched a couple episodes last night. It's good. He's terrific, by the way. Bob Odenkirk's a hell of an actor.
Yeah, he is.
And I can't even remember the name of the show, but Bob Odenkirk is in it, and he's having trouble because they try to kick him out of the college. So he gets voted out, then he gets voted back in, and then he gets voted the head of the committee. And he's just really, his delivery is very laid back, but it needs to be. And he just nails the role. He's really good.
He had a major heart attack Like he
Oh, that's
is
right. Yeah.
super lucky to be alive.
I understand, but there's so much we cannot possibly catch up on all the great stuff that's out there. The product that's out there right now is, because it's been gathered over the years, I'm sure, it's really good. Man, there's a lot of good shows.
It is. And that's, that's what's going to sustain us as we sort of transition and everything. Netflix even just admitted, they're like, we're going to start focusing more on other people's properties.
Yeah.
Which I thought was kind of interesting because they've had such great success with Suits recently. They're thinking like, hey, we might create exclusive agreements with older shows and wind it back on Netflix instead of focusing so much on original content.
Brittany, why are you looking at me when she says Suits?
Because I would love Suits.
It gets a little bit. It's terrible at the end of the series, but it's very good. It's so good. I was at the Vikings game and we're walking up the stairs to get into the stadium, and the two people in front of me are just going on and on about like a deep dive about Suits, and I was like, yes, I love the show as well. I always wanted.
Are you a Meghan Markle fan?
See, I didn't even like realize like who she. I don't follow the royal family at all, but when I saw her in it, I was like, oh yeah, like she's nice. I'm a fan, I guess.
That's right. That's where she came from, right?
Yeah,
Starring
which I think might have something to do with why people in England maybe don't like her as much, because if they just knew her from the show, I mean, there's some sex scenes, it gets a little racy sometimes. Maybe that's part of the reason they don't like her.
It's a show. That's not really her.
People can't separate
my God.
fake from the reality all
Grow
the time.
up.
Me and my mom call Suits Tevin's show because my mom started watching Suits. And
Does she like it?
Yeah, she likes Suits.
Good.
And we'd always, but it's so funny. Every time she's like, I was watching Tevin's show, and we go both know she's talking about Suits.
Because Suits is so hard to say.
Very difficult. Very difficult.
And speaking of Tevin's show, I'm finally caught up on Gen V because the next one comes out today, correct?
It does. And then of course we have season 2 coming.
Yeah.
It got picked up.
When, as I said, I'm assuming they don't know when they're going to start production, and anything like that is way too early to tell.
Well, of course, because the actors have to get off strike. So, and the thing to remember too is that just because these actors are in Gen V, and even if the writers are writing season 2 right now, schedules are going to be very complicated because actors are attached to multiple shows. And how does that calendar line up? Can they get everybody together on set at the same time? It's going to be an absolute mess for probably a solid year.
With actors like that are on multiple shows, do the studios work with each other, or is it just kind of the first one to submit we're filming on this day, now we secure that and you have to work around us?
It's probably going to wind up, oftentimes it'll be like what show was expected to film first, and that's like the top priority, and then it's up to the agents and the managers to work out the schedule. And then if the studios have to step in, they absolutely will. Trying to work out a deal saying, hey, can you let them out of a week of filming over here because we have to do this one particular scene and we can only get this location at this time. So it wouldn't be surprising to see several actors jumping sets, which also, and people don't think about this, but it creates challenges when it comes to hair color, facial hair for the men. Are you tan? Are you not tan? So there may be some inconsistencies in some of the shows where you're like, oh, wait a minute. All of a sudden they have a wig on. That's not their natural hair. So we'll probably see a lot of that as well for anyone who has an eagle eye.
When are they going to put some of these great TV shows in movie theaters so you can go to the movie theater? Because the movies suck right now.
I mean, I think you could do something fun. I mean, Netflix finally has their own movie theater out here in Los Angeles.
Oh, they do. Yeah. There you go.
Renovated the Egyptian. I wouldn't be surprised if they did some type of TV festival or, binge watching something or other. It would be kind of fun, honestly. And I think that they would generate a lot of buzz for it. So I would say if Los Angeles does it successfully, the rest of the country might see it.
I just love going to the movie theater. Catherine and I love to go to the movie theater, get our popcorn, go sit in those very comfortable seats. But the movies now are just dreadful.
They're long. I mean, I was really happy to see that Alexander Payne, who a lot of you know from movies like Election and Sideways, he just came straight out and just said, movies are too damn long. He said, you should be able to deliver your message at 2 hours. Great. And he said, I understand that there are some stories that are going to require 3 hours. He said, however, it better be a tight, sharp 3 hours that I can't go to the restroom. I can't miss a moment. He's like, if I can sit there and jump out of a sequence, your movie's too long. And he even said, he goes, most of my movies, I probably can find at places where I could edit. He said the only movie he would not re-edit was Election with Reese Witherspoon.
Really?
Have you seen that movie? That movie is perfection.
I do know. Alex is here. How did it happen? Alex just walked in. What do you think of that? So, yeah, I mean, it's just a situation. I think Netflix is making a really smart move here, because if they can move some of their programming into movie theaters, they're going to have people lined up to go. Because, you know, I don't want to sit here every night and watch TV. I wouldn't mind watching a show. Let's go out, get a little dinner and watch a show, watch a TV show at a movie theater.
Well, I think it's going to be that sort of reverse situation. We've seen this with Amazon as well. What happens is they go and they dominate a market. So basically Netflix created a scenario where we'd prefer to stay at home and watch our home theater and sit on our couch. But now they're buying a theater and they're going to try and get you out of your house and off the couch. Amazon did the same thing. They like got rid of mom and pop bookshops and stores and got you home delivery. And now they're opening Amazon Fresh and other types of stores and saying we're also in the brick and mortar place. So they all do it, all the big tech companies.
How's the new De Niro movie doing?
Oh, the Scorsese film?
Yeah.
Yeah, it did very well. It banked probably about 21 million, somewhere around there over the weekend, which for a movie of that length did rather well. It did well overseas. Of course, there did not topple Taylor Swift, but it wouldn't be expected to. But you know what? It's Scorsese. People are going to go based off of that, based off of Leonardo DiCaprio. So... And it's going to have a long play at movie theaters because it's likely going to be a part of the Oscar season.
Don't bring up Leonardo DiCaprio in front of Brittany and Alex because they're far too old to date him.
Yeah, that's true. We've aged out.
You've aged out.
Like 25 is his like ceiling there. So
25, he gets rid of it. Is that true?
Yeah. Well, there's a chart of his dating conquests. So, and I will say Gigi Hadid, who was 27, did date him for a hot spell last year, into this year, but they're already done. So he's on to his next 25.
Why would anyone date him?
Great question.
I mean, he's famous.
Yeah,
he's
a
an
lot of money.
Oscar winner.
Seems fun. I don't know. Like he seems crazy. I don't know.
I don't think he seems fun at all.
Massive pain.
I think he's the guy you date when you know you don't want to reproduce or get married at the time. So if you're in your mid 20s,
it's just like fun, like weird.
Like he's got the yachts, he's got the he's not going to be like, let's nail this down. So it's like in your 20s, that can be fun.
Yeah, it's the guy you date before you find the love of your life.
If you're looking for that,
He hangs around with the wolf pack. So if you're okay with that, you know you're going to hang out with his guys, and the guys are all going to be.
Terrible. Wait, hold on. Can we back?
There's
can we
a
back
lot
up?
of rumors, Tevin.
Terrible.
There's a lot of rumors.
He calls his friends the wolf. That's a real thing. The wolf pack?
It is a real thing. And by the way, that is the updated PC version because when he was younger, it was called the Pussy Posse.
And so there's there's rumors. Yeah, there's rumors that you pretty much, if a lot of times the women have had sex with
his friends,
numerous people in his group.
And his friends are Tobey Maguire and Elijah Wood. They're relatively famous as well. And also, if anyone who wants to get into bed with Leonardo DiCaprio, there is a rumor, allegedly, that he wears headphones while having sex.
Oh my God!
What does he listen to?
They call him headphones dino bones.
Oh God!
That makes sense. Well, because wasn't Tobey Maguire? What was the gambling movie that came out a while ago?
Oh, about Molly's game. Molly's game.
Molly's game. And allegedly, it's Tobey Maguire is the main character in that movie.
It is, and I wouldn't even say allegedly.
Oh, not even alleged anymore? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you read Molly's book, because Molly's a real person, that story is fascinating of how those games came to be and who was at the table. It was all A-list names, a lot of men in their 20s at the time and early 30s, and she really took the hit for that, and all the celebrities pretty much walked away scot-free. It reminds me a lot of, what was the Hollywood Madam that went down?
Oh,
it was
Heidi
Fleiss.
Yeah.
Heidi Fleiss. Like, she took the hit for all of these A-list men. And I think Charlie Sheen was the only one who really came forward. But other than that, everyone's dark secrets were kept.
What do you mean, like what kind of dark secrets?
Well, Heidi was a Hollywood madam, so she hooked
so-
up all of the male celebrities with high
Okay.
class escorts, as they call them. But
I've
now they
never
would
understood
call
it.
them sex workers. So
How much fun is it to have to pay somebody to have sex with you?
There's a market.
Apparently lots for some people.
Apparently lots. I get.
I'm telling you, that's their thing.
I'll tell you, I think in like Hollywood and in tech circles, paying for a high class sex worker is something that they prefer, because instead of hooking up with, say, a fan or someone random in the street, there's less at stake, because most likely the sex worker is going to keep your secret and there's an exchange of money, and they want that celebrity to come back and pay more money for them. So they both have something at stake, where if it's just some random fan, it's really easy to just jump on TikTok and be like, I just slept with Charlie Sheen.
I could understand that. Oh, by the way, I'm going to bring out, I know we only got a few minutes left with you here, but Titus Welliver's show came back. I didn't even know it was back. It didn't get promoted at all.
Well, no one's allowed to promote anything.
You can't even promote a show that's already on.
No, you're not allowed to talk about it. You can't do
Ridiculous.
interviews. You can't do anything on social media. And I'll tell you, the fans have been dinging the celebrities if they dare mention anything. And I just saw an interaction with Dakota Johnson. She was on a panel talking about something political, and she went and started to mention the movie that she's in. And the interviewer's like, you can't talk about that. He whispered, and she goes, oh, I'm sorry.
How is that helping the people out there? This is all about them then, isn't it?
I think what they want to do, the point of it was to hurt the studios. So if we can't promote your project, then maybe you would come to the table with a deal. But we're already past 100 days on the actors strike at this point. I mean, they are back at the table, which is good. But the Halloween rule has been kind of silly. Like, hey, you can't go as Barbie this Halloween. I mean, it's a costume. It's fine.
I don't know. Like I said, I would have liked to have known that Bosch Legacy season 2 was out. Catherine just happened upon it last night, and there are already 4 episodes out.
Yeah, Bill worked on it. My husband, he worked on that last summer. Yep, he worked on the crew.
Why didn't Bill tell us then? Why
I don't know.
Way to go, Bill.
How dare Bill? Yeah, he worked on the crew of that and Hunters season 2 during both the pandemic. Yeah, they were like lockdown sets.
So is everybody going to be on strike in the next couple of weeks across, like everybody from top to bottom is going to be on strike?
I mean, I feel like the hotel workers here in Los Angeles are still on strike. The actors are still on strike. I'm hoping that gets resolved. What else? Who else is on strike right now?
Everybody. My God, the
Auto
auto
workers. Oh, CVS. I think the pharmacists are going on
they're
strike.
going on strike.
Right.
When? I got to pick something up.
November 1st, I was told, is
I got fertility drugs coming in.
There you go.
Sweet.
November 1st, Britt. So make sure you're there before.
All right, sounds good. I'm gonna just say, load me up, bro.
Yeah,
load me up, bro.
Switch to Walgreens if you need to.
I can't. Walgreens is also they're also going on strike. Like I heard that this is going to be a bigger
Target.
The VA doesn't work with Walgreens.
Oh,
They
it
work
just
with CVS.
says
Yeah,
CVS,
and that
okay.
shit's expensive.
Oh, yeah, I know. I've had people change jobs because of prescription, like specifically fertility things,
Yeah.
because certain companies will cover a certain amount of fertility stuff, and others are like, no.
Yeah, it's spendy.
And insurance is a little spendy.
Yeah, just some people walking around getting knocked up, and I'm dropping cash money.
Yeah.
That's the whole argument.
We talked about that last night. We went out to dinner with friends, and they told us the most ridiculous story about like one of her friend's relatives that was like, the mom was pregnant and then the daughter pretended that she was pregnant because the mom is on meth. And so they were going to take the baby of the mother because she's already had 4 kids removed from her, like wild. And Dan was like, you know what? There should be some sort of like natural selection as far as like some of the best people I know like can't get pregnant or like have such a hard time that would be like the best parents. And then these people, it's like you look at them and they're pregnant.
Yeah,
Like,
super pregnant.
It's that argument you need a license for everything except parenting.
Yeah.
Oh, Kristyn, even when we had a kid, I was like laughing because when we adopted our dog Robot, they came in and did a house check. And they're like, okay, do you have a fenced in yard? What's the vibe here? And then I was like, when are they going to go check our house when I'm holding this child? And they're like, oh, no, we don't do that. I was like,
we don't care.
They just send you home with the kid and they go, good luck.
It is. Yep. Isn't that wild? Like, you think they like, I guess like you can't, but it just like felt weird that my rescue dog, who was like abandoned, they had to make sure I had all the things for her. But like this child, they're like, you got a car seat? Cool.
Even if not, like whatever.
Good luck.
Are they even double checking if that car seat's installed properly? I mean, I know you can take it to the fire station and they'll do it, but
I mean, like 90% of car seats are installed improperly. I installed Brittany's car seat because I was like, listen.
So what's funny is I was like, I heard the rumor of like me and Alex were having trouble like nailing down a time. So we live right next to a fire station. So I went there, knocked on the door. I was super pregnant at this point. And I swear this kid was maybe 18 and a half years old, answers the door. And I was like, hey, do you guys still check car seats? He's like, I don't know. And this guy who's like, listen, we don't officially do that, but I'm a dad of 3 kids. Like this, like the dad came by and was like, I'll take care of this. And the relief off this 18-year-old's face and didn't pretend to check the car seat.
Right. All he's doing is going to be checking YouTube for an instructional video.
So this is so funny. And then after that, I had to double check with Alex. The day before I had Gogo, I rolled over at their house. So
you sure did.
All right.
And fire stations, I will say, because this is knowledge people should have. Fire stations hold they have somebody come in.
Oh, it's just different. Ours is a police station. So it was just one of those Eden Prairie things where
because
in this case, they said, oh, actually now it's the police station that does that. So there's still places you can roll up on whenever and they'll check for you.
But a lot of fire stations, it's like they have somebody there like a day a month or something to check car seats, because that's what we did. And I was
That's
like,
good to know.
Perfectly.
But I want you to check it.
Yeah, like just to be sure.
So, Kristyn, I know you really miss doing Halloween here in Minnesota because starting this Friday, it's going to be in the 30s for a straight week. She goes,
It snowed the year I did Halloween. And I was like, this is crazy because October is one of our hottest months in Los Angeles. And your pumpkins literally are like puckering by the time October 31st rolls around from the heat. They just like cave in on themselves. And when it was snowing, I'm like, I actually think 100-degree Halloween is better.
Yeah, I could understand that. All right, we will talk to you tomorrow.
Yes, I will see you all tomorrow.
Thanks, Kristyn Burt, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back in a couple of minutes, wrap things up.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show.
Recently, Jim Paul of Valley Buick GMC was contacted by a company that does on-site sales. Jim was confused.
Wait, they don't know anything about us, our staff, our reputation, most importantly, our customers.
Hey, pal, no problem. We do them all over the country. You know, get the manager off the roof sale, inflatable gorilla sale, and our favorite, the 13-hour sale with a giant clock that goes to 13. Urgency, baby. We bring our crew because, well, your people are, let's just say, a little laid back.
And the pricing?
Nothing special, sport.
But Jim thought we price competitively every day. Our prices are special. We definitely don't need these guys. But sale does convey some urgency, so we made a bold decision for his fine dealerships.
Announcing the Valley Buick GMC 365-day sale. And we can even extend it a couple years or so.
I got the air dancer guy, scratch-offs, plastic keys, bubble machine 5.
Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley or Hastings or valleycardealers.com. Hurry.
This is Bob Sansevier, and I want to tell you about Dave Bialke from Bialke Law. Dave represented my wife, Mary, when she had a significant workplace injury. She was very happy with the job Dave did. If you have a work-related injury and have Dave represent you, I'm betting you'll be happy too. Dave is a down-to-earth guy. He grew up in northern Minnesota, rides a Harley, and worked various jobs doing concrete, electrical, plumbing, roofing, and carpentry work. Dave works for people with work-related injuries. If you work construction, or anywhere for that matter, and you're hurt or even just hurting, you should talk to Dave. Let's face it, our bodies wear out. If your body is worn out from work, if your knees or back or shoulders hurt from things you do at work, do what Mary did. Call Dave and talk to him about it at Bialke Law to set up a free initial consultation consultation. The number to call is 763-571-2410. That's 763-571-2410. Or visit bialkelaw.com. That's BIALKE law.com.
Tom Barnard is back. Every weekday, you'll hear Tommy B, Brittany Arneson. Yes, that Brittany Arneson. Along with Tom's pals, Kent Herbeck on Fridays, Bob Sansevier, Mike Stretch Gelfand, Tim Lammers, and from Channel 5 Eyewitness News, Chris Egert and Kristyn Burt on entertainment and pop culture. It's Tom and the crew with opinions on news, opinions on life, opinions on entertainment, and of course, opinions on other people's stupid opinions. The Tom Barnard Show is a podcast, so you can listen when you want to listen. In the car, on the way to or from work, at home, on the job site, or wherever you need your Tommy B Show fix. Hear the show on the Tom Barnard Show app in your app store, as a podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts, or see it on YouTube on the Tom Barnard Show channel.
All right. Does everybody have a cup? You have a cup.
I have a couple cups.
I do not.
I have a giant water bottle.
No, it's got to be a cup
usual.
because you need something to vomit into.
Oh,
Yeah, we can share.
Do we have a bucket?
Okay, you ready? 82-year-old Korean man has heart attack after choking on live octopus dish. Now, let's not forget, this is a live octopus.
Yeah, that's something that people do.
Oh, God, that looks horrible.
It's alive? That does
How
not
is that? It
look
looks like it's
alive.
chopped up.
No, they said it's live.
I don't like
No.
it.
Do you
Yeah, that's
believe
a
that?
thing that people do.
Yeah, well,
Look at that.
and usually they
Ish.
do it where it's like on a stick and like the tentacles are all
Like
wrapped
moving
around. Yeah, and then
around.
and then you have to like
Yeah, it's not actually alive. I've actually seen this before.
Yeah,
How
it's,
it works is when an octopus is freshly killed,
it's like rigor mortis.
if you pour something salty on it, like soy sauce,
Oh, it like
the
shrivel.
salt makes the tentacles move as if the
That
octopus
makes
was
sense.
alive.
That makes sense.
So it's not really
Yeah,
alive.
yeah.
No.
Okay.
But they pretend that it's alive.
Yeah,
Either
if
way,
you, if you take an octopus, cut its tentacles off, put it on a dish, and then pour soy sauce on it,
Yeah.
the tentacles are going to start moving around,
That makes sense.
which is gross. I don't know why you'd want to
And
eat that.
okay.
There's more in this story about it. So it says this is slightly misleading. The octopus is killed before serving with its tentacles cut into portions. However, it is served immediately after slicing and is so fresh that the tentacles' nerves are still active, causing the octopus to appear live as it continues to move on the plate.
But would you eat something that looked like that?
Yeah, why would you
No.
want that?
That just
not
looks
in a
like
million years. There is never.
I've eaten octopus before, and it's fine, but I wouldn't want it to be moving.
No.
Calamari kind of vibe.
Yeah,
yeah,
basically,
like,
yeah.
fried.
That's the only way I'm going to eat octopus. to be honest.
Yeah,
It's like
fried
fried.
up.
Yeah.
Fawn loves calamari.
Well, calamari is squid,
She does.
Yeah, that's
Oh, is
great.
it?
She
Oh, my
loves
bad.
calamari.
Fawn
but
loves
octopus is
calamari.
very, very similar to calamari.
Yeah, chewier.
Yeah, it's very
Oh,
chewy.
God. Okay, wise asses, step up because this is an amazing story. Colorado business pays debt with more than 3 tons of coins.
Yeah.
Okay.
A
hate
major FU, says recipient.
Okay.
I hate that.
I'm
I
sorry.
love
It's
it.
your debt. Why are you mad?
Exactly.
People do this.
Do you want your money or not?
I know. People, oh, you're the worst, Tevin. People do this with speeding tickets, and I'm always
Yeah,
like,
Tevin, you're
who
the
are
worst.
you?
Yeah, like
I know you're the one who sped. It's like
Just let it
deal
go.
with it.
yeah, like you should be mad at yourself
Right.
for
Or
making
And
this
I am
choice.
because I did get a speeding ticket
There
in
you
July.
go.
and it
I
was
saw a
terrible.
similar story where a guy paid his wife's like child support or alimony or whatever.
Yeah, I
and
saw
she was
that.
not a nice
Pennies
person.
or
Apparently, yeah,
something.
dropped off a bunch of pennies on her front lawn. It's like,
Yep.
"Oh, you're my type of person.
That is beyond. Here,
Just be petty.
you're beyond monster.
Okay.
A northern Colorado welding business is trying to pay a subcontractor $23,500 debt in quarters, dimes, nickels, and pennies that weighed more than 3 tons, according to the plaintiffs in the case, who call the move malicious and a major FU. Danielle Beam, an attorney who represents a plaintiff in the case, Fired Up Fabrication LLC. That's the name of it, Fired Up Fabrication.
Mm.
That makes sense.
Called the 6,500-pound coin delivery a symbolic middle finger. I think that the thought was my clients would have to accept it, and it's a giant waste of time and a major FU. Beam said. According to court documents in the case, JMF Enterprises Fired Up Fabrication as a subcontractor to do welding work on an apartment building. Fired Up Fabrication later filed a civil suit against JMF, saying it was not paid in full. In July, the two sides went to mediation, and JMF agreed to pay the subcontractor $23,500, unfortunately, all in dimes, quarters, and pennies and nickels.
Here's the thing that I don't understand about that type of move.
Yeah.
Why would you spend extra time of your life making
that's a lot of
sure
effort.
to show this person how irritated you are by them by making them more irritated? Like, come on.
Right, because you can't just go down to Wells Fargo and be like, I need $23,000.
No, like these people had to jump through hoops to make this happen.
Yep.
It's just like, pay the person, move on with your life. Like, why are you spending this much time and energy on this?
Couldn't agree more.
See, they were a welding company, so what I would have done is I would have gotten a bunch of dollar coins, welded them together into a big tower.
There you go.
That's a middle finger made out.
Yeah, exactly.
Literal,
There you go.
It'll take a little time to do that too.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
There you go. Here's
also.
your gigantic 23,000 coin tower.
Perfect. Enjoy.
And art.
Don't spend it all in one place.
Yeah, it's art, so it's extra valuable.
This is magnificent because you don't even have to read the story, just the headline, because it's incredible. Drunk dad reports his kid as missing.
Oh, no.
Probably not the first time that's happened.
Oh, no.
He actually just forgot him at home.
Which is probably better for the kid.
Which is better for the kid, exactly.
Give that kid an iPad. Like, let's just
better
let him
off.
raise himself.
Yeah.
You're a drunk dad.
Drunk dad.
Where's my kid? You left him at home, you dumb bastard.
Oh, Timmy.
All right. Any closing comments?
Yeah, Tevin, any closing? Do you want to insult Tom again? Oh, do you know what Tevin called your dad?
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Okay.
He said that he looks like
Called
the
your
old man
dad.
from Up.
Yeah.
Not even a little bit.
No, so here's let's back.
It's like,
So what had happened was, actually, I don't even remember what
I
happened.
don't
I don't know
either.
how we got on that subject.
This guy is
So never mind.
insane
So
eyebrows.
disaster. That's what
He
happened.
does. I mean, your eyebrows can get
Oh,
a
it was
little,
Kevin
a little
McHale.
Carl.
I don't have any eyebrows.
Yeah, he's like
Well-
eyebrow less.
Yeah. Wow. What did you do?
I cut off my eyebrows.
Why did you cut off your eyebrows?
Because you and mom
Cut
bitched about
them
it so
off?
much.
He
I cut
literally
them off.
has almost no eyebrows right now.
I thought mom like trimmed them or something.
No.
I trimmed them myself. I
Oh,
went
that'll be why.
Okay, don't do
Okay,
that.
Yeah,
don't
don't-
do
yeah,
that.
if-
Eyebrows are amazing.
Yeah, if
It's because he
they
doesn't
go
want to
back.
look like Carl because you insulted
Well,
him.
no, because we were talking about Kevin McHale, and somebody said
Look
who's
what
a very famous
you did to-
basketball player,
look
and
at
somebody
Tom.
went and said, "Hey, aren't you the guy from Cheers?" Rather than "Aren't you one of like the 50 greatest basketball players of all time?" And he got upset.
Okay.
And so I said, "Tom," it'd be like somebody coming up to you and being like,
Okay.
"Hey, aren't you that guy from Up?" Rather than Tom Bernard from the radio.
Yeah. Well, look at
That's
the
what it
picture.
was.
Well,
It
I
makes
mean,
sense.
it's
I'm
not.
I'm not out here slandering.
Here it is. Yes,
Tom's
you are.
appearance.
Yes, you are.
I mean, not
now,
on purpose.
If Tom attacks his own eyebrows again, it's your fault. And you leave your
Yeah.
eyebrows alone. They're
There's
amazing.
hair there.
Stop. It's
They
bad.
look-
You
it's
need
really
to,
bad.
Hair
You
there.
need
It's
to
really
let them
bad.
grow out.
Yeah.
Who cares?
You
Brittany and I
obviously
do.
you
If it
There's
makes-
nothing I can do. It's too
If it makes
long.
you-
It's too
yeah.
short.
Here's the thing.
If it makes you happy, leave
You-
it.
Here's the thing. Every other week, I'll just keep a cuticle clippers in
No,
here,
no.
and I will just trim your eyebrows for you.
I
I do
got
it myself on my eyebrows. I
Let her
can do
do
it
it.
for you,
Yeah.
and they'll look great.
We'll do it on air. Put it on YouTube.
Yeah, it'll be like Katie Couric with her going
First
on
off,
TV.
I love big eyebrows, so I feel like they should be shamed for attacking
No,
you.
here's the
I
thing.
agree.
Here's the thing about his eyebrows, because I have his eyebrows. I literally, when I was like 13 years old, I went to go get my first eyebrow wax, and she said, "Wow, you have old man eyebrows."
That
Just
hit. No,
what,
that hit.
just what a middle
How dare
school girl
you.
wants to
How
hear.
dare you.
Just
She
what
knows
you
how
wanna
to get a customer for
Mhm.
life.
Yes, exactly.
I never had plural. Mine was always, oh, you have very big eyebrow.
eyebrow. Yeah, you got the one. So
Yeah.
you have like very wiry, thick eyebrow hair. Because
Yes, I do.
same. And
But leave it. Don't do what you just did.
but it's
It
but,
looks fine.
It looks fine, but I like bigger eyebrows.
but
big
the
brows,
thing with
yeah.
his eyebrows is they grow in all of the directions.
8,000 different directions.
Yeah.
they
it's
do.
cool. It's a vibe.
It's a Carl vibe.
It's a vibe, all
All
right.
right, we got to bust this up because we got another show coming up in about
Oh, yeah.
3-4 minutes. We'll
Yes,
be
we
right
do.
back. Turtle Dove should be here for that one.
Should
Boy,
be.
oh boy.
All right.
Hello, I'm Brad Huckle, President and Chief Lending Officer at North American Banking Company.
And I'm Michael Bilski, CEO at North American Banking Company.
As a locally owned and operated community bank, we work with many multi-generational businesses.
Take personal care dentistry of Roseville, for example. Dr. Walter Hunt, also known as Painless to me, has been a longtime customer of the bank since we opened the bank in 1998.
When his son Kyle was ready to join the practice, they wanted to expand quickly.
With their additional space and equipment, they now are able to see more patients each day while providing the same level of care and service.
Okay, guys, I'll take it from here. If you run a family business or any kind of business for that matter, you should be banking with Brad and Mike over at North American Banking Company. Every time I deal with them or their team, I know I'm working with experienced professional bankers. So why not bank with my banker? North American Banking Company, a better banking experience, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
In a world that's racing a mile a minute, a split-second distraction can change everything. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw and Bryant. Every day we see too many people, heads buried in their phones, unaware of the dangers they're in. Texting and driving isn't just reckless, it's playing Russian roulette with your life and the lives of others. In just 4 seconds of distraction, you've driven the length of a football field. Is there any text message that's worth your life, that's worth the lives of others? I've been fighting for the rights of the injured for over 30 years. But I'd rather you never meet me in a courtroom. So hear me now. Stop texting and driving. Pay attention. Value your lives and the lives around you. And if you won't, know this. At Bradshaw and Bryant, we're relentless. We won't back down. We bring justice to those that need it.
Find Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
With Mike Bryant on your side, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
It's Tom Barnard for Flagship Ford in Baldwin, Wisconsin. I'm happy to say I purchased an EV Mustang from Flagship and have friends and coworkers who bought new vehicles and used ones from this family-run dealership that's just 20 minutes west of the metro in Baldwin. Whether you want to compare their used car specials, claim Ford financing options, or simply book an oil change or tire rotation, they have you covered at Flagship Ford. New vehicles like the Ford Escape, the Edge, or F-150 pickups with special engine options. Flagship Ford can answer all your questions on your next new vehicle. The month of October is Tire Month at Flagship Ford. Fit your tires for your specific vehicle, any model car, truck, or SUV, and get your tires before the snow flies, just $5 over cost. That's a purchase of 4 new tires with a $70 rebate gift card on top of the $5 over cost on most brands of tires. Flagship Ford, east of the metro in Baldwin, Wisconsin, and online at flagshipford.com. That's flagshipford.com.
Tom Barnard is back. Every weekday, you'll hear Tommy B, Brittany Arneson. Yes, that Brittany Arneson. Along with Tom's pals Kent Herbeck on Fridays, Bob Sansevier, Mike Stretch Gelfand, Tim Lammers, and from Channel 5 Eyewitness News, Chris Egert and Kristyn Burt on entertainment and pop culture. It's Tom and the crew with opinions on news, opinions on life, opinions on entertainment, and of course, opinions on other people's stupid opinions. The Tom Barnard Show is a podcast, so you can listen when you want to listen. In the car, on the way to or from work, at home, on the job site, or wherever you need your Tommy B Show fix. Hear the show on the Tom Barnard Show app in your app store, as a podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts, or see it on YouTube on the Tom Barnard Show channel.
Tomorrow. We're going to have to start.
Hello, I'm the only one with my headphones
so
on.
Late all the time. We only got 4 hours to warm up.
Anyone want to?
Anyway, just go ahead and start.
Oh, we've started already.
Oh, so I just heard me railing on Nana. Pain in the ass that Nana is by always being so late.
Pretty much.
All right. I adore the woman, but she's always late.
Yes, she is.
Not as late as Alex. Alex is the latest human being ever born.
I have not been late.
No, not
in a very long time.
Not for this show, but for everything else.
Excuse
Whenever you're
me?
going to get together with Alex, if you're going to have lunch at noon, say, hey, I'll see you there at 11:30, because then she'll be there by noon.
This is not how that works whatsoever.
That's how my girlfriend is.
That is not how I am at all.
Women do be shopping.
There
Women
are.
do.
Oh my God.
There you go.
Okay, well, this has been
There
fun.
you go. All right. She's leaving. She's going to bail out.
So glad I wasn't here the last 2 days because
Yeah, there you
the room full of 7 and 8 year olds are much nicer to me than you all.
How did school go? Hey, we should introduce. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the family with
Alex Barnard Rasmussen.
Tevin Piven.
And Andy Barnard.
and Catherine Brandt.
That's spot on.
It's really just sounded just like her, didn't it?
Incredible.
Okay, so she should be here any hour now. I guess probably what 11:30 maybe.
We'll see.
When I come back, when I die, I want to come back as a member of my family, but not me.
The same thing. I'll come back as a member of your family. as well.
Exactly. There you go. Anyway, so what were we just talking about?
Alex is always late. She had a great experience with her
7 and 8 year olds
kids.
being
Yep,
nice.
7 and 8 year olds.
Okay, I want to ask you guys a question
Yeah.
because it just happened the other night. I want to write a game show for the listeners to do on this show next Tuesday. Right?
Okay.
What famous actor is this? Would be the call. We could write up like we'd have 3 contestants, so maybe 5 apiece, so 15. It's not going to be hard to do to come up with this stuff. What's their real? What's their real name? Whose real name is this? It'd be a better game show. An example would be this is all for all 3. And Andy, you can't look it up. Okay.
Andy's probably the last person that would get any answer to this game.
You might get this one right, though. It's a Halloween one, actually.
Spooky.
Or a spooky one. Whose real name is Billy Pratt?
Chris Pratt?
No, not Chris Pratt. Whose real name is Billy Pratt?
Billy Idol.
Nope.
Billie Eilish.
You
You're
said it's
never gonna
spooky.
get it.
You
It's
said it's
spooky.
spooky.
It's spooky.
Okay, we have a hint
And it's
of
way before
spooky.
even my generation. But
Okay,
I love
what-
his movies
Oh,
anyway.
jeez.
But no,
What?
I love his movies anyway. They're great movies.
I'm out.
No, you'd know.
Spooky
because-
person
Dracula?
from
What?
100 years ago.
No, it'd be Dracula,
The Great
Frankenstein.
Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
He was in all those movies.
Bela Lugosi.
Nope.
Yeah,
You're close.
Bram. What's the guy that
Bram
wrote
Stoker?
That'd be the author.
That's the author. I know, but I was trying to think of. I don't know.
Boris Karloff?
You got it. Did the listener call in?
No.
How did you know?
Well, you said he was in
He was in
Dracula
all
and
those
Frankenstein
movies,
and
yeah.
everything.
Boris Karloff was in
Karloff's
all
real name is William Pratt.
Huh.
Or was.
Boris
He's dead
Karloff
now.
is way more like spooky movie
Well,
guy.
yeah, he did. That's what I'm saying. He did. So we should write up a game show for like next Tuesday.
Yeah, William Henry Pratt.
William Henry Pratt. Yep.
Billy
there you go.
Pratt.
Billy Pratt.
Yeah, Boris Karloff is a much more appropriate name for him. I think.
Yeah.
I'm Boris Karloff. And he had that accent and everything. Who's it? Jane Seymour. Look up her real name. You ain't going to believe her real name.
Remember the like
James
6 months I wanted to go by Zandra?
Zandra, yes.
Good times.
Really?
Alexander.
How
go-
was this
go
like
Zandra.
6 months ago or?
Yes.
It was
No,
yesterday. It
I
was
was
yesterday.
probably like 13, 14.
Yesterday.
Yeah, I remember very briefly floating,
Oh my
going by
gosh.
Drew, and then I decided Andy's fine.
Yeah, you're not. You don't
You're
come
much
across
more
as
of
a
an
Drew
Andy.
type of-
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
not a Drew.
I feel like I could pull off Zandra,
Zandra.
maybe.
Why is
So-
that?
Because
Oh,
Alexandra,
Alexandra, yeah.
Zandra. Because
Get
it was
it?
because I had so many people in my school named Alex, and they were all boys.
Yeah.
And I never
Yeah.
have liked like Lexi, Alexa, Alexis.
Mhm.
Like
I can see
that's
Alex,
not.
like Lexi for you.
Could I just go by Moss instead of
Yes.
Thomas? Go by Moss.
You
Moss.
could.
What do you think?
That's something you could do.
What'd you
Jane-
find out, Andy?
Jane Seymour. So,
Would not
Here's
recommend.
Jane.
Yeah.
Jane Seymour's real name. Listen to
and
this.
so first off, who is Jane Seymour?
It's a very famous actress.
Like, I don't recognize her.
Oh yeah, she's been around for years. She's probably in her mid 70s now.
Oh, she was Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman.
Oh,
there you
yeah,
go.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I
There
was
you
like,
go.
I know the name. I
Yep.
can't think of.
Her real name is Joyce Penelope Wilhelmina Frankenberg.
Okay, so
Great name.
I also love that the
The
longer
accent.
the
Yeah,
name went on, the
Yeah.
thicker the accent.
I did.
Joyce.
Joyce doesn't really sound that German.
No.
Penelope kind of does. Wilhelmina really does. And
Yeah.
Frankenberg is about as German as it gets.
Frankenberg.
So you have to pronounce it like the Germans do. Frankenberg.
Yes.
And by the way, that's her real full name.
Joyce.
So we got to look some of these up. We got to get some good ones to use for
And
listeners.
it's funny. So with the name like that, she was born in, where would you guess? If you guessed
Detroit.
London, correct.
London. Okay.
London. Okay.
Yeah, I know. It's like to, I don't even know.
Not the center of Germany?
Mieke, Mika. Mika van Tricht and Benjamin Frankenberg in London, of all places.
Hitler in there.
I just the German accent is just
it is a weird
the
one.
least sexy accent.
It's fun.
in history of accents.
I don't. It depends.
Icelandic.
There's a
I'd
lot of
say.
accents where it depends on the gender too.
True.
It's like
yeah, that's true.
If you think about it, like a French accent coming from a girl sounds nice.
Yeah.
From coming from a guy, it makes you sound like an asshole.
Well, that's,
I'm sorry, but it's true.
It's like so weird when you see like a Scottish baby, you know, like talking. It's like there's this video of this little girl and she's like, Alexa! And I'm like, what is happening?
Or have you seen the one where the parents say that the elf on the shelf drew glasses on this girl's face and she's like, I gotta go to school.
Oh yes.
What? It's the greatest video. It's probably super old now, but yeah, this probably like 7 years old. Her parents said that the naughty elf on the shelf pranked her by taking a permanent marker while she was sleeping and drawing like glasses on her.
Yeah.
And the girl is like freaking out because she's got to go to school the next day, and it's hilarious. Like
because she's got an accent.
It's like, no, this is not funny. Gotta go to school.
It's not funny. It's not funny.
Is that what she does, really?
Yes.
Yeah. So where's she from?
I have no idea.
Like, oh. I see drawn on my face.
That's the end.
Yeah. Good God. What the hell accent is that?
I'm just gonna say like
Irish?
Welsh,
It sounds Scottish to me.
Scottish, something.
Could be
I don't
Scottish.
know. There's a on Instagram. I went down a rabbit hole once of this guy that's Scottish, and he like people send him things to just say, and like
Oh,
with
yeah.
a super thick Scottish accent, it's like,
Oh, yeah.
what?
Really?
Yeah, like because there was this whole thing on Instagram a while ago about how British people say water bottle instead of water bottle.
Yeah.
And he's like, Scottish people, you know what we say? We say wabba.
Wabba.
Yeah. And like then it
Wabba.
turned
Wabba.
into this whole thing that now that's like his whole Instagram is saying things in his thick Scottish accent.
How old were you the first time you went to Scotland?
She was probably like 10.
10, yeah.
Oh, you were younger than that because you guys were rolling down the hill and they made you stop. Remember that?
I could roll down a hill at 10.
Yeah,
That was
absolutely.
the appropriate age. I
31,
was gonna say, I could still roll down a hill if you
I can't remember what year that was.
I think I was like 10.
Yeah, it would have been like 99-ish.
Really?
Yeah, around then.
God, it seemed like it was earlier than that.
We could
But
find the
I can tell you.
pictures and look
When
at
did
the-
Rye Star come out on Game Gear?
Okay, boom.
that's how he's gonna nail it.
That's how my brain
That's
works.
how he's
too.
gonna nail it right there.
I don't have anything like that to like remember. I'm always like, I was around 9. I don't know.
But for some things, to like specific things, like when we went to Vegas, I know the year because I was playing Pokemon Gold.
Yep.
And there you go. When Pokemon Gold came out, that's,
I'm the same way. I'll be like, well, that was like Madden 07
Yeah, exactly.
because Michael Vick was on the cover. Yeah, that's when
Okay.
that was. Yeah.
Yep.
There you
That's how my
go.
brain works.
There's for non-video game people, there's nothing like that. I don't
I guess it would
think.
be like books or TV shows.
Okay,
I
so what
suppose.
year was it?
Oh, Rye Star came out on Game Gear in 95. So, but there's no way it was that early.
No, I was not 6.
I'm telling
No,
you,
I
I
was
think
not
that's
6.
right.
No.
6 and 8 sounds
Absolutely
closer.
not. No, I
You
was
were
not
little
6.
because remember I asked you if you want.
Yeah,
I asked the
I
two
do
of you,
remember, and that's why I was not 6.
I asked them both if they wanted to take a nappy, and apparently a nappy in Scotland is a diaper.
It is a diaper.
So that like kids want to take a nappy. She said, "Take a nappy."
Here's
Why?
this diaper, you 10-year-old child.
Yeah, exactly. You need this, but
Weird at all.
you guys go there more than once.
We went to Ireland once, Scotland once, and England once.
Oh, there you go.
I've
That's
been
what
to
we did.
England.
Oh, you've been to England, yeah, a bunch of times.
What, do you go see your buddy?
You went with Mom once,
Sly.
right?
And I've been to Paris 3 times.
I've never been to
twice, 3
Paris. I've been to
times.
France once, but never to Paris.
Is
For me-
Paris as dirty as they?
Oh, I hear
claim
it's
it to be?
horrible.
Not
Oh,
from my
that's too
experience,
bad.
no.
Okay.
But it's been a while.
Yeah,
I haven't
it's gotten
gone-
bad apparently.
Oh, okay.
Well, all cities in the world have now because we don't make them follow the rules anymore.
I can't think of I can't think of when I was in Paris last.
It was a
probably
long
like
time
12
ago.
years ago.
Yeah.
I think it was before I even met Dan. I think we were.
Yeah,
dating,
definitely.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
See, that's like the only thing I base things off of. Is like when I met Dan, when we got married,
Yeah.
when we had each kid, and then that's all I can remember.
And the pandemic. Like those are my benchmarks.
Oh, the
Well, but-
pandemic.
But then the pandemics, it's like
3 years,
like a 2-year weird gap of like things happened, and I'm not sure when.
Yeah, I mean, I don't do that for modern things because it's like I don't bring around Game Boys anymore. So it's like, oh, I'm going to play
You
this
kind of
game.
do.
on-
You have that thingy.
Yeah, but I really don't use it that much.
Oh, yeah.
It's for like planes and stuff like that. But it's like back then on trips.
Yeah.
You had to bring a couple cartridges with you, and you brought your Game
What
Boy.
did
and
I
that's
do
what
while you
played.
were doing that? I was running around outdoors. And same for today. You know, nothing's changed really.
I mean, I definitely did
Yeah.
a lot of stuff outdoors there too.
Yeah, but
I remember
for, like-
the secret garden that we used to go.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was
Sweet.
That was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, like long car rides though. Like you got your Game Boy Color or Advance, and you're just going to town on a little Pokemon Gold, Red.
Oh yeah,
Blue.
absolutely. I remember specifically going to the Fitzgibbons playing Jurassic Park on the piece of crap R Zone. You don't even know what the R Zone is, do you?
I have no idea what an
I
R
don't know. I've
zone
never
is.
heard of one either.
Do you remember the Tiger Electronic handheld games?
Yes.
Yes, it's like those, except you strap it to your head.
What?
Google it. You're gonna be like, what the
Strap it
hell is
to
this
As
thing?
in the
Your
letter
head.
R and then zone.
R Zone, yep. Google R Zone. You're gonna be like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
You
in my
Oh
life.
strap
my gosh.
Well, let me see it.
Yep, I
wanna
had an R
see.
Zone, yep.
We want to see. We want to see.
Our zone console.
Get my whole.
We got to
Oh, here she
rearrange
is.
everything.
Here she is,
Yeah,
Miss
who is Tom?
America.
Oh, Miss America's here. Oh, look.
Oh, it didn't work.
Blessed
You'd
us
be
with
early
her
if we lived in the.
There you go. There's the R Zone.
Yeah.
It's
She's
like
on California
see it.
time.
for
I
our
didn't see her over
listeners
there,
who are younger than a certain age, I suppose.
It's real bright.
You know the Scouters from Dragon Ball Z? It's kind of like that, but way jankier.
Yeah.
Jankier.
Turtle Dove's here.
No, it's like I can't have that on my computer. I'll go blind. I'm too light.
No, you can
sensitive.
turn them down. Yeah, there you go.
I know, but still.
And
What do you
mom
think of that?
somehow just
I don't need a
broke
ring
it.
light. I don't care about my
Mom
finding
somehow
my
just
light.
broke it.
Yes, it was working fine, and then she got here, and now it's broken.
What did she break?
Oh, sorry, I was getting onto a new one.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I set
He
you up.
brought it up for you.
Way to double check, Catherine.
We've been doing this for like.
No.
Yes, I've brought it up for you. He has. Get with it.
We'll figure it out eventually.
Are you bringing it up now?
Okay, well, it says I'm on there.
Your microphone's not on either.
We're getting to it.
We're working on
There
it.
There we go.
Ta-da.
Welcome.
No, I
Facebook
want to see.
scheduling issues. What?
I don't pay any attention.
We don't
to
care
that.
about that. That's your studio.
No, don't.
Yeah, this is very bright. Still.
Come on, turn it down some more.
Beep, beep, beep.
Ah,
That's as
thank
low
you.
as it go.
Okay.
Is
That's
that
better.
much better?
That's better.
There we go. Now we can see
Hey,
There we are.
hey, hi,
She's
hi,
beauty and
ho,
she's
ho.
grace.
Yeah, we need to take that gigantic ring light off now because it's.
Yeah,
kind
I'll
of
take
like
mine
large.
home.
It's very.
Anna. It is a big ring light. There's no
Well,
question about
All
it.
the photo shoots you do, you are going to
Catherine,
need that.
we just finished out having him try to guess what Jane Seymour's real name is.
Oh, you're never going to guess that.
Well, we
They
already did it.
didn't.
Oh,
We already did it, but they didn't know way they were.
No.
What is it again, Andy?
Joyce.
Joy
Joyce something Wilhelmina German.
Frankenberg.
Frankenberry.
Joyce Penelope Wilhelmina Frankenberg.
I like the name Penelope.
You sound a little.
I know.
I am a little.
Oh, it was
You are.
worse
I don't
yesterday.
understand. I'm in a room of children.
Snotty children.
Snotty children. I am
Snotty.
3 inches from their face telling them how to do their homework or to, actually sit in their chair. And you've had like 4 illnesses in the time since I've started school.
It is kind of astonishing.
Well,
that-
2-year-olds
is
are like
astonishing.
the ultimate in.
But you
getting
guys
sick.
don't, it's not like he's in daycare. Like,
we go to ECFE every week.
okay.
What?
Oh, they go to the thing.
They go to
one,
a thing.
one
Yeah.
time a week.
They go to a thing.
Wild.
I don't know.
Yep.
Don't ask me.
It's just amazing that you just seem to catch every possible germ.
Well, everyone's got this cold.
Work on ashwagandha. Start drinking some ashwagandha.
I love ashwagandha.
Yes, definitely.
It's my new
And
favorite.
it's fun
tea.
to say.
good for your
I'm the
immunity.
last person who got. So Ethan's got it first, and then he gave it to Melissa and her mom and her dad.
Okay.
And now I'm finally the one getting it.
But I didn't get it. When all the rest of you got it, I did not
You've
get it.
barely seen Ethan in the past 2 weeks.
This is true.
Well, no, he was running. He was throwing the ball back and forth. That was a week and a half ago, wasn't it?
But it took me a good 2 weeks to catch it. So as long as you're diligent about it, you know.
Yeah.
Diligent.
All right, Catherine. So what's new in your world? We went through this already, so we want to find out what's new in your world.
Just going to the doctor, trying to eat up that deductible so I can get something paid for by the end of the year. That's all I'm doing. Every test that they've got, I'm getting.
Kink in my neck.
They
I
know.
think.
United Health's going to pay something someday.
Yeah. I don't know how. Andy, you probably meet your deductible by
Oh yeah.
February. I never do.
do.
It would cost me less money to just pay to go to the doctor than it does
to meet your deductible.
Just because I don't ever meet the deductible, so I don't need insurance.
So just to not have insurance. I know that's how I am too. Like
why
Dan
can't
and
I just pay like $100 a month to some policy just in case I ever go to the hospital?
Yeah, that's I know.
You know,
Yeah,
really,
that's how I.
Why
feel.
do I have to have all this extra $500 a month that I don't ever use on anything?
I know. I'm like I go for my physical once a year, and that's it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and the dermatologist and the eye
The
doctor.
dermatologist so far has been $3,000. I still haven't met my deductible.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yep. It takes a while.
Oh, God.
It's $444 just to go to the doctor. The office visit is $444.
I know, it's insane.
$400 just to go.
What? Just to go to
Yep,
that's just
absolutely.
the office visit.
100%.
I'm confused.
Yeah, that's because they broke it down. Because I was like, I actually looked at my bills.
Yeah,
because your rich BFF says that you should never pay your full on Instagram. Do you follow her?
Yeah.
You should never pay all your bills. You should call them up and say, I want to pay my bill, but this seems really high. And then all of a sudden they'll slash it.
I'm still waiting on a bill because I had tests done 2 years ago, and then I had the exact same test done at the exact same place for the exact same reason. First time it was $95. The second time $1,500.
Yeah.
And I called my insurance company
Hello.
and I was like, "I'm sorry."
Yeah, inflation isn't that it's high.
Yeah, I
but
was
it's
like,
not that high.
I was like this, and that was I think like 6 months ago, and I'm still waiting
Maybe
on
they'll
the insurance
never
company.
give you one. I don't know.
I mean, I get like a thing from the hospital where I got it done, and they're like, you know,
threatening you with
past due, blah blah
they're
blah.
gonna
And I'm
come
like,
and take your children.
yeah,
Mhm.
I'm like, well, I'm just waiting on my insurance company to tell me anything. So I'm
still
hoping
waiting
they'll just
on
forget
mine.
about it.
I
don't know.
paid a bill because he told me to pay it. It's supposed to be reimbursed. That was what, 4 months ago?
and
Yeah, who's
got-
gonna
you have
reimburse
some-
you? What?
You've got
You're gonna be
some
waiting a long
policy that
time.
you're not ever supposed to see a bill, but
Yes.
if he sees a bill, he pays it immediately.
Yes. Yes.
You just can't
So
go.
now that I paid it, they don't want to pay me back. It's like,
Well, you'll
no,
get it
you
probably
owe
in
me
2 or 3 years.
That's
I mean,
probably about right.
You'll have forgotten all about it and be like, "Ooh, cool."
I mean, $444 just to go
To
to the doctor.
Just
like just for like a physical or like an extra.
Just it said office visit.
for like if for like a sick visit or a like annual exam.
Oh, well, I was charged for the biopsies and all that stuff.
Okay, so that's not an annual exam. So the whole thing is like your yearly physical is supposed to be you're not supposed to have to pay anything.
Not on my insurance policy.
You
don't-
still have to
no,
pay.
there's no wellness anything.
Okay, great.
There's no wellness
They
anything.
don't
You
want me
cannot
well.
be well.
You can't be well and talk to us. Forget it.
No, there's no wellness anything. Everybody's always like, "Oh, you shouldn't have to pay for this. You should." I'm like, "There's no, not my policy."
Why do you have this insurance policy? I don't know. Sounds like a terrible insurance policy.
I think they're all terrible, personally.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard anybody like rave about their
No.
insurance.
Teachers.
No.
Teachers have a good
Teachers
one?
have incredible
Yes,
insurance,
and all
people that
government
work
employees.
for the state.
Okay.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes.
They have like amazing insurance.
And if you're married to some sort of a doctor or healthcare person, you
God,
get
yeah.
amazing. I mean, everything's basically free forever.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's fair.
Well, that's neat.
My friend Joyce has always taken some job in healthcare. She didn't care how much she made. Her husband was an independent contractor and they needed healthcare. So she always worked for like hardly any money, but got the greatest benefits she
Right.
could find because she didn't
Right.
really need the money
Right.
because Kenny was always making decent money. She's just like, we would be wiped out if we didn't have some sort of good healthcare.
Yeah. and they've
Because
always had- yeah.
because as an independent contractor, which we all are basically, you don't get any huge breaks. There's no
Oh,
breaks.
no.
They kill you on everything.
Yeah,
And I don't understand why is it more money for me? Here, work for 3M.
Yeah, and
It's like next to
taxes.
nothing.
Yeah,
I don't
independent-
understand.
Yeah, and independent contractors for taxes. You
Yeah.
get like
You get shafted. I don't understand. Shouldn't it
All
just be
right.
the same amount of money for everybody? I go to the dentist, it's this amount of money.
What are you,
would
a
think.
socialist?
You're paying for everyone who can't pay.
Yeah,
Yes.
pretty much.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
You and I pay
Just
for
me?
everybody who can't. No, not
It's all
just
you.
But that's what it is. It's just if other people can't pay, they got to collect it from somebody because they're not going to take a hit. I can promise you that.
Mhm.
I don't know. It's too bad that our healthcare system has gotten to be where it is today because it used to be really good. Now it's more money grubbing than ever.
I
it's
remember
really
back
not that great
in the
anymore.
infancy of the HMO, it was absolutely fantastic. You went to the
Mhm.
doctor for whatever reason and it cost you $15.
Is it all the big drug companies that did this to us?
Well, there are lots of factors. Drug companies definitely are
Innumerable.
one. The lobbyists in
Yes,
Washington
'cause they
are
want to make
another
more
thing.
money.
And I think our healthcare system is just a big old scam.
Oh, did they just, Andy, would you check and see if they were supposed to just have another vote on the speaker
Oh, for God's
position for the
sake.
fourth time around?
It's
now?
clear we don't even need one. Let's
Yeah,
just
seriously.
eliminate the
happening.
position.
We're going to have to shut down
s-
the government in like 2 weeks if they don't come
Oh,
up
right.
with
Newest
Like, they love
nominee is
doing
Mike
that.
Johnson.
one. Mike, is it Mike Johnson? And isn't there, I
Who's
thought there was a
that
vote
now?
at 11 o'clock.
I vote for Tevin Pittman for speaker.
Right. At this
Yeah.
point, like, can we all just take like a 3-day break? Everybody get your best candidate and we'll just hash this out.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Figure it out,
We're
maybe.
strolling these people up one by one, and each one seems to have the same amount
Yeah.
of promise where this is the guy, and then all of a sudden it
Mhm.
just unravels
Right.
overnight.
I saw on social media somebody put that smokestack thing with the Pope. They're like, we
Oh,
need
yeah.
to do that
Yes,
with the
exactly.
speaker.
The special colored smoke. You're absolutely right. I don't know, but yeah, they were supposed to have a vote at half an hour ago on the new Mike Johnson guy.
What happened to the guy from Minnesota?
They
I
didn't
thought
like
he
him.
was.
Didn't even come close.
I don't even know what's happening.
Trump went after him.
I don't even know what the Speaker
I
of the
don't
House
know.
is. It's probably
Like,
some made
I
up.
didn't
position.
Speaker
know
of the
we needed
House
a
is like
Speaker of the
third in
House.
line for the presidency.
What happened to our Speaker of the House that we had?
Was that Pelosi?
Nancy Pelosi?
She died, right?
Oh, it was Nancy
No,
Pelosi.
she
She's
Oh, she didn't
No,
die.
but she-
Breaking news.
God, that's terrible.
Nancy Pelosi's
No,
dead.
not
She
dead.
tipped over, didn't she?
A lot of people wish she would die,
Yes.
but
Why?
Oh,
Where, yeah.
who am I
what
thinking?
happened to
I'm thinking of
Nancy Pelosi?
Feinstein, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she just
she
died,
finally
yeah.
croaked.
The
yes.
other
Yes.
old lady.
Diane Feinstein. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
but
she
wasn't
was
Speaker of the House.
Well, I mean,
And she
Pelosi
was-
is 83 years old, so
So
she's
why-
up there.
What happened to Nancy?
Because she lost her majority.
Yeah.
Sure.
Gotta keep
yeah.
that
I hate
majority.
when that happens.
They lost the majority,
Of
and
course.
nobody. And she also
lost
promised
my
that she was
majority the
going to
other
quit
day.
last time, and then she didn't. And there was a lot of pressure on her because she is one of those people that have been in office for 1,000 years, and people are sick of it. So, and
So
she was
they-
kind of pressured out of it.
Got rid of her. Now they're trying to find somebody.
Yeah.
I guess that's
She'll
what's
probably
going
be.
on.
She'll probably run for Senate.
So the problem is that the Democrats are just going to vote no on everyone that the Republicans nominate.
Well, we
because
have-
they don't want a Republican.
But we have a majority in.
But the Republicans
Senate.
have the majority
So-
in the House.
in the House. That's why we get.
Yeah.
Why we Republicans get more of a
So the Republicans
vote
get to
this
pick,
time.
basically.
Because there isn't really any Republican representation,
No.
right? So that's why they get.
Well, but here's the problem with that argument, and I do have a huge problem with that argument, is because they're going, "Oh, you Republicans can't come together and elect anybody."
Well,
Well,
that's
as a
true.
Democrat, you can cross over and vote somebody
Yeah,
in just
you
so
could-
we have a House
You
Speaker.
could all vote yes.
So it's your fault just as much as those pigs.
It's just all such a disaster. I just, my vote is for humanity. Let's start that
Yeah,
again.
why don't we vote for
Let's
humanity?
just be
I like that.
all about humanity, not your group against this group, and I hate that group. Let's just be like, let's just like humanity again.
Do you think that'll ever happen?
Yeah. I'm gonna get a T-shirt.
I hope so.
Ooh,
That'll
she's
be
got
my
a shirt.
campaign. I'll be walking around
with her shirt.
my T-shirt.
Just downtown Minneapolis with like a t-shirt cannon, just launching
Yeah.
shirts everywhere. Yeah.
Humanity first.
Oh boy. Okay.
Yeah.
On that
Oh, the
note, I'll
humanity
see you later.
world.
I gotta go
Where you
Speaking of
going?
snotty kids,
to take care of the children. to teach the young minds to
my
have
here
the
we go.
Shaping the minds of the
humanity.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if somebody would teach that, that would be good.
I will say there's a lot of humanity in the second grade class. A lot going on.
Yes.
All right, now that
Children.
you're hitting the road. Oh, you stayed an extra 3 minutes though. That was good.
Lucky you.
Run.
Making up for mom. Says here, House Speaker vote live updates. Newest GOP House Speaker nominee Mike Johnson intends to take his bid at the House floor today.
Mike.
So I don't know if it's happened yet, but they expect him to take it to the floor today. They have got to come together. And I'm talking about, yes, the Republicans would be a pain in the ass because of Matt Gaetz, who's one of the biggest assholes ever born.
Is he?
Oh, he's a terrible person.
I know nothing
Everything's
about
all
him.
about him. And then the Democrats, of course, sit around in their ass and do nothing because they don't have to do anything. But because you're sitting around your ass doing nothing, you could step up and pick a guy that you like or a woman you like. Let's try to work together for once instead of everything has to be against one another.
That's why we need humanity first.
See you later, Alex.
My t-shirt line will be launched as soon as I find out how to do that.
Yeah, and I think you nailed it on the head when you said that one side will sit and do nothing because they know it hurts the other side, and then because they're eventually going to get back into power, and then they can point and go, "Well, look at how bad they were back then." It's like, well, no, you guys were still employed, working at that time. Why didn't you try to help something?
Why didn't you vote him?
Right.
All we needed is 10 votes from you guys. Why didn't you step up and go, "Hey, we need to serve the people, not ourselves or our party"? Right.
That's how it should be.
Seems fair.
Let's get back to serving the people who pay all of the bills, including your lifelong salary.
I don't know. It's very disheartening.
Speaking of that, have you seen the health benefits of the House and the Senate?
It's also insane.
It's insane how good their insurance is for life, by the way, and they don't have to pay 1 cent.
Even if they are, what's the smallest term you can get? 2 years?
2 years, yep.
Yeah. Even if you only are in for 2 years, you get it for life.
For life. And you and I are paying for this, and they won't do anything to help us.
No.
When has this got to stop? I mean, it's destroying this country.
Yeah, it's a lot of people that I feel like forgot where they came from because a lot of these politicians probably pulled themselves out of dark situations and
agree.
Less than fortunate upbringings, and then once you make it to the top, you kind of forget. You need to be humbled almost. And,
I agree.
Hey, give back to your community that brought you here.
So yeah, I'm getting to the point now that we're on our fourth choice. It's time for you people to get your head out of your ass and get your job done.
Yeah.
Right?
Would you even feel good if you're like now get voted in? You're like, wow, they're your fourth option down.
I know. That's the other thing. It's like, oh God, you finally got to me. So that's cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever. Politics in the world is just disgusting.
The self-esteem on the next speaker is going to be really bad.
Yeah, it's going to be.
Or he's trying to get control of everybody. Like, calm down. You were our 10th
either
option
that or
that we went through.
Yeah.
We'll take it.
That probably will happen too,
Oh, yeah.
You were way down the line. We don't care what you think.
That position does hold a lot of power.
It does, yeah.
A lot of power. So
it does indeed.
It does need to be the right choice. So I don't really care if they take some time. Because
it can't take too much time. We only got 2.5 weeks before that to shut the government down.
Every time they do this about the budget too. Oh my God, we're all gonna die. Oh, we're gonna take 6 days off.
I know that's
and then we're gonna die. That's what they do.
It's an emergency, but we're gonna be back in a week.
Yeah. But we need a break from all of this.
Yeah, I've got a trip planned. I don't get back till Tuesday. I need time. Yeah.
I gotta count my money.
Did our college system destroy America?
It's not been good for it.
No, it has
It's
not.
been really, really bad. They're learning this bullshit when they're in college.
Did you see that stuff on the side of the George Washington University? On the side of the library?
No.
Oh gosh, there was some very disturbing.
Oh, is it political? Does it have to do with Israel and Palestine?
Yes.
Yeah, it looks
it
like
did.
There's a shot.
Did you find it?
Yeah, it looks like they took a projector.
Oh yeah,
and put
glory to our martyrs.
yeah.
Divestment from Zionist genocide now.
Genocide now.
No, divestment from Zionist.
That's what she's saying.
They're not, but they're not committing genocide. Genocide is when you're trying to wipe somebody out.
Everything is genocide to college students.
Oh,
Yeah.
Why are we allowing our colleges to poison our
well,
children?
and these professors are all of a sudden touting free speech. Oh,
Yes.
all of a sudden it's a matter of free speech.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay.
It looks like they had a ton of different messages that they scrolled through. There one that was, I'm assuming GW just stands for George Washington. Yeah, the blood of the Palestinians is on your hands.
What?
Your tuition is funding genocide in Gaza.
Yeah, I'm seeing all those.
Yeah, yeah.
And they believe this bullshit.
Yes, they do.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
like I said the other day, they've been taught that brown equals good. That's all they know.
Well, it isn't even just the skin color thing.
Yes, it is.
It's all of this settler stuff and colonialism.
Well, they think
Anybody
that
that settled
all-
anywhere, which is everybody all through history.
Well, they think that all white-skinned people are colonizers and
They do think that.
settlers.
You know what's interesting about that whole Gaza area, Palestine, blah blah blah. All of the people that live up in that area are more likely to have Jewish ancestry
Yes.
than Arab.
That's exactly right.
Most of them are
Yep.
not genetically Arab. They're mostly Jewish. The UN resettled everything back
Mhm.
in what
Yep.
was it, 40 something, 1940 something. The UN is what started all of this
Yes, it
stuff.
is.
They're
It
the ones
absolutely
that
is.
they're the ones that told you to live over there and you go live over there and I'm going to go live over here. And ever since then, everybody's been pissed off and fighting about it.
And you know what I love most
So there we
about
go.
it?
Our globalism crap
Mhm.
is, biting us right in the ass again.
Yep.
Yeah, well, no question about that. And you will still hear people say that America is the most racist country in the world. It's not even close.
No.
I mean,
Well, and if you're going to worry about racism, I mean, sorry, Jewish people, they were enslaved by the Egyptians.
mhm.
Yeah, they haven't
They
had a
were-
great run.
They were practically annihilated by the Germans. They've been running away from people who've been trying to kill them for centuries.
Mhm.
It's just have a heart, man. If
Yeah.
you look at that area, Jerusalem is a tiny little speck surrounded by everybody else.
Yep.
Yes, it is.
It's like why don't they have the right to exist someplace?
Why is it okay for college professors now to be anti-Semitic? I don't get that.
I
at
don't
all.
know, but some of the stuff that I've been seeing online is very
disgusting.
disturbing.
You're right. And especially because if you took out like the Jewish part of it and you just inserted, like if it was like anti-black or anti-Asian, people would be like, oh, well, you can't do that. But then for some reason, when it's Jewish people, like it's okay. It doesn't make any sense that the people will talk out against racism when it's, black people, but then when it's Jewish people,
Right.
we don't.
Well, it was white
do it
people
the
for
same.
60 years. So, I mean, no one ever said anything about that.
Do you think that is the problem with the Jews, is that they are white skinned?
Well, what's hilarious about that is my
Yep.
friend Joyce, who is Jewish. I've known her. She's one of my very oldest, dearest, bestest friends in the whole wide world.
Bestest.
She said that when she was growing up, there was a lot of people that were like, Jews aren't white.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly.
They were not considered to
that's
be white
exactly
Some
people.
Jews
right.
don't consider themselves white and some do. It depends really who you ask.
And now all of a sudden, we're the white colonialists. It's like, wait a minute.
Well, you take a
this-
bunch of 19-year-olds who don't know anything about the world and tell them to identify the oppressor. They're going to
Yes.
take the shortest shortcut they can.
Yeah, 'cause they
and the
don't wanna
shortest
work.
shortcut there
Well,
is
yeah, and
skin color.
Jews have lived in that area before Muslimhood was even, Islam was a thing. I mean,
Yeah, relative to
They
the
were
other
there-
Abrahamic religions, Islam is actually quite new.
a lot of people think that Islam is the oldest religion.
Yeah, they
Nope,
do.
not
They think it's the
even
oldest
close.
religion
I
in
don't
the
know
world.
where people get their information from. But they
Judaism
believe
started,
it.
I think, like thousands of years before Christ.
Yes.
And then there was Christianity. And I think Islam was like 800 AD or something like that. Well, let's see. When was Muhammad?
Muhammad, yeah. He's the one. And by the way, he was very pro-Jew at first.
600 AD.
600.
Yes,
And
he was driven out of his area.
Yes.
Because he was like, why are you a prophet all of a sudden? You just can't just say you're a prophet.
Right.
So they said, you can't be here. So he went someplace else.
Pretty much the same as Jesus, actually.
And Jewish people were like, okay, well, we'll listen to what you have to say. And as he was trying to sort of recruit being, a prophet in the early days, I'm not saying he's not a prophet. I'm just saying in the early days when he was writing the Quran, he was very pro-Jewish in the beginning.
He was.
And then as they said, well, you're not going to be our prophet. We're going to remain Jewish.
Yep.
Then
now I don't
all
like you
of a sudden,
anymore.
yeah.
So there's nothing in it for me, so I want you killed.
Well,
that's great.
That's kind of how a lot of people interpret it. You know, that's maybe not how everybody interprets it, and you got to be very careful.
What are we going to do?
Especially
Because
these days.
We're never going to get along, are we, Andy?
Nope.
Not
there's
100%.
no reason to worry about it, to be honest.
There's no reason to worry because it's never going to happen.
Exactly.
Why do people love to hate someone who doesn't look exactly like them?
Well, there's also, I mean, in my opinion, is that the low-informed, low-intellect masses
There you go.
are easy to manipulate. And if you can get them behind a cause and tell them half-truths, lies, and other things, propaganda, you can rally people and get them all wound up, and you've got a lot of power behind a mob.
Okay, so a question I have following that, because it's about ignorance, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I would say that 7 billion people on this earth are quite ignorant because they were forced into that corner.
Well, there's many areas where there's many people living in a lot of places that have very bad education systems.
Okay, and now we don't teach people to read or do math. What we're doing the same damn thing. Same exact thing.
I know.
Why are we doing this? I don't understand it. Because you control people. You can control people who can't reason.
Yep.
It's all about control, isn't it?
Yeah, well, you don't want people thinking.
No, you can't have you thinking,
you want
man.
people that are going to follow you as you carry your flag into whatever battle you think that you're supposed to be doing.
I know. It's just the whole thing. And it's all this skin color thing has gotten so old to me. I got to be honest with you. You could see it on TV and all. It's in my neighborhood. Nobody ever brought that shit up.
Well, obviously, everybody has different life experiences.
Yeah.
And I think obviously there has been a history of racism in America. We can't deny that.
Well, the whole world.
Can't deny that.
Yes.
But beating up on people today over problems that maybe their grandfather did or great-grandfather or great-grandmother did doesn't make any sense either. I mean, the thing is enlightenment and education and coming together and let's solve this problem, not just unbiased hate or biased hate. I don't know what the word was I was thinking of.
Whatever works.
There was another word. Didn't come to my head.
I mean, you guys would have to vote on this one. Probably not on this show, maybe on the morning show. Maybe it would be on this show. I would like to, on separate days, of course, invite in a cleric from both Judaism and, let's say, a Palestinian. Have them come in the studio and go, what is this really all about? Is it really just about skin color?
Well, I believe it's
you want to
mostly
be here when we
political.
do that?
It's mostly political,
it's
I
mostly
think.
political. Yeah, you'd have to find the right person. Like you'd have to find probably an educator from both sides.
Rabbi
that knows-
Shmuley.
Right,
What
that
about
knows
him?
the history, because I think the history of everything goes back so far that
Yeah.
nobody today.
But
that-
everybody's interpreting what actually is true in different ways now.
Yeah, they are.
Like, isn't the reason why Israel said no more Palestinians can come into Israel? Well, actually, I think 17% or something is Palestinian, but because there were suicide bombers constantly going in and blowing up schools and temples and everything.
And then at the same time, like the Gaza Strip, where it's like where the Palestinians live, is not a great place to be living. Like there was a documentary on Netflix we talked about the other day that showed kind of the living conditions in Gaza, and it's like a third world country, terrible.
Yeah, it is.
Like there's not a lot going on.
But why didn't the other Arab countries step up and support them?
Right. That's
where were they?
Because they don't consider them Arabs.
Yeah, they don't. That's exactly right.
And
so they
they're
got
not-
nowhere to go.
I know. And then you've got Jordan and all these places talking about how awful everybody's being to Palestine, but they're not welcoming them in and not
No.
helping them.
No.
They're not letting them be refugees in their countries.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I don't know. And it feels like, because how you were saying the UN kind of told everybody where to live. So
Right.
it feels like the UN, not like blaming them for this now, but they kind of helped start everything.
They did.
And so I feel like the countries over there don't really like the UN, but they're also now looking to like the US and UN and people for help trying to solve a problem that essentially we more or less started.
Right.
or helped start.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Can we ever get to a point where people say, "Oh, America's so racist"? Like, not even close to what it used to be, or the rest of the world is.
Right. Well, I think you can say that yes, America is racist, but you also have to understand that it is much better today than it has ever been, and it's much better today than other places are in the world. Like, I don't worry about going out and being dragged through the street by my ankles because I'm black. You know?
Yeah, well, absolutely.
Thank God for that.
Right.
We're in a
Yes.
situation where, because to get power or money is all based on skin color. Isn't that amazing? I mean, we're still stuck in that little mode. Oh, you have a different skin color than me, therefore I can't work with you.
Well,
It's like, what?
Isn't everything just basically a power grab?
Everything is
I mean, if
about
I can
power.
put you down, that means I can take your stuff, you know?
It's power and money.
Isn't that what it all is?
Pretty
Every
much.
time, you know, violence against women, that's a power thing, some sort
Mhm.
of twisted, weird power thing. Everything is
That's
power.
true. I don't know. I just really wish that, but again, it's never going to be solved if the powerful, the intelligent keep using the stupid people out there that they kept stupid. Doesn't mean these people can't learn. You kept them stupid. And so you could control them.
Well,
and look what you've done.
Yeah, and if you've grown up your whole life with your parents and your clergy and your teachers telling you that you need to hate this guy over here.
Mhm.
He's the worst person in the world. We need to chop his head off if you see him. I mean,
Right.
that's what was happening in Ireland.
Mhm.
They were teaching hatred. And this is what's happening over there. They're teaching hatred. That's just, you've got how many generations before that can even be quelled a little bit?
Well, there you go. You got two groups of white people fighting it out over their religious faith.
Right.
It's like, what?
The British were horrible to the Irish.
Horrible.
Horrible.
Right. Which shows you that it's not even like those people more or less look the same, right? They
Yeah,
both have the same color
absolutely.
skin, but they still find something
They find
to hate each
something.
other about. And tear each other
Exactly.
apart
This
about.
isn't, unique to skin color.
No, humans are just barbaric people.
Yep. If given a chance, it
Yep.
seems like that's right where they'll go.
But why did we have to do this? I mean, honest to God, why?
Yeah, the Red Guard under Mao, that was all a bunch of kids.
Mm-hmm. It was, yeah.
The normal, everyday kids just turned into slaughtering maniacs with the right political environment.
Right. I'm going to step out for a second, but you guys wrap this up because I'm getting very depressed.
Oh, well, if you're, you started it.
I know I did, but it's so obvious what they're doing. They're using 7 billion of us to make money for the other 1.5 billion of us.
That's true.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
And it's all based on faith and skin color and, sex, orientation, all of it. Stop letting them use you. It's going to be tough because they have all the power.
Yeah.
So there you go.
And because this is depressing, so I have a little bit of a change of pace. You enjoy mob stories, right? Like
Oh, yeah, I love them. Yeah.
There's a new documentary out on Netflix about John Gotti. And
I
kind of
watched it.
Oh, it's so good.
It's really
It
good.
is so good.
How about his son, John Gotti Jr.? Are you talking about the same one?
Is it like multiple episodes? Is it called Get Gotti?
Oh, no, I haven't seen that one yet. I saw the other one just called Gotti.
Oh no, so this one's called Get Gotti, and it's about like they kind of follow the task forces that helped catch him, and it dives deep into like how he killed Paul Castellano and all of that. Like,
God, it sounds an awful lot like the one I watched.
But yeah, it's called Get Gotti, and I think it just came out on Netflix.
It's a
Highly recommend it.
2-part deal.
I think it's like 4 episodes. I
Oh,
finished
really?
The first episode.
Do you know what it's on?
Netflix.
Oh, it is
Speaking of
Netflix.
Yep.
Power hunger people. My God.
What, the mafia?
The mafia.
What are
my
you talking
God.
about?
And like,
I gotta be right back.
But yeah, I never realized like how much people like romanticize the mob back then, because he was like he killed Paul,
I've never understood.
whatever. And the next day they were like, we threw him a parade. He was at like a club. We're all having fun because we were excited that he just murdered this guy over here.
Exactly.
Jesus. Well, yeah.
So, when did this come out?
I'm not sure. Within the last couple of days, it just came up on like newly released on Netflix.
Did you watch that movie about getting The Godfather made? Not movie. It was a series about getting The Godfather made.
Nah.
About just what they had to go through to get the story filmed, like
Really?
dealing with mobsters.
No, I'm assuming they.
What was the name of that? It was so good. It was just out last year, I think. show about
Oh, and I guess
making the Godfather.
I guess Get Gotti came out in late September, so it's been out for a little while.
Okay.
But no, I would assume that they probably had to jump through
The
a couple
Offer.
of hoops. Because you get the mob that's like, hey, if you tell this story, you might not wake up tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's The Offer, I think. Tom, is that you? Oh, I think it was The Offer. If you haven't seen that,
The Offer, I'll add it to my
if
list.
that's the one, if that's the right one. Oh, I've got Shoe about making the Godfather. No wonder I am not the best at all of this. Andy, type in is The Offer the show about making the Godfather?
I think so.
Is
Yeah.
that guy? Whoever played.
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
that seriously, that's one of the best series I think I've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah, they talk about the fact that they had to. I mean, people were taken into basements and feared for their lives because they wanted that house. They wanted the house that was the
Mhm.
Godfather lived in,
Yeah.
and the guy didn't want to rent it to them. They like kidnapped him. This is like
Oh
true.
my gosh.
Yeah, the stuff that they had to go through to get that done, and a bunch of weird stuff with unions that weren't really unions. It was just excellent. It was one of the best series out there.
No.
If you, I mean, I don't love The Godfather, and I don't like mobsters.
Yep. But it was
Because
still
I mean,
entertaining.
I think they're brutal, terrible human beings.
Yeah.
But this was very fascinating.
Interesting. I'll definitely have to check it
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, Tom's always. Yeah, I think he's watched The Godfather about 45 times.
So, and I think we've convinced him to start getting rid of his 51 pairs of shoes to help you out.
Oh,
In
really?
the basement. Yeah.
Really?
So hopefully that.
Oh, okay. I was
we
thinking we
talked
had
about
to
that.
move.
We talked about that earlier.
Yeah, I was thinking we had to buy another house just for the shoes.
How did this come up?
I don't know. We were talking. I was telling The Offer. Remember the show The Offer?
Yeah.
About making the Godfather.
Yes.
How wonderful that
It was
was.
phenomenal.
Yeah. Tevin hasn't seen it.
Oh
No.
God, it's
I'm
you'd
gonna have to
love
check
it.
it out.
You would love it. And don't
Yeah.
jump ahead. You got to go through each episode.
Yeah, you don't have to love. But you. I don't even think you would have had to watch The Godfather to
think-
like it.
Probably not.
Because full disclosure, never watched The Godfather.
You've never seen it.
Not even a minute of it.
How about part 2?
No.
Why do you have skipped
Part
Which
three
one is a
sucks.
terrible one? Three. Oh
Yeah,
gosh,
three's
yeah,
terrible.
that was awful.
Everyone hated 3.
And by the way, with a bunch of really good people in 3, it's just the writing was dreadful.
It was really bad.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've seen the whole Godfather, and I don't know if I've seen 2, but I don't feel like you needed to watch it to enjoy The Offer at all.
Oh, no. You're absolutely right about that. But I do remember in 1971 when The Godfather came out, all 5 boys in our family went to see it together at the Southdale Cinema.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Southtown Cinema is where we went. Remember when Southtown used to have a movie theater?
No.
That was, it was 1971. So that's why you might not remember
No, I
what
don't
that's all
remember.
about, because it was 52 years ago. But that's when The Godfather came out, and I will never forget. It was instantly that day my favorite movie I've ever seen, and it still is. It's a phenomenally made movie. Are you going to watch it sometime?
I'll watch it sometime, I guess. But aren't they all like 3 hours long?
Yes.
Yeah, and I think that's been the biggest sticking point.
I understand that.
Next time you're sick
Yeah.
and you're home feeling crappy, you got nothing to do but watch something for 3 hours.
So you can't be offended by anything because everybody gets ripped apart in that movie.
Oh, it takes a lot for me to get offended by something I see on TV. Like, I'm not.
Well,
or in a
especially
movie.
something about a period in time where people
Yeah.
just were like, whatever, you know,
Yeah.
you can't get upset about it. It's,
Right after World War II is when it takes place.
Yeah, like I'm familiar with what was going on around that time. Not a great time to be a lot of people back then. So you're probably going
Right.
to hear some jokes that you don't want to hear, that you wouldn't want to hear today.
not a lot of jokes in that movie.
I
Well,
guess.
yeah, or I should say references. References.
At the beginning of the movie,
funny.
a bunch of people are coming to the Godfather and asking for favors because when your child is getting married, I believe especially a daughter, you have to agree to help people out more.
And don't you have to have like a blessing too?
blessing,
They don't want them
yeah.
marrying into the wrong family,
Yep.
and it's yeah.
But one of my favorite lines, and it's right at the beginning because it was like, oh my God. So this guy comes in and asks the Godfather for a favor, and Brando says, absolutely, and we'll take care of you. Don't worry about this thing. And it's some, I don't know, scheduling but it's some kind of deal with a guy. The city wouldn't let him start his business. So the Godfather stepped in and said, let him have his business, get out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
But he had to have, the blessing of the government first. So one of the guys comes and goes, Godfather, I have to ask you a question. How do you want this handled? And Marlon Brando goes, I don't know, just give it to a Jew congressman.
Oh,
I'm like, oh God, because he didn't want Italians being known to make that decision. So we're going to dump it off on the Jews.
oh, see,
Like, Jesus.
anti-Semitism all around us.
Well, they were working together at least, though.
No,
So that was good.
I don't know about that.
I maybe we should have a Godfather party. If you've never seen it,
I don't think I've seen the whole thing.
I don't think I have. I played the game though, which
A game?
yeah, the Godfather game
where you
on the
just
Wii.
machine gun down people in the street for fun.
Basically, yeah, you play as one of
Somebody
the,
disrespected me.
you play as one of the enforcers of the Corleones, I believe.
Oh, wow.
So it's like you're the guy who's like, the Godfather says, the Tatalia's got to be taught a lesson.
I'm just
You're the
not
guy
sure
who
if
goes and does that.
Game needs to be in existence.
I mean,
but-
you also hand out turkeys on Thanksgiving at a scene in there, but
Oh.
so it makes up for it. There's some good.
You actually play as the guy who sneaks into the mansion and plants the horse head in that guy's bed.
Oh, sure.
Oh, I
Mhm.
see. What was
That was in
that?
part
We
two.
just saw a video game being advertised. We were watching something in this video game. It was like the most realistic, horrifying
Yeah,
war
video game
thing.
graphics are it's probably Call of Duty if I had to guess.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. I was like, why is this allowed?
Well,
This is going to
there's-
turn any child into a maniac.
There's one, I don't remember the name of it, but it released a clip where the game looked so real. It looked like police body cam footage.
That's what this looks
Really?
like. I think that's what we're talking about.
Is that a good idea?
No, it was the first. Yeah, it was the first game that I was like, we probably shouldn't.
Where you
That's
look like
scary.
you're carrying around like you're right behind the gun.
Yep, and like,
Oh my God.
because when they released it, because they knew obviously what they're doing when they made the game, but they released it and didn't say that it was a video game, and so people were like, "Oh, here's body cam footage," and they're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"Oh no, that's actually a video game."
Oh
that,
my God.
and I don't
You
believe
can
it's
actually
out.
see a lot of examples online of propaganda outlets talking about the Ukraine-Russia war, the
Mhm.
Israel-Gaza war. They'll have look at this horrifying missile strike on these civilians, and it's actually from a video game.
Yeah.
But they don't know it because the game
Oh,
looks
God,
so
that's
realistic.
terrible.
Yep.
That's terrible. They can do that.
Yeah.
That is really.
Don't you think?
Well, I don't know. Is that any worse than the 10 trillion World War II movies? If a kid watches that versus plays a game, is there really any difference? Violence is violence.
Well, I know, but World War II was actually something that had to be done.
Well, but I mean, it's still
You don't
it's
have to play a
glorifying-
violent video game.
Well, you don't have to watch a World War II documentary.
Yeah.
No, you don't have to.
Glorifying, killing is glorifying killing, really.
I guess.
I would imagine.
I don't
so
know.
we'll keep an
Can't
eye
we
on
just
all
get
of it.
along?
Why can't we all just get? We only got a couple of minutes left. Anything else you want to cover?
Let's see. We've done The Godfather, War, Peace.
We had peace involved. I don't remember the peace being
We
involved.
keep on wanting peace.
Wouldn't
The
be a bad
elusive
thing.
peace.
I know. What about that?
I don't know. I don't think this is.
I
don't
guess.
know.
I guess what I'm asking is, peace always going to be hard to come by? It just is,
Yep.
isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And once again, it's because the great majority of people on this earth are kept uneducated. Not that they're stupid; they're smart enough, but they don't educate them, so they know nothing.
Yep.
That is really not very nice, now, is it?
No.
Well, I mean, honestly, I think in modern day, a lot of it is on the people because you can educate yourself
Yeah.
on
That's
the
true.
internet if you have the drive to
That's
do
true.
so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, social media is definitely dumbing people down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and especially because Andy, when you looked up like how long the religions have been around, and somebody would go like, "Oh, Islam was 800 AD," and they go, "That's so long ago. They must have been the first ones there." And they just stop their research there, and it's like,
Yep,
"Oh, actually, there were
exactly.
people before." If you would just dig a little deeper.
Yeah, it's people don't do the research.
No.
Isn't that sad? I mean, think about that.
Like I said, though, I mean, we've talked about this before. It's like people just want to live their lives.
Yeah.
It's impossible to keep up with everything, and it's impossible to wade through all the lies and figure out what's real.
That's very true. I just wish this wouldn't continue on, but I suppose it's never going to end because we've just learned that people don't want it to end. I want to be in control. I want all the money, and you have to do whatever I tell you to do because I've kept you ignorant.
Well, a lot of people, this is all exciting.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, yeah. People look at it like they're just living a documentary out and they get to witness.
Oh, absolutely. That's the other thing
yeah,
is for a lot
joining-
of people, this is this is entertainment.
Joining a mob, being an activist, it's exciting.
Yep.
All right, we got about 2 minutes. Any closing thoughts?
No, I just want to go home and go to bed now.
Okay.
Never wake up till tell me when it's over.
Never wake up again. All right, that's going to do it. We'll talk to you tomorrow.